in her body, so much so that her whole body was twisted into a ball in agony. It seemed as if a fire was burning inside her body, turning her eyes bloodshot. "It's so hot, so thirsty." Jiang Mengmeng felt that the fire in her body would never be extinguished. Instead, it becomes more and more intense. She even felt like she was wearing too much. "It's so hot, why is it so hot?" Jiang Mengmeng immediately lowered the air conditioner. But no matter how low she hit him, the heat in her body did not dissipate. Instead, it made her feel as if she had entered a furnace. The raging fire was about to obliterate all her sanity. Jiang Mengmeng didn't even breathe. Her fingertips were tightly gripping the table, and her nails were scraping the surface fiercely, leaving deep scratches. However, apart from the pain in her nails, it did not relieve the heat in her body at all. Jiang Mengmeng had no way of staying in this small room. She immediately thought of escaping, and as if running away, she quickly opened the door and rushed out. However, when she was burned and her consciousness was blurred, she saw one man after another. Jiang Mengmeng was horrified to discover that she actually wanted to possess the other person. Yes, all of them. Come together. Jiang Mengmeng was shocked by this bold idea. After she vaguely approached the men, she realized that something was wrong. She had never felt this way before, but now she felt so uncomfortable. It's even weird to the extreme. She wanted to touch these men or be touched by them. "Go away!" Jiang Mengmeng roared angrily. She was so upset that she was about to go crazy. When a man just cared about her and wanted to touch her, she would push him away harshly. "He's crazy." The men looked at Jiang Mengmeng's crazy behavior in confusion. Jiang Mengmeng's eyes were bloodshot. She slumped in the corner, biting her fingertips tightly with her teeth. She bit her fingertips until they bled, and a hint of blood in her mouth made her wake up. But not much. This made Jiang Mengmeng bite even harder, and she was even tormented by the desire in her body so much that tears streamed down her face. This situation has never happened before. It's obvious that she was harmed by some psych's technology. "What's in the meal?" Jiang Mengmeng's mind suddenly flashed back to the harsh words Lu Xinghe said before he left. According to Lu Xinghe's personality, he would do such a thing. Jiang Mengmeng curled up in pain. If he did it, he's really cruel. He was really blinded by love. He was just in love. He dared to plot against me for the sake of that psychopath Liu Ruyan. Haha, she wanted him to touch her. Because he was unhappy, he wanted men to touch her. When Jiang Mengmeng realized this, her eyes became extremely sore. Lu Xinghe must die. Die immediately. Immortality is absolutely unacceptable. Jiang Mengmeng endured it. The huge heat was about to overwhelm her. Her eyes were filled with ruthlessness. She was afraid that any man would touch her, or that she could not help but touch other men. Jiang Mengmeng immediately rushed into the room and locked the door. In order to make herself feel better, she even tied her hands to the head of the bed with a rope. Waves of lust have made Jiang Mengmeng feel confused. Tears flowed through Jiang Mengmeng's eyes. She could only live every day like a year, fighting against the effects of the medicine. When Lu Xing was about to return to his room, his cell phone rang, and he saw it was Sumo calling. Chapter 229, Kick Me or Caress Me. Thinking of the unpleasant incident that happened last time in Sumo's hometown, Lu Xing was very annoyed. Things have become so serious, and Sumo still has the nerve to call him. But he hesitated for a while and finally answered the call. "Hey, if you have something to say, please tell me now. If not, I'm hanging up now." After hearing Lu Xing's cold words, Sumo burst into tears. "Don't hang up. I can't abort the child. The doctor said that I have a difficult fertility constitution. If I don't have this child, it will be difficult for me to get pregnant in the future." After hearing this, Lu Xing laughed. "Isn't that retribution? I like it." Sumo stammered, "I know you're secretly happy, but have you ever thought about Hugh? His family should be very welcoming to this little life, and abortion is very unsafe. Isn't he afraid of having nightmares about the baby being gone? He hasn't done anything wrong, so why would he have nightmares? We're all adults, and I don't think you're particularly conservative. It's useless for you to come to me to whitewash yourself." Lu Xinghe didn't buy it. Sumo was not his wife. Whether she lives a good life or not has nothing to do with me. He wished Sumo would stop bothering Hugh, and it would be good if they just stopped there. "Hugh didn't answer my calls. Woo. You are his best brother. You also want to see him happy, right?" Sumo cried. "Yes, of course I hope he is happy, but his happiness is not you." Lu Xinghe said to Sumo fiercely, "Don't bother him. It's better for you both to be well. I won't be your lobbyist. I was stupid once before and it was enough. I don't want to be stupid again." After he hung up the phone, Sumo called again. Lu Xinghe felt disgusted when he saw Sumo's number. This is obviously Lai Ding himself. He didn't want to have too much contact with Sumo, so he blocked Sumo's phone number without hesitation. However, Lu Xing had never expected that a butterfly effect would occur in the dark. The gears of fate began to turn. The next day, the ship gradually approached the shore. The sunlight dimly shone through the screen window, causing the girl on the bed's eyes to turn slightly red. She was dazed and covered her eyes with her hands, saying in a wrong tone, "It's so bright, Tilda, it's blinding." Lu Xing was sleeping so soundly that when he heard her complaints, he was too sleepy to pay attention to her for a moment. But he didn't expect that her little feet were so unruly that she kicked him as if in revenge. Bully Tilda. After being kicked, Lu Xing finally woke up. He looked at Liu Ruyan with sleepy eyes and found that Liu Ruyan's eyes were full of resentment. "You didn't draw the curtains last night, you bad boy. You didn't sleep well. Pregnant women are the most vulnerable, and I'm the most pitiful." After hearing Liu Ruyan's accusation, Lu Xing was at a loss whether to laugh or cry. "Am I not the most pitiful one? You kicked me for no apparent reason." Liu Ruyan rolled around in Lu Xing's arms like a kitten. "Isn't it okay for me to kick you? This is considered a caress for you. Kick me or caress me. Don't you know there's a saying that goes, beating is love, scolding is care." Liu Ruyan's face was filled with a sweet smile. After hearing her words, Lu Xing couldn't help himself. He scratched Liu Ruyan's small nose lovingly and nodded. Okay, what you said makes sense." He buried his face in her arms and inhaled the pleasant scent emanating from her. Lu Xing felt a sense of satisfaction in his heart. "Baby, it's time to get up. We'll be docking soon." Liu Ruyan nodded like a chick pecking at rice and followed Lu Xing's instructions and got up and washed up obediently. After reaching the shore, Lu Xing hugged Liu Ruyan and left the island. Not long after they left, a haggard figure appeared. It was Jiang Mengmeng. Jiang Mengmeng's eyes were bloodshot, and there were obvious dark circles under her eyes. Her face looked extremely ugly. She pushed Jiang Meiwan's wheelchair. Seeing that she looked unhappy, Jiang Meiwan asked curiously, "What's wrong with you? Didn't you sleep well last night?" Jiang Mengmeng smiled awkwardly. "I have some insomnia." She concealed the real reason. That's because she was infected with Psyche's technology. Last night was a mixture of ice and fire. Don't be too uncomfortable. She even tied herself up for fear of touching those stinky men. Chapter 230. The thing that made the Lu family regret the most still happened. Last night was a mixture of ice and fire. Don't be too uncomfortable. She even tied herself up for fear of touching those stinky men. Jiang Mengmeng would not allow herself to be defiled, and she did not want to let Lu Xing succeed. If Lu Xing catches her because of this, it will be difficult for her to rise. The process of enduring the effects of the medicine was extremely painful. She endured it, and she didn't know how many scratches her nails had made on the wall. She must take revenge and must not let Lu Xing have an easy time. She had to return this humiliation to Lu Xing, and she already has a clear plan. Fate seemed to help her and gave her a glimmer of opportunity. When Lu Xing returned to the villa, the secretary gave him some bad news. "Mr. Lu Yunting has left the prison." Lu Xing was drinking coffee, but after hearing what his secretary said, his face turned very ugly. "What do you mean, he escaped from prison?" He narrowed his eyes slightly, not quite understanding what the secretary said. The secretary answered honestly. Lu Yunting suffered a mental breakdown after being attacked by a swarm of wasps in prison. A psychiatric evaluation confirmed that he was mentally ill, so he was released from prison and placed in a mental hospital for supervision. After hearing what the secretary said, Lu Xing knew without a doubt that it must be the Lu couple who were behind the scenes fanning the flames. Leaving prison and staying in a mental hospital will definitely provide better treatment than in prison. In a few years, the truth will be revealed. Lu Yunting will be able to get out of prison. I have to say that Father Lu's plan was really good. However, how could the Lu family despise him for marrying a mentally ill wife, and now his son has become a mentally ill person? Haha, it really is karma. I will definitely make them regret sending Lu Yunting to a mental hospital. Lu Xing's eyes were deep and hot. His hand was on his chin, and there was a meaningful smile on his lips. The sun had hidden behind the thin clouds at some point, shining on the plaque at the door of the mental hospital. In the garden, Lu Yunting, wearing a hospital gown, sat leisurely in a wheelchair. He looked obviously much better than in prison, and he ate the pear with gusto. Next to him, Lu's mother was still peeling grapes for him. She said with a smile, "Son, your father and I have already discussed this. You should stay out of the spotlight here for a while. After a year or two, when this has passed and no one is paying attention, we will take you out and bring you home. Lu Yunting was able to be admitted to a mental hospital thanks to the efforts of his parents, who did some tricks behind the scenes. Otherwise, Lu Yunting would have no way of leaving the prison at all. With the help of his parents, he will definitely be able to live a comfortable and leisurely life. Okay, Mom. Compared to suffering in prison, Lu Yunting was naturally happy to live here. At least the house environment was good and the food was good. It was like a vacation, and I had a great time. This made Lu Yunting completely relaxed, and he didn't feel as depressed as he did in prison. Son, if you need anything when the time comes, just tell Dad and I will prepare it for you. Father Lu looked at Lu Yunting lovingly. Lu Yunting felt very happy. Okay, thank you, Dad. Just when the whole family is reunited, the father is loving and the son is filial. The scene is very happy. Suddenly, a nurse came over, pushed Lu Yunting's wheelchair, and said with a smile, "Sir, madam, we are now taking patient number 23 for treatment." After hearing what the nurse said, Father Lu was dumbfounded. What kind of treatment should I go for? The nurse answered honestly, to treat his condition, of course. No, he just needs to stay here and eat and drink well. Isn't that enough? Lu's father had spent money and used his connections to make arrangements. It had already been agreed that Lu Yunting could live safely in a mental hospital. How come this is completely different from what we agreed upon at the beginning? Lu Yunting was also confused and suddenly became scared. What are you going to do to me? The nurse said seriously, "This is a psychiatric hospital. We only arrange treatment for every patient to ensure their health and recovery. We will also naturally provide him with a good stay and good food and drink. There's no problem." She continued, "I'm currently receiving electroshock therapy, which has a significant effect on brain waves. Many patients have seen significant results after long-term treatment." Chapter 230, A Unique Revenge. Not electroshock therapy. Lu Yunting widened his eyes in horror and got goosebumps. Those bloody and horrific scenes from horror movies suddenly flashed through his mind. He was not in a good mental state some time ago, but after recuperation, he is now fine. It is equivalent to a normal person undergoing this treatment, and then his fake madness will become real madness. There's no need to arrange these treatments. What if there are any side effects? Mother Lu felt very distressed and naturally didn't want to let herself suffer these physical pains. You have to know that there is no anesthesia at all during electric shock. As a living person who can endure such pain, "Mom, I don't want to go." Lu Yunting refuted on the spot, and his emotions got out of control in an instant. After finally escaping from a mental hospital, if I have to endure such torture, I might as well stay in prison. Can I have a good chat with the dean? My son really doesn't need to be given electric shocks right now. His condition isn't that serious yet. I'm sorry, the dean is on a business trip, and it will probably take another 2 weeks for him to return. The nurse said with a straight face and expressionless face, "We are very experienced in the mental hospital and have never had any problems before, so you don't have to worry. Just cooperate with us." She was even more thoughtful. "If you are worried, then we have bloodletting, skull drilling, and drowning treatments in our hospital. They are all very useful. We can try them all, and we will definitely find the most suitable method to treat the patient's illness." Every word stimulated Lu Yunting. Is this something a human would do? Electric shock was bad enough, but then there were bloodletting, trepanation, and drowning. Just hearing the names, I feel that none of them are friendly. Lu Yunting's eyes were filled with fear and anxiety. He shook his head at his father, clearly resisting. "Dad, no. Father Lu is in a difficult situation now. The dean is on a business trip, so it will be difficult for him to appeal." Was this a calculated move? The dean had originally agreed, but suddenly changed his mind and went on a business trip at this critical juncture. Wasn't he afraid that I would find fault with him? It really doesn't work. My son only needs conservative treatment. Please don't give him any major treatment, or we will be discharged from the hospital. Father Lu scolded the nurse. However, the nurse was not one to sit back and relax. She said to Mr. Lu, "I'm sorry, the police have already requested that he not be discharged from the hospital. He must remain under our supervision and treatment. Please don't break this rule and hinder our work, otherwise we have the right to call the police." The nurse firmly grasped the wheelchair handle and said, "All right, patient 23, let's go now." After hearing this, Lu Yunting felt as if it was a devilish sound piercing his ears. He didn't care about anything and ran out of the wheelchair in a panic. Then the nurse yelled, "A patient is trying to escape." Even used pagers to notify various departments. Soon, a burly security guard intercepted Lu Yunting, who was trying to run away. He rolled on the ground, struggling and trying desperately to run away, but it was useless. He was no match for the security guard at all. The people around were just there to watch the fun, and no one was willing to lend a helping hand. Lu Yunting's eyes were extremely red. He roared in pain, his handsome face was covered with powder, and he was twisting on the ground like a bug. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't get free. In the end, Lu Yunting was dragged back forcibly. His skin and flesh were all worn away by the sharp stones on the ground. Bloody and mangled, he howled in pain, gnashing his back teeth, feeling extremely uncomfortable. "Let him go, son." Father Lu was very anxious. He was very worried. Lu's mother wanted to rescue her son, but the security guards didn't give her the chance. Instead, they said to her seriously, "Please don't interfere with our normal work, or we'll call the police." Lu Ma is an old woman and is no match for them at all. He could only watch as his son was brutally dragged away. The air was filled with Lu Yunting's roar. "Dad, Mom, save me." Chapter 232, Heart Attack. "Son." Lu Ma is now completely heartbroken. If my son was really dragged into the laboratory, what a painful experience he would face. Didn't you say that your son would be completely liberated once he entered here? Why did he have to experience this? Mother Lu cried and complained, and started beating Father Lu with her little pink fists. Father Lu's face was also full of guilt, and he was also very distressed. Things were going in completely the opposite direction. He didn't expect something like this to happen. "How should I know? He stabbed me for no reason. The dean was on a business trip and avoided me. Who should I ask for help? It's your fault. If my son was in prison, he would be fine. Now he's in hell. It's worse than being in jail." There was no love on Lu's mother's face, and she kept complaining about Lu's father. This made Lu's father feel even more burdened and regretful. When Lu Yunting finished the electric shock treatment, the door opened. The Lu couple were the first to rush in. After looking at Lu Yunting with dull eyes and tears on his face, Father Lu's heart sank to the extreme. He tentatively called out, "Son, are you okay?" Lu's mother was also heartbroken and wiped her son's tears. "Mom, I'm sorry." Lu Yunting's eyes were blank, and only after hearing their voices did he show a slight ripple. "Roll." I thought I would hear my son crying and relying on me. Who knew that Lu Yunting was just talking about the quintessence of Chinese culture? This has never happened before. Mr. and Mrs. Lu's expressions changed all of a sudden. "Son, what's wrong with you? Are you hungry or thirsty? If you want something to eat, Dad will buy it for you." When they showed concern for him, Lu Yunting became very angry. "Didn't you hear me? Get out of here." They were dumbfounded. This is the first time that my son has been so angry. My son has never scolded them, but now I am very excited. His eyes were filled with hatred. "I hate you, get out." After experiencing the pain of electric shock, Lu Yunting developed a desire to die. It's really worse than death. The most desperate thing was that his parents were waiting outside. There was no way to understand even a little bit of the pain he was enduring. And the pain he suffered was all thanks to them. Seeing that his parents had no intention of leaving, Lu Yunting became more and more annoyed, and his anger burned like a raging fire. Without thinking twice, he picked up something nearby and started throwing it at the Lu couple. Roll. Mr. and Mrs. Lu were mentally traumatized. This is worse than if they were admitted to a mental hospital. After all, who can bear the hatred of his son? He was no longer the obedient son who could act cute and spoiled around them. Instead, he hated them like enemies. It felt like a ball of cotton had been stuffed into my chest, making it hard to breathe. It was painful and suffocating. Number 23, the emotions are out of control, and electric shock treatment is required, the operator said in an orderly manner while holding the pager. After the operator called, several staff members broke in. Lu Yunting wanted to escape, but it was too late and he was handcuffed to the bed. "Let me go, let me go, please." Lu Yunting was originally very arrogant, but now he looked terrified and begged for mercy. But the staff was ruthless and handcuffed him to the bed without any intention of loosening his hands. "My son is not out of control and doesn't need electric shocks. Please don't do this to him." Mother Lu watched her only son suffer such pain. She usually cared a lot about her reputation, but now she didn't care about anything and threw all her face out the window. She knelt on the ground in front of everyone and said, "Please help me. I only have this one son and he's very well behaved. Please treat him well. I beg you." But no matter how much Lu Ma cried and begged, it was useless. The staff were very indifferent, and they forcibly kicked them out the door. "No, my son is in there." Lu Ma roared in despair and wanted to rush in. "It's no use, the door is already closed." Although Father Lu did not beg, his guilty expression revealed his discomfort and pain. Not long after the door closed, heart-wrenching screams were heard from inside. Ah, ah. Every painful roar hurt Lu Ma's heart. Mother Lu collapsed on the ground, crying bitterly. Please let my son go. I am willing to take his place. Woo, please. Father Lu couldn't listen anymore. The painful wail made him break out in a sweat. Haha, he never thought that his good intentions would lead to bad results. My son was implicated by me. It has completely become the painful state it is now. He's such a bastard. He still couldn't forget the hateful look his son gave him. Father Lu smacked his head in self-blame. What a pig brain I have. I've completely fallen into the trap. I've hurt my son terribly. Woo. Mother Lu suddenly grabbed Father Lu's sleeve and begged, "Go find Lu Xinghe. It must be Lu Xinghe who is behind this. Otherwise, our son wouldn't have to suffer all this pain. P.S. I accidentally posted the wrong chapter of my other new article. My apologies. It's my cat's fault for typing too slowly recently. It opened 2 web pages for me. Now I have re-edited it. Chapter 233, Taking an Unconventional Approach. Mother Lu suddenly grabbed Father Lu's sleeve and begged, "Go find Lu Xinghe. It must be Lu Xinghe who is behind this. Otherwise, our son wouldn't have to suffer all this pain." Father Lu's eyes turned bloodshot. "If we go find him, can he help us? I can't afford to lose my reputation." Mother Lu was immediately enraged. "You can't afford to sacrifice your old self-respect, so you're going to kill your only son? What good will it do you if he suffers? Every hardship he endures in the future will be caused by you." Seeing that Father Lu was still indifferent, she said angrily, "If you don't go, I will. If I beg her, she will definitely give him some leniency. Otherwise, it will be a dead end." Father Lu's eyes turned bloodshot. He bit his lip and scolded fiercely. "Okay, I know what to do. Why don't I go? Anyway, my old face is gone in front of Lu Xinghe." Mother Lu seemed to see hope, her eyes sparkling with hope. Okay, you must save our son." Father Lu frowned and said, "If I go and ask him directly, he will definitely not agree. He will still take an unconventional approach." "What do you have in mind?" Lu's mother asked doubtfully. "Of course it's a way to force Lu Xinghe to bow his head." Lu's father's eyes became very gloomy. The night was cool. The original high temperature faded and turned into a heavy downpour, cooling the temperature. There were fewer pedestrians on the streets, and only the deliverymen were still outside, delivering food non-stop. The lights in the building also became dim, and there were only a few bright lights left. After all, the night was gradually getting darker. Yet the whole city fell asleep. Then I heard a whoosh sound. A sharp sound of falling broke the dawn. Heart-wrenching screams rang out all around. "Oh no, someone's dead." In the villa, Lu Xing crossed his legs and sat on the bed with Liu Ruyan. There was a plate of sour apricots in front of Liu Ruyan. The apricots looked green and very sour. As a result, Liu Ruyan ate with relish and was very happy. "Don't you feel sour at all?" Lu Xing frowned. He felt that the food was sour when he saw her eating. They were all asleep, but Liu Ruyan woke up in the middle of the night and wanted to eat something sour. So Lu Xing took into consideration that Liu Ruyan was pregnant and must satisfy her appetite. Lu Xing went home and found a lot of sour apricots. Unexpectedly, Liu Ruyan didn't feel anything at all. "Take a bite." Liu Ruyan paused, her narrow, beautiful eyes filled with sincerity. "It's very sweet." "Real?" Lu Xing was skeptical. "Some fruits look very green and sour, but they are actually very sweet when you eat them." "Of course it's true," Liu Ruyan nodded. So Lu Xing followed Liu Ruyan's words and moved over subconsciously. He immediately bit the sour apricot in Liu Ruyan's hand. After just one bite, Lu Xing put on a mask of pain. He was so sour that he almost vomited. "How can you think it's sweet? This is totally inedible." After hearing Lu Xing's complaint, Liu Ruyan giggled. "How could it be? It's so sweet." That's what she said, but her triumphant expression, the way she was dancing with joy, showed that she had been tricked and she was very happy. Lu Xing immediately bit Liu Ruyan's fair wrist and said, "This one is still sweet and fragrant." Liu Ruyan chuckled. "Then why don't you take another bite or try something else?" She was very bold and deliberately lifted her skirt. Lu Xing immediately pressed her little hand. "You are messing around again. You're already a father and you're still blushing." Liu Ruyan joked, and her tender, slender little hand deliberately stroked Lu Xing's face in a teasing manner. Lu Xing's ears felt warm. Who can stand being teased by his wife? Especially for a husband who wants to eat but can't. This is great torment. Lu Xing glared at Liu Ruyan fiercely. "If you act naughty again, I will take all your sour fruits away." After hearing Lu Xing's words, Liu Ruyan immediately shook her head like a rattle. No, no, I'm wrong, isn't that okay? Her eyes were so watery and full of coquettishness, and she even imitated a little hamster by deliberately putting her head on Lu Xing's thigh and rubbing it against him, being very well behaved. When Lu Xinghe saw this, his heart melted. Confiscating Ruyan Liu's plate, could he do such a thing? Lu Xinghe felt that he would rather give her life. Lu Xing took a sour fruit and fed it to Liu Ruyan's mouth. Okay, feed you. If you need any service, I can also peel it for you and cut it into pieces for you. Liu Ruyan snorted. Goodbye, you might cut your hand later. This sour fruit is so small. You can actually cut your hand with this little thing? Lu Xing raised an eyebrow. You really underestimate your husband. In order to prove it to Liu Ruyan, Lu Xing even stood up. Just wait. Hey, you damn competitive spirit, I was just saying it casually. Liu Ruyan smiled helplessly, not expecting Lu Xinghe to be serious. Lu Xing went to the kitchen to peel the skin for Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan followed him and was even more nervous than he was. Especially when she saw him holding the knife, she whispered, Do you want me to turn on all the lights? Can you see? Is it too dark? It's not dark, but you're blocking my light. Lu Xinghe said to Liu Ruyan while suppressing his laughter. As soon as he finished speaking, Liu Ruyan retreated dozens of meters as if she had done something wrong and was almost at the door. This won't stop you, will it? I think it's not quite there yet. Why don't you go back to the bedroom? Liu Ruyan looked at Lu Xing's smile and immediately realized that Lu Xinghe was playing a trick on her. I'm not leaving, I'm staying here. Liu Ruyan snorted, obviously playful and naughty. Lu Xinghe shook his head and simply let Liu Ruyan do as she pleased. Anyway, even when Liu Ruyan is acting like a spoiled brat, she is still very cute. Lu Xing quickly finished peeling the skin for Liu Ruyan, then took the plate and handed it to Liu Ruyan, saying with a smile, Auntie, let's eat. Liu Ruyan used a small fork and was about to put it into her mouth. As a result, he glanced at Lu Xinghe. The corners of her eyes were curved with a sweet arc. Before Lu Xing could react, he was fed a mouthful of sour fruit. It tasted so sour that Lu Xing felt like his teeth were about to fall out. Lahi. Lu Xing vomited directly into the trash can. His reaction made Liu Ruyan giggle. Well, sour huh? Chapter 234, My destiny is in my hands. Believe it or not, I won't let you sleep well tonight. Lu Xing had pretended to be ferocious and squinted his eyes at Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan just hung her head, looking completely pitiful. I was wrong, beg for mercy, Tilda. After hearing Liu Ruyan's soft voice, Lu Xing's anger disappeared. He dotingly scratched Liu Ruyan's small and delicate nose and said, Baby, it's ready. Eat quickly and go to bed early after eating. You can't let your child develop the same habit as you and stay up late every day. What do you mean by developing the same habit of staying up late as me? The child's father also likes to stay up late. Liu Ruyan snorted. Lu Xing immediately lifted Liu Ruyan's waist with both hands, lifted her up, and said with a smile, Okay, you are right, but I am also following your instructions and making changes. Liu Ruyan chuckled and nodded straight, a sweet smile on her little face. Then I'll listen to you and change it too. Baby, that's great. Your husband will give you a kiss as a reward. Lu Xinghe took advantage of the situation to kiss Liu Ruyan's little face. Liu Ruyan immediately laughed out loud, with a playful look on her pretty little face. She pretended to be disgusted and avoided him. I have already washed my face. I want to eat sour apricots. Lu Xinghe pretended to be hit by her and sighed. There is no way to compare with the past. In the past, you kissed, hugged, and lifted me up, but now you just ask me to stay away. After hearing Lu Xinghe's words, Liu Ruyan immediately raised her eyebrows. I didn't, Tilda. As she spoke, she wrapped her arms around Lu Xinghe's waist and held his handsome face without hesitation. She kissed him desperately and made Lu Xing grin from ear to ear, as if he could swallow a child. It's too passionate, I can't handle it. No, lest you say I don't let you kiss me, then kiss me, Tilda. Lu Xing couldn't resist Liu Ruyan's enthusiasm at all. In the end, he carried Liu Ruyan to the bathroom and supervised her brushing her teeth before the incident ended. After brushing her teeth and washing her face, Liu Ruyan leaned on Lu Xinghe's shoulder, looking obviously very weak. Lu Xinghe looked a little distressed. After all, Liu Ruyan was pregnant, and she was not feeling well. After the little bastard is born, I will have to teach him a lesson and see how he tortures his mother like this. At this moment, the system also began to remind. Ding, interaction value detected plus 45, rewarding the host with a rare Hermes diamond patterned bag. After hearing the system's words, Lu Xing raised his brows slightly. The corners of his lips involuntarily curved up. You have to know that the bags of rich people are all products that appreciate in value, and their value is no less than that of those buildings that appreciate in value. Especially this kind of out-of-print bag, it is in short supply. Many rich women are rushing to buy it, but there is no supply. Now that it's in my hands, I can make my wife happy and keep it as a treasure. Just before Liu Ruyan fell asleep, Lu Xing came out with a diamond-patterned Hermes bag. Just as it was placed in front of Liu Ruyan, a groundhog scream was heard. Ugh! Lu Xing's ears were almost hurt by the shock. He saw Liu Ruyan was ecstatic. Her eyes sparkled and she asked excitedly, "Where did it come from?" Lu Xing raised the corner of his mouth. "Just say you like it." "I like you." Liu Ruyan jumped into Lu Xing's arms at once, with the ending of her voice rising. Obviously, she was extremely happy. After hearing this, Lu Xing wanted to take the Hermes bag away. "Oh, in that case, you love me, then I will confiscate the bag." When Liu Ruyan heard this, she refused to do it and immediately hugged the bag, looking completely reluctant. "No, if you said it was a gift for me, then it's mine, Tilda." Liu Ruyan's little face was pressed against the bag. She couldn't let it go. Lu Xing had finally understood why it could cure all diseases. Girls really can't resist bags, especially these limited edition and out-of-print bags. They really like them. Lu Xing also felt a sense of accomplishment. "Okay, bring it first." Liu Ruyan immediately became wary of Lu Xing and said pitifully, "If you change your mind, you're not going to give it to me, are you?" After hearing Liu Ruyan's words, Lu Xing laughed out loud. "I wouldn't do that, would I? Besides, if I said I'd give it to you, it definitely means it to you. You wouldn't sleep with the bag in your arms, would you? What if it hits your face?" After hearing this, Liu Ruyan raised her red lips in a satisfied arc. She swayed her body like a cute little kitten and was in a very happy mood. "Hey, you're right, Tilda." She handed the bag to Lu Xing reluctantly and said, "Then you must keep it well and put it in the glass cabinet." "I understand." Lu Xing was both amused and helpless. Rich daughters also love bags like their life. It turns out that they can't escape the fate of liking bags. Lu Xing had put the bag in the collection cabinet, and when he went back, he received a cute kiss from Liu Ruyan. "Hubby, you're so nice." Looking at his clingy wife, Lu Xing was in a very happy mood. This must be the meaning of making money for his wife to spend. The next day, the sun shone on the ground. The tall buildings are lively and full of employees busy at work, just like every part of the factory is running. The brand new look can be seen in the brand new windows, and no one part can be missing. Only then can we create the most spectacular and prosperous galaxy building today. Lu Xing was wearing a suit and glasses, looking at the PPT lazily. There was a professional actuary explaining something nearby, and he listened, nodding slightly in affirmation. His eyes fell on the document again, studying the feasibility of the matter. While the meeting was in progress, someone suddenly pushed open the door of the conference room in a hurry. It was the security guard. With a panicked look on his face, he walked up to Lu Xing and whispered, "Boss Lu, this is bad. There are people outside holding banners and making trouble. The situation is chaotic and there are reporters taking pictures." Lu Xing had frowned and he scolded, "Why didn't you stop it?" He didn't take such trivial matters seriously at all. However, the security guard told Lu Xing helplessly, "But this is your father's indulgence. It's not possible for us to stop him." After hearing the security guard's words, Lu Xing's heart trembled. His father? Isn't that Lu's father? What the hell is the other party doing again? When Lu Xing arrived at the door of the building, I found out that it must have been played by actors from the funeral procession, and I came here specifically to file a complaint and seek justice. They were either holding banners or flags, and there were loudspeakers broadcasting. Lu Xing, the CEO of Xing Group, is so ungrateful. My Lu family raised him for 20 years, and now he's repaying kindness with evil. He schemed to send my son to a mental hospital and force him to undergo electric shock therapy. He's such a ruthless person, cruel to his compatriots. How can he be a respectable entrepreneur who serves the people? The voice playing in the speakers was that of Lu's father. The actors holding loudspeakers shouted passionately, "Give my young master freedom. We are upholding justice, fighting violence and upholding justice. This act of justice is unstoppable. Enforce justice on behalf of heaven, and let truth and morality reshape the world." President Lu Xing is a ruthless person, aiding and abetting the evil and bullying others by taking advantage of his power. Many onlookers around were taking pictures with their mobile phones. In addition, there were also media carrying equipment and filming, and the situation was out of control to the extreme. Chapter 235, If heaven is unjust, I will go against heaven. If heaven is kind, I will enforce justice on its behalf. Lu Xinghe's eyes were extremely cold. The secretary asked Lu Xinghe in a panic, "President, what should we do now?" Lu Xinghe's eyes were extremely cold. He remained calm and said calmly, "If heaven is unjust, I will go against heaven. If heaven is kind, I will enforce justice on its behalf." The secretary looked at Lu Xinghe's cold, an icy expression and shuddered. She knew that she couldn't offend Lu Xinghe. After all, Lu Xinghe has done so many things before. He was able to climb from a small role to where he is today. Do you think it is possible just by living off his wife? Lu Xinghe is very capable and has a strong hand, which is unmatched by ordinary people. Now it's obvious that Father Lu has hit a wall. In less than 5 minutes, the sound of a police car rang out downstairs. The troublemakers were taken away. Even the reporter who took the photo was arrested, saying he was assisting in the investigation, but the negatives were directly destroyed. The higher-ups even said that similar news must not be reported and that it must be completely blocked. If even a little bit of the news leaked, one would lose their job and be held accountable. The reporters were now panicking and didn't dare to leak the news. Lu Group, an extended car, stopped in front of the building. Mr. Lu had just come out of the event, and with the help of the driver opening the door, he leaned out of the car. The secretary then met Lu's father and informed him, "Lu Xinghe is waiting for you in the office upstairs." Father Lu glanced towards the upstairs window, and his eyes met with the man standing in front of the French window. The other person was wearing a pair of gold-rimmed glasses. After meeting his gaze, he tilted his face and twitched his cold, thin lips. Their eyes met, and there was friction between the lightning and thunder. Father Lu was not afraid at all, but rather excited. He suddenly took the elevator and went straight to the office. He saw a man in a suit sitting on the sofa with his legs crossed. Lu Xinghe heard the door opening and also heard a cold sneer. "What a rare guest. Now you know to come and see me, your father." Lu Xinghe pushed his glasses. He is not nearsighted, but wearing these glasses just makes him look more stylish. If I don't show off, I'll be wasting my time wearing these glasses. Today he would show Father Lu what a gentleman is like. "You gave me such a great gift, so naturally I have to give you a gift as well." There was a cruel and bloodthirsty look at the corner of Lu Xinghe's lips, and there was a hint of coldness in his eyes. Father Lu smiled and said, "It's mainly because you forced me to do this, so I must fight back." He also sat down opposite Lu Xinghe, his arms crossed, his eyes darting. "You know what to do, right? You can drive my people away today, I can replace them with another group tomorrow, and another the day after tomorrow. It's just a detention anyway, but there are so many people vying to be scapegoats for my money." After hearing what Lu's father said, Lu Xinghe smiled disdainfully. "You really put a lot of thought into my heart. My goal is simple. Let my son go. Otherwise, I will ruin your reputation, bankrupt you, and keep you from ever having a peaceful day. Do you think you can rest easy just because Liu Ruyan is pregnant? A child is nothing. I'll place a few more men around her, and sooner or later she'll get tired of you. Even if she's not interested, I can give her some shocking information and make her feel sexually, and then you'll have to leave her position completely." Father Lu's eyes were extremely vicious and completely ferocious. Just one sentence made Lu Xinghe feel extremely disgusted. He never expected that Lu's father would attack his own wife and use such despicable means. "I'm not here to beg you. I just created a way for you to survive, but I didn't expect you to block this way." Lu Xinghe put his hand on his chin and sneered. Father Lu didn't take Lu Xinghe's threat seriously at all. Lu Xinghe didn't take it seriously and just pressed the remote control. With a click, the TV was turned on. The surveillance screen appears. It was the scene of Lu Yunting in the electric shock therapy room. Lu Yunting was handcuffed, his face filled with fear as he looked around anxiously. But no matter how he struggled, it was useless. He couldn't break free from the restraints. "What are you going to do?" Father Lu's heart trembled violently. He began to tremble all over. He never expected that Lu Xinghe would hold Lu Yunting hostage. "I asked bodyguards to protect Lu Yunting and not let people from the hospital get close. I don't know how Lu Xinghe did it." Lu Xinghe took a sip of soda water and said slowly, "I wonder if you're interested in psychotherapy. If not, that's fine. Just enjoy the beauty of power." Father Lu was anxious. "Don't touch my son." Lu Xinghe smiled and said, "You were so arrogant just now and even threatened me. Why are you so cowardly now?" Father Lu said bitterly, "You let my son go. He is my only son. I raised him with all my heart. Isn't this repaying kindness with hatred?" Lu Xinghe nodded. Yes, if it weren't for your love for me, I would have bankrupted the Lu Group and let you undergo electric shock treatment instead of your son, instead of sitting here peacefully and having the right to negotiate with me. Father Lu gritted his teeth and said, I'm making a comeback now. I have investment. You know that Lynchen Group is helping me. If you go against me, you're going against them. After hearing this, Lu Xinghe nodded. Indeed, the Lin Group is indeed a large company, and its influence cannot be underestimated. Seeing that Lu Xing was a little worried, Lu's father breathed a sigh of relief, and his tone began to become arrogant. Since you know that we are not easy to mess with, then you should keep a low profile and never go against us. The consequences will be disastrous. You should know that your Xing Group is currently in its infancy, and you have so many competitors. If you cooperate with us, there will be many benefits. Otherwise, even if I fall, the Lin Group will make you pay for it. Lu Xing put his hand on his chin. What you said is so scary, I want to see if the Lin Group will do anything to me. Under Lu's father's astonished gaze, he directly made a phone call. He was particularly surprised. Then the voice of the CEO of Lin Group rang out. Boss Lu, is there anything I can do for you? I just came back from abroad and brought you some local specialties. I've asked someone to deliver them to your door. I hope you can put in a good word for Boss Liu. Father Lu's expression turned very ugly. You know, the CEO of Lin Group often showed a harsh and stern face in front of him. As a result, he tried to please Lu Xing in various ways and was extremely humble. Just now, he had threatened Lu Xinghe with the Lin Group, and this was a slap in the face. This also made Lu's father feel extremely ashamed. He didn't even dare to look at Lu Xinghe's eyes. Chapter 236. I control the lifeline and become the king alone. Lu Xinghe's eyes were filled with intense mockery. He knew that his father Lu had no place to put his old face. He deliberately wanted to emphasize in front of him and the Lin Group. It's nothing, I just heard that you are on good terms with the Lu Group. I heard that my adoptive father wants to rely on your ability to take revenge on me. If he falls, you will stand up for him. As a result, the CEO of the Lin Group immediately spoke with disdain. What kind of person is he? How dare he compare himself to you, Mr. Lu? He and I were just having a casual fling. You know what that means. Stop listening to him. Lu Xinghe could see that his father was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He sneered. Father Lu was as furious as he thought. After hanging up the phone, Lu Xinghe said to his father, Do you have anything else to say? Father Lu stared at Lu Xinghe intently. You tricked me, what else do I want to say? The Lin Group is just a puppet of the Liu Group. President Lin is just a figurehead. In reality, the entire group is controlled by Liu Ruyan. You are now cooperating with the Lin Group and have signed a gambling agreement. In fact, you are making money for us. Do you think President Lin would take such a risk and throw away his own job to protect you? Lu Xinghe's eyes were stern as he stared at Lu's father. Father Lu's eyes widened, his lips moving. You were plotting against me. Was this planned from the beginning? Lu Xing smiled and said, I can only say that my wife is much smarter than me. She came up with this idea, and I thought it was a good idea, so I naturally adopted it. It would be bad to let you go bankrupt. I definitely want you to work hard for the rest of your life and then make money for me. He smiled meaningfully and said to Lu's father, Why are you so stupid that you think you can bargain with me? Lu Yunting's life and death are now in my hands. I just need to arrange for a higher power supply. If he dies, it will be a medical accident. I am not responsible at all. After hearing Lu Xinghe's cold words, Father Lu had already thought of the consequences. He was suddenly terrified to the extreme and realized that he had done something very wrong. Father Lu immediately knelt on the ground, holding Lu Xinghe's trouser legs. Please, I only have this one son. If you let him die, then I will be completely without descendants. He burst into tears, crying miserably. I may not have any merits, but I have worked hard. I have been very dedicated to you over the years, spending a lot of manpower, material resources, and resources. You really can't repay me with evil. Lu Xinghe felt disgusted when he saw his father crying and begging for sympathy. You just keep doing your duty. As your adopted son, I will naturally cherish your memory and provide for your old age and a good death. But what about you? Don't you know what you are planning? Don't you know it in your heart? You were very nice to me before, but... Lu Xing rolled up his sleeves, revealing the brand on his arm, and said coldly, After you found out I wasn't your child, what did you do? You abused me and beat me every day. Whenever you were unhappy, you took your anger out on me, burning me with cigarette butts and beating me with belts. I was bullied, and as parents, did you protect me? No, you just thought I was in the way. You blocked all the news. Even when I wanted to call a school violence rally to confront those who bullied me, you beat me up and paid them off to keep their bullying secret, lest you lose face in high society. Ha 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 ha. So-called reputation is more important than the physical and mental health of your adopted son. You're keeping me because you want to sell me for a good price. When I come of age, you can't wait to throw me into all those social circles, hoping that some rich girl will take a fancy to me. Even if it's not a rich girl, a fat second married woman will do, as long as it can benefit you. Then I fell in love with Jiang Meng Meng. What did you do? You let your own son date him and told me to back out and not meddle in other people's business. You really have partiality written all over your face. Every word that Lu Xing said made his father feel ashamed. The main thing is the real purpose, which was all predicted by Lu Xing. They had indeed treated Lu Xing badly before and had done many things to hurt him. I had originally planned to let Lu Xing move on, but who knew that Lu Xing remembered everything in his heart and had no intention of letting it go. Originally, Father Lu thought he could turn things around and make a comeback, but he never expected that he would fall into Lu Xing's trap. Lu Xing had no intention of letting him go at all. This also made his heart sink to the bottom. He was panicked and uneasy. I finally saw how powerful Lu Xing is. He burst into tears. I was really wrong, please let us go. Lu Xing's eyes were filled with coldness. He found his father's words ridiculous. What do you mean by letting you go? It's just that you guys have always refused to let me go. Lu Xing's eyes were deep and hot, with a hint of disdain. I told you to stay in your proper place, and I can support you until you grow old. But what are you doing? Lu Xing's questioning immediately made Lu's father's face look very ugly. The closer Lu Xing got, the more humble and sensitive Lu's father became. His wrinkled old face was filled with pain. He kowtowed to Lu Xing and said, I was really wrong. I will keep a low profile from now on and will never affect your life again. After hearing what his father said, Lu Xing couldn't help but want to laugh. He did not feel any pleasure from revenge, but instead felt very complicated. People always regret things only when their interests are affected, but it is too late to regret. Seeing Lu Xing silent, he just looked at him coldly. Father Lu was extremely nervous. In order to make a good impression and soften Lu Xing's heart, he subconsciously grabbed Lu Xing's trouser leg and continued to cry and beg, Please let my son go. He's just a child. If you keep giving him electric shocks like this, his brain will go crazy and he won't be able to survive. Lu Xing smiled. What does it have to do with me? I gave you a chance, but did you listen? Child, Lu Yunting is Lu's father's son, isn't he? Lu Yunting is the same age as him and is still a child. It's really hilarious. Father Lu nodded his head very vigorously and said humbly, I'll listen. Now I'll listen to whatever you say. He pleaded humbly, This is my only son. I can no longer bear the pressure of losing him. Lu Xing's eyes were cold. He felt that Lu's father was very hypocritical. However, Lu Yunting did have something on Lu's father. Lu Xing raised his chin and said to Lu's father, Since that's the case, I hope you'll learn your lesson. It's useless for you to protect Lu Yunting. His life is in my hands. If you dare to make any small moves, I can't guarantee what you will do next. Father Lu nodded straight and replied, Okay, I'll listen to you. He cried so hard, and he didn't look like a wise and powerful businessman at all. Lu Xing stood up and left his father's office. Suddenly at this moment, Lu Xing's cell phone rang. Sumo jumped off the building. Chapter 237, The Hidden Truth then surfaced. Sumo jumped off the building. After hearing the heavy news about Huo, Lu Xing's phone suddenly fell from his hand. It was only 2 or 3 days since Sumo called me. So Sumo jumped off the building. Lu Xing couldn't believe that this was true at all. Is it a feint? However, when Lu Xing arrived at the hospital, the one who was notified was to go to the morgue. In the corridor of the morgue, Huo was crying uncontrollably. He crawled on the ground with his fists clenched tightly. His eyes were filled with tears, his brows were furrowed, and his lips were tightly pursed. Lu Xing's mood was also extremely depressed. Is he really dead? Yes, otherwise can I fake my death? After hearing Lu Xing's footsteps, his eyes turned scarlet with a hint of sarcasm. Looking at Huo with red eyes and a cold smile, Lu Xing suddenly felt that the other party was very unfamiliar. That's not what I meant. He could understand that Huo was very upset. After all, anyone who faces such a thing will feel uncomfortable. Even if Sumo's character is not good, she is at least Huo's first love. She called you, why didn't you answer? Huo glared at Lu Xing fiercely. Do you know that was the last call she made to you? It was also the last straw that broke the camel's back. But if you had answered the call at that time, wouldn't so many things have happened? Lu Xing's heart was shaken violently. He never expected that fate would play such a trick on him. I never expected that the phone call was related to Sumo's death. Although Sumo is a bad woman, her crime does not deserve the death penalty. Seeing his brother in pain, losing also felt uncomfortable. It would be false to say that I blame myself. After all, it is a living life. I don't want to see such an outcome, but I didn't expect things to turn out like this. If I had a choice, I wouldn't let it happen. Losing lowered his voice and said to Huo. Huo just laughed dryly, his words full of resentment. What's the point of saying this now? 2 lives lost, 1 corpse. Ha, my flesh and blood are gone. He was filled with grief and indignation, his hands tangled in his hair, filled with regret and annoyance. I was just mad at her. I didn't want to leave her. I thought that after I calmed down, I would take responsibility for her. Even if we can't be together, I'm still the father of the child. Lu Xing walked over, patted Huo's shoulder, and said, "My condolences." As soon as he finished speaking, Huo slapped him away. "Why you? It had to be you. You're my good brother, but you let her die. If you hadn't said those harsh words to her, would she have survived?" Huo roared at Lu Xing like a wild beast. Lu Xing lowered his eyes sadly and bit his thin lips tightly. The pain in his lips made Lu Xing's heart ache a little. He also wanted Sumo to be alive, but now an accident happened. Huo obviously has a big misunderstanding of himself. This also made Lu Xing feel cold. He frowned slightly and said to Huo, "Is it possible that even if I tell her, she will still insist on dying? The dead cannot be resurrected. All we can do is keep calm and move forward." The moment Lu Xing was thinking about Huo, he was pushed angrily by Huo. "Are you human?" Lu Xing was caught off guard and stumbled back a few steps. He never expected Huo to do this. This also broke Lu Xing's heart. You have to know that Huo is a good brother, and we have been through thick and thin together for so long. But now he is looking at me with the eyes of an enemy. Huo, are you crazy? Sumo is important, so am I unimportant? We are brothers. I won't take the blame for her death. As a brother, it's normal for me to extinguish her desire to get back together with you. It's her who is depressed, not me who pushed her down. Lu Xing was very disappointed with Huo. Are you going to push your brother down? As he spoke, Lu Xing's heart was torn into pieces by pain. He also didn't want his relationship with Huo to become so deadlocked. We are brothers who share weal and woe. How could the misunderstanding develop to this extent? Huo lowered his head stubbornly and said nothing, obviously still angry. Lu Xing knew that no matter what he said now, he would not listen. "If you need anything, contact me." Lu Xing also said some angry words and left the scene. As soon as Lu Xing left, someone else arrived. When Huo was in extreme pain, the Su family arrived and attacked him. That weird Aunt Su slapped Huo without saying a word, and the slap made a loud slapping sound. She didn't give Huo any face at all. If it weren't for Su's father holding her back, Su's mother would have kicked her up long ago. "It's you, executioner, you killed my daughter and your child. You will die a miserable death. I only have this one daughter and I cherish her dearly, and you trample on her like this. If she hadn't been pregnant with your child, would she have suffered from pregnancy depression? Pregnancy isn't easy to begin with, and you got mad at her and teamed up with your brother to bully her. If your brother had answered the phone and spoken kindly to her, would she have been so upset? 2 million yuan in compensation, not a penny less. If you don't have it, go ask your brother for it. Isn't he quite rich? I'm not done with him on this matter. Your good days are over." Suma angrily scolded the silent Huo, who leaned in the corner and cried silently. His regret became more and more remorseful as Suma cursed him. In the end, Suma was dragged away by Su Dad to prevent her from getting too excited and fighting with Huo again. However, Father Su, who was more gentle in character, also looked at Huo seriously and said, "My daughter only has one life. You should do whatever you want." Huo looked very haggard. He had never expected such a thing to happen. Everything happened silently, catching him off guard. His mood hit rock bottom. He was licking his wounds like a wounded deer. Suddenly, a shadow loomed in front of him. It's very uncomfortable, this feeling. Huo's heart trembled when he heard the familiar voice. He looked up in disbelief and saw a pretty girl standing in front of him. Her fair and pretty face was full of meaning, and her watery eyes were looking at him deeply. The girl who appeared in front of him was Jiang Mengmeng. Huo's mood did not improve at all because of this. Instead, he felt a bit resentful. He was very averse to the other party's approach, and was even unwilling to say a word. However, his reaction did not make her unhappy at all. Instead, his eyes revealed a hint of deep meaning. She bent down right in front of Huo. In the softest voice, she told Huo, I am just like you. I have lost the same thing as you, and I have also been deeply hurt by losing. Chapter 238, The Devil's Judgment. Huo's eyes were filled with disgust. I am different from you. Jiang Mengmeng laughed out loud at this. We are still the same in essence, you just don't want to admit it. We are the closest people to Lu Xinghe, and then what have we become? Living like the walking dead, he said he cared about us the most, haha. It was just empty words. She rested her slender white fingers on her chin. He once said he loved me the most, but what happened to me? Look at what happened to me. How can you be sure that you won't become the next me in the future? No, it's possible that your future will be even worse than mine. Huo gritted his teeth and didn't take her words to heart. You totally brought this upon yourself. His eyes were already wandering, and Jiang Mengmeng knew that he was already somewhat shaken. She burst out laughing. You brought this upon yourself? I didn't like him in the beginning, so I was wrong. If I can't have him, I have to destroy him. Can you please stop listening to his brainwashing? He really sold you out, and you're still counting money for him. Huo scolded. Jiang Mengmeng, stop talking nonsense in front of me. Why are you so fierce now? Is it that the louder you refute, the more anxious you are? Otherwise, you can just remain indifferent. Honest advice hurts. Lu Xing keeps saying that he treats you as friends, but has he ever put himself in your shoes and considered you? Why does he like to get close to that group of rich second generations? Isn't it because he despises the poor and loves the rich, and thinks that they are in the same circle as him, and that you are incompatible with him, so he wants to move out of the school dormitory? Jiang Mengmeng kept brainwashing Huo, wanting him to become her helper. Huo said angrily, he's getting married, so it's normal for him to move out. He's making friends with those rich second generations because he wants to start a company. Don't come here to fan the flames. Jiang Mengmeng chuckled. You're too naive. What good can I gain from coming here to stir up trouble? I might as well try to curry favor with Lu Xing. That way he might even show some leniency towards me. Maybe our old love will rekindle. I just feel sorry for you. I think I've found a kindred spirit. Pitiful. Yes, if Lu Xing hadn't gotten in the way, you would have been married to Sumo by now. Newlyweds, good things come in pairs. You'd be holding a big fat boy tomorrow, and your unborn child would grow up healthy and safe, calling you daddy, and you'd live a simple and warm life. Jiang Mengmeng sneered softly. But what about now? It's one body, two lives. The woman you loved most is dead, and she has completely disappeared with your beloved baby. If Lu Xing had considered you and noticed that she was in a bad mood, he should have helped you to comfort her. She tutted her tongue. After all, he's still quite selfish. He doesn't want his brothers to have a better life than him, and right now everyone wants their friends to have a better life, not worse than themselves. Huo gritted his teeth and retorted, he's living a much better life than me. There's no need for him to be jealous of me. Stop talking nonsense. Jiang Mengmeng snorted, nonsense. Honest advice hurts, and it's normal that you can't accept it. I'm just speaking of human nature. After all, he made his fortune thanks to his wife. Without Liu Ruyan, would he have the startup capital to achieve his current success? Liu Ruyan is pregnant. No matter how outstanding she is, she's still a psychopath. What if she gives birth to another psychopath? Do you think he'll be jealous of you? On this side, Jiang Mengmeng kept whispering in Huo's ears, and Huo became furious like a lion. He raised his claws and repelled Jiang Mengmeng fiercely. Stop it, what you say is getting more and more outrageous. Huo walked with the help of the wall, not wanting to pay any attention to Jiang Mengmeng at all. However, Jiang Mengmeng's voice rang out. Don't you want to know what Lu Xing said when he answered Sumo's phone call that day? Why didn't he answer Sumo's last call? What was he feeling guilty about? Did he try to stop Sumo from dying, or did he curse her with a lot of harsh words, completely crushing her and making her unable to think straight? Sumo loved you, otherwise she wouldn't have gotten pregnant before marriage and given birth to this child for you. If she hadn't been desperate, how could she have been so desperate that she wanted to jump off the river? Unless Lu Xing threatened her, and she knew she had no chance, she would have jumped off the building in despair to avoid Lu Xinghe's revenge. If I were Sumo, I would look down on you, you coward. Just because Lu Xinghe is powerful and rich, you don't dare to offend him. Absolutely not. Huo suddenly roared angrily. His eyes were burning with anger, and he looked as if he wanted to tear Jiang Mengmeng to pieces. Jiang Mengmeng swallowed fearfully, obviously a little worried. I was afraid that Huo would bite me back, but Jiang Mengmeng still mustered up the courage to ask. Then why don't you dare to seek revenge? You almost already know the truth in your heart, and you just want to watch your beloved woman and child die with regrets, while they blame you for being cold-blooded and heartless. She sneered, if I were you, I would avenge them no matter what, even if it means risking my own life. Lu Xinghe destroyed your child so you can prevent his child from being born. Just one sentence made Huo's face change drastically. He saw that Jiang Mingming had taken out a packet of medicine powder. The transparent bag reveals a strange white powder, which makes people feel uneasy. If you sprinkle a little bit of this powder at a time, it won't have much of an effect. But if you take it for a week straight, you'll lose the baby and the cause won't be revealed. After all, this powder is only available on the black market. It's colorless and odorless. Jiang Mengmeng tempted Huo. Give it a try, take your own destiny into your own hands. Maybe things will turn around. Lu Xing won't look down on you. As long as he doesn't have children, he will treat you as a true close friend. He can also understand your pain of losing your child. You two will sympathize with each other. A hint of deep darkness appeared in Huo's eyes. He was eager to make a move, his eyes already bewitched by the powder. He reached out and took the powder from Jiang Mengmeng's hand. Are you sure you really can't find out? Will it still be effective? Jiang Mengmeng's lips curved into an arc. Of course, this is something I paid a high price for. It's definitely impossible to find out, but there are many cases that prove it. The two people's eyes met in the air. Everyone has their own ulterior motives. Huo held up the packet of medicine powder. His eyes filled with an unfathomable depth. Jiang Mengmeng's red lips outlined an arc. The sound of doors slamming loudly could be heard in the huge villa. Liu Ruyan was surprised to find. P.S. If you don't seek death, you won't die. See how the protagonist escapes danger. Chapter 239. My wife's behavior after getting drunk. Liu Ruyan, who was in the bedroom upstairs, heard the noise downstairs. She looked at the time, and it was already late. Could it be that Lu Xing is back? Liu Ruyan took the escalator and walked down with curiosity. She saw it immediately. The secretary and the driver were helping the drunk Lu Xing back. It was the first time she saw Lu Xing so drunk. She could tell that he was in a terrible mood, his face flushed and full of fatigue and worry. What's wrong? Liu Ruyan asked worriedly. We don't know either. The president was just in a bad mood today and went out to get drunk, the secretary said to Ruyan Liu awkwardly. I told him to drink less, but he didn't listen. Liu Ruyan nodded. Instead of getting angry at Lu Xing, she said to the driver and secretary, put him in the bathtub in the upstairs bedroom. The secretary and the driver looked at each other, not daring to disobey Liu Ruyan's orders. They knew very well that Liu Ruyan had a cold and cruel personality. If they made Liu Ruyan unhappy, they would definitely be digging their own grave, so they must never go against Liu Ruyan. So they followed Liu Ruyan's instructions and immediately took Lu Xing upstairs. Lu Xing was drunk and was gently put into the bathtub. He seemed to like the cool feeling and put his face on the tiles. Liu Ruyan asked her secretary and driver to go back, and then she went into the bedroom. Seeing that Lu Xing was not at all awake, Liu Ruyan did not show any impatience but was unexpectedly calm. Liu Ruyan's eyes were very gentle, and she seemed a little more patient than usual. She gently stroked Lu Xing's hair as if she was coaxing a child. Okay, baby, let's take a good bath. It was impossible for Liu Ruyan to let Lu Xing sleep with the smell of alcohol when he was already in a bad mood. If she did that, it would just make the situation worse. Lu Xing's mood would definitely be even more miserable. After much persuasion, Liu Ruyan finally took off the clothes from Lu Xing. You know, when Lu Xing is drunk, he is more difficult to deal with than an ordinary child. Hey, I want a hug. Lu Xing rarely acts like a spoiled child, but now he opened his arms and asked for a hug. Liu Ruyan looked at the unexpectedly clingy Lu Xing and turned serious. Do you know who I am? I know you are my wife, my most beloved wife, hee honey, give me a kiss. Lu Xing laughed under the influence of alcohol and stretched out his arms to hug Liu Ruyan. This made Liu Ruyan very happy. She continued to ask, how is your wife? Okay, Lu Xing nodded like pounding garlic. Then tell me the 10 advantages of your wife. Liu Ruyan looked at Lu Xing with a smile. Lu Xing was excited and was about to open his mouth to speak, but Liu Ruyan covered his mouth with the palm of her hand. Wait, let me record it first so that you won't cheat and say you didn't say these words at all. Liu Ruyan had already raised her cell phone and was taking pictures of Lu Xing. Lu Xing had just laughed like a fool. He counted on his fingers and began to give examples. Hey, my wife can't do housework. She's very strict. She's very possessive and jealous. She sometimes gets angry. She doesn't like me making friends with the opposite sex. And she especially hates me eating garlic. The more Liu Ruyan listened, the more she felt something was wrong. She stared at Lu Xing and said, Are you sure you're really drunk and not trying to trick me? I don't think you're drunk, you're just trying to trick me. What you're talking about isn't my strengths at all, it's all my weaknesses. Lu Xinghe's cheeks were flushed with wine, and he smiled. Hey, I haven't finished yet, there are still a lot more. Liu Ruyan is no longer in love. Even if you want to say it, I don't want to listen. She gritted her teeth and said, I really want to pour cold water on you to sober you up. But Liu Ruyan was a hypocrite. Although she said so, she still poured hot water for Lu Xinghe and even tested the depth and temperature with her hands to make sure it was the right temperature, not too high or too low. It can be said that it is more considerate than the service industry outside. Lu Xing felt the comfort of the hot water and breathed a sigh of relief. He narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at Liu Ruyan. Looking at Liu Ruyan's cherry lips that were puffing with anger, he pinched her cheeks without saying a word and kissed her bright red lips. Even though you have many shortcomings, I still love you, my wife. I will never leave you and will love you for 10,000 years. Lu Xinghe laughed as he spoke, making Liu Ruyan's eyes slightly warm. She washed his tall and strong body with water, and a sweet smile appeared on her pretty little face. Go on and try to trick me. You can play dumb now, but when you're drunk, I'll torture you and force you to tell me your strengths. You absolutely can't fool me. Liu Ruyan carefully scrubbed Lu Xinghe's bath without any disgust and washed him clean. But while she was washing, tears suddenly welled up in her eyes. She felt sorry for Lu Xinghe. Lu Xinghe was so drunk, he must have encountered something troublesome. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so sad. Even if you use a happy atmosphere to fool people, it will still make people extremely sad. Liu Ruyan took a deep breath, feeling a little sad. Unexpectedly, when her eyes were filled with tears, her eyes suddenly met Lu Xinghe's. Does it hurt? Are you whimpering? Lu Xinghe showed an exaggerated expression and held Liu Ruyan's fair little face with both hands, wanting to see Liu Ruyan's tears clearly. Liu Ruyan glared at Lu Xinghe and made an excuse. I just have water in my eyes, is that not okay? She reached out and grabbed Lu Xinghe's hair. Lower your head, I'll wash your hair. The water from the shower head gently sprinkled on Lu Xinghe's hair. Lu Xinghe's hair suddenly became wet. He narrowed his eyes slightly and changed the topic in an instant. Liu Ruyan muttered a few words to Lu Xinghe. Her hair was thicker and softer than hers, but she was very patient in washing his hair. When Lu Xinghe wanted to run naked because of his drunkenness, she caught him in one go. He had to drag her to blow dry her hair properly, and only allowed Lu Xinghe to leave after it was blown clean. When Lu Xinghe returned to bed, Liu Ruyan snuggled up to him. She saw that Lu Xinghe was already fast asleep. Her eyes were full of love, and she couldn't help but hold Lu Xinghe's fingers together. The two of them leaned close and fell asleep together. Good night. After Liu Ruyan kissed Lu Xinghe's handsome face, she slept facing him. He slept until dawn, and when Lu Xinghe woke up, he found himself in the bedroom. He was still a little confused. He remembered that he was drinking in the hotel yesterday, so how did he end up here? It was only when he felt Liu Ruyan sleeping soundly in his arms that he realized he was not dreaming. Chapter 240, You're Forcing Yourself. It was only when he felt Liu Ruyan sleeping soundly in his arms that he realized he was not dreaming. But I'm really at home. Liu Ruyan is so cute, so sweet and soft with a sweet curve at the corner of her mouth. It makes people feel happy when they see it in the morning. Lu Xinghe's eyes curved slightly, with a smile as gentle as the water. He gently stroked Liu Ruyan's thick, beautiful long hair, and his movements were very careful, but the girl was still a light sleeper, and she felt the movement all of a sudden and woke up subconsciously. After meeting Lu Xinghe's gaze, Liu Ruyan's eyes widened and looked a little fierce. She was furious and reached out to pinch Lu Xinghe's waist. Where did you go drinking last night? You were completely drunk. If your secretary hadn't sent you back, would you have stayed out all night? After hearing his wife bring up the past, Lu Xinghe subconsciously pretended to be confused. Ah, is there such a thing? I can't even remember it. Liu Ruyan's eyes turned resentful, and the corners of her lips drooped. Oh, your memory has deteriorated so quickly. Do you want me to help you recover with some alcohol? In front of Lu Xinghe, Liu Ruyan began to roll up her sleeves. Seeing Liu Ruyan's unruly attitude, Lu Xinghe became anxious and waved his hand, saying, That's not necessary. So are you going to torture me, or tell me honestly why you drank so much? Liu Ruyan looked at Lu Xinghe seriously. Lu Xinghe looked at Liu Ruyan and knew that she really wanted to know. But he was in a conflicted mood, not knowing whether to say it or not. If Liu Ruyan really knew about this, it would easily affect her mood. She is still pregnant, and besides, a life is involved in this. Last time, Liu Ruyan was already upset and had a miscarriage. If something goes wrong again this time, it will be terrible. Lu Xinghe took a deep breath and said, Actually, it's just that I have some work pressure in my business. It's nothing serious, don't worry. Liu Ruyan lowered her head. Now you're planning to hide it from me, right? We're husband and wife, so why shouldn't we be honest with each other? I don't hate you and I won't despise you. Maybe with my help you can solve your problems soon. Lu Xing sighed. Liu Ruyan really understood him very well. She soon realized that it wasn't her work that was affecting him. I don't know how to bring this up. I don't want to upset you, but since you've said that, I'll cut to the chase. Seeing Liu Ruyan's concerned look, Lu Xing didn't plan to hide it anymore. Otherwise, I would be ashamed of Liu Ruyan's sincerity towards me. After Lu Xing told her the whole story, Liu Ruyan was stunned for a while. Lu Xing smiled bitterly. Shocked, right? Even I didn't expect Sumo to be so desperate, and Huo obviously has misunderstandings and disagreements with me because of this matter. I don't know what to do. Lu Xing's eyes also turned red. My intention was good. I didn't want her to jump. Now it seems that I am indeed a bad person. You say you have a clear conscience. Fake. When someone dies not for you, but because of you, can you not blame yourself? This was like a nightmare that entangled Lu Xing. It almost made Lu Xing breathless. That's why Lu Xing used alcohol to numb himself. When Lu Xing was feeling uncomfortable, he felt something warm on his shoulder. Lu Xing noticed that Liu Ruyan was leaning quietly on his shoulder, and with a look of concern, he rubbed her gently with his face. If you are a bad person, then what am I? A villain. Liu Ruyan and Lu Xing held their fingers tightly together. Lu Xing could even feel the power coming from her fingertips. Lu Xing's heart trembled, and he looked at Liu Ruyan in surprise. Why do you take all the blame for other people's mistakes on yourself? Liu Ruyan's eyes were as gentle as water, with power and charm, and she looked deeply at Lu Xing. She deserved to die. Someone who tramples on life will not be upset by your words, but she will want to kill you with those words. Liu Ruyan looked at Lu Xing firmly. If she wanted to live, she wouldn't have called you but would have left this world quietly. She called you just to play the victim and try to blackmail you morally. You just didn't fall into her trap. If you start doubting yourself because of this, that would just play into their hands. Her voice was soft but powerful, and every word was like a gurgling stream flowing silently through Lu Xing's heart, carrying healing power. Lu Xing's eyes were extremely red. He was moved and healed by Liu Ruyan. Thanks. Lu Xing simply held Liu Ruyan's face and kissed her. If you weren't by my side, I really don't know what I would do. Liu Ruyan snorted. Want to see a video? When Lu Xing heard her say this, he suddenly had a bad feeling. It's not that simple, is it? Do you have something on me? Did I do something while drunk yesterday? Liu Ruyan was trying to hold back her laughter. A sweet smile appeared on her little face, and she snorted proudly at Lu Xing. Am I that kind of despicable person? Although you are not despicable, you are very sinister. Huh, look at how serious you said to me yesterday. Liu Ruyan started playing the video on her mobile phone. After watching the video, Lu Xing was stunned. So this is what I do when I'm drunk? Pretty crazy. It's good that you know. Last night you stopped me from taking off your clothes and accused me of flirting with you. What? There is such a thing. Lu Xing has opened the door to a new world. He couldn't believe that something like this could happen. Looking at Liu Ruyan's smug expression, he was curious. Are you filming a video? Liu Ruyan snorted. I didn't take any pictures. Lu Xing, that's good. Liu Ruyan chuckled, but I recorded it. Lu Xing, this is definitely a cunning and sinister little fox. After seeing Lu Xing's nervous expression, Liu Ruyan laughed heartily. Okay, I'm kidding you. I won't shoot those things that are not suitable for children. It will harm my phone. If my phone is infected with a virus, it will be terrible. Lu Xing was not convinced and immediately threw off his quilt and began to prove. What do you mean by having a virus? Look at my figure, isn't it good? I remember you were envious of my body before. If you hadn't been pregnant and didn't eat meat, we would have been expecting our second child by now. Liu Ruyan's little face was hot after being insulted, and she felt very embarrassed. She didn't expect Lu Xing to be so bold. Now saying these words really made her feel hot all over. Of course, as a real couple, Liu Ruyan must have been looking at Lu Xing's good figure unscrupulously. His clothes were all taken off, revealing his bare body, warm neck, delicate collarbone, and slender body with the elegance and strength of a beast, all of which showed how strong and charming his physique was. Just like the statue of David, it is a living work of art. Chapter 240, When You Are So Bad, You Made Me Cry. Lu Xing was showing off his figure generously, but he didn't expect Liu Ruyan's hand to come up and caress him. Your biceps are indeed good, and your chest muscles haven't deteriorated, so they're okay. However, you need to work on your abs to maintain them. This made Lu Xinghe's face instantly hot to the extreme. He didn't expect Liu Ruyan to be so bold and take direct action. Lu Xing quickly covered his body with the quilt. Now his face was hot and he was panicking. Ahem, cough, cough, it's so early in the morning and you are doing this recklessly. Liu Ruyan opened her innocent eyes and said to Lu Xing seriously, "What's wrong? I'm checking the results of your training. You worked so hard to get this good figure. If I don't experience it, it would be a waste." It all sounds reasonable, but Lu Xing knows that it is all fallacy. Although they are an old couple, Lu Xing is still very sensitive about face. "Well, get up, I'm hungry." Lu Xing wanted to put on his clothes and stood up, but Liu Ruyan hugged him from behind. Liu Ruyan deliberately showed a sly smile and said, "You were drunk last night and didn't tell me your strengths. I can't let you off easily today." Lu Xing raised his eyebrows and said, "It's very simple. Aren't they just 10 advantages? You are well-educated, gentle, considerate, attentive, well-read, and childish." Liu Ruyan was confused. "No, husband, are you sure you are talking about my strengths? I feel like you are talking about other women's strengths, and none of them match mine." Her lips pursed, unhappy. "Which woman are you thinking about?" Lu Xing pinched Liu Ruyan's little face and smiled. "Of course I'm talking about you. I mainly have a pair of eyes that can discover beauty. It doesn't matter if you haven't noticed those shining points in you. The problem is that I have noticed them. You should take a closer look at those unknown advantages of yours." In order to escape from the battlefield, Lu Xing has already crawled out from under the quilt. Liu Ruyan wanted to pull Lu Xing away, but she couldn't. After all, Lu Xing was such a fast runner that it was impossible for a pregnant woman like Liu Ruyan to catch him easily. Liu Ruyan had a look of despair on her face, with her arms folded over her chest, watching Lu Xing rush into the bathroom. She was puzzled. That shouldn't be the case. Is it so difficult to talk about my strengths? When Liu Ruyan was doubting her life, she found that there was a Bluetooth speaker playing sound in the room. "My wife, Ms. Liu Ruyan, is kind, virtuous, steady, has high emotional intelligence, a wonderful personality, is adaptable, humorous, noble, lively, honest, generous, understanding, helpful, and humble. Most importantly, she is truly beautiful with a super hot body and a super small waist. She can easily be a model. However, I hope she will not be anxious throughout her pregnancy, but be happy and be my little princess forever. Just because she's about to become a mother, I won't deny that she's a young girl. She can always be under my protection and be herself, not someone's wife or someone's mother. I hope she won't be replaced by other titles. Don't worry, she's definitely the most loved person in the world." It was Lu Xinghe's voice. It turned out that everything Lu Xinghe said to his phone in the bathroom was transmitted through the Bluetooth speaker. After hearing this, Liu Ruyan's eyes turned slightly red. "Who said Lu Xing is a straight man? Isn't this quite romantic? You really love making me cry, you bad guy." Liu Ruyan was smiling happily with tears in her eyes. Lu Xing was in the toilet, feeling heavy with happiness. His handsome face was full of heat. He actually rarely creates romance and surprises, but this time he wants to do it. Lu Xing didn't dare to look at Liu Ruyan's reaction. But she should be happy. Lu Xing's heart was also filled with warmth and sweetness, which washed away the troubles of last night. He was really glad that he could find love. If it weren't for this time travel, he wouldn't have experienced so much, and he wouldn't have treasured such a good girl to stay by his side and give birth to children for him. She is obviously so outstanding, but she is willing to be his wife and the mother of his children in her best years. Lu Xinghe felt that he was the happiest person in the world. This makes him happier than making any more money. At this moment, the system also began to remind. Ding, interaction value detected plus 76, rewarding the host with land from the Kata Group for easy development. Lu Xing was still very happy after hearing this. Because the land owned by Kata Group is in a very good geographical location and has a large area. It would be great if Lu Xing could develop an amusement park there and give it as a gift to children, where they can go and play at will. Not only that, he could also make money at other times, which could be considered as fulfilling Lu Xinghe's childhood dream. When he was a kid, he wanted to open an amusement park. I never thought that something that had not been realized in the original world would be realized here. When happiness dispels sadness, it can make people feel a little better. But some problems still need to be faced, such as Lu Xing facing Huo Huo. Although Lu Xing, as an entrepreneur, had been granted a long vacation by the school tacitly allowed Lu Xinghe to skip classes. Lu Xing could also avoid meeting Huo Huo, but there would inevitably be some grudges between them. When Lu Xing wanted to have a good chat with Huo Huo face to face, He didn't expect Huo to come to him directly. When Lu Xing was drinking coffee in the garden, he saw a dark shadow cast on him. Brother Xing. The low magnetism made Lu Xing's heart tremble. He suddenly raised his eyes and found that the servant of the house walked in with a man. The man was wearing a white shirt, but his face looked quite unfamiliar. His hair was unkempt, he had a stubbled beard, and his eye sockets were sunken, revealing dark circles. He was also much thinner, looking much thinner. He was holding a box of cooked birds' nests. Lu Xing was shocked. Huo. He simply couldn't recognize it. The other person is so different from what I remember. It doesn't look like the same person at all. Huo nodded indifferently. Lu Xing didn't expect that when he was looking for Huo. Huo came to him himself. Please sit down. Would you like something to drink? Lu Xing saw that Huo was still a little embarrassed. So in order to ease the awkwardness, he found a topic and started talking. Lest the atmosphere become dull, Huo shook his head and said to Lu Xing, "Don't be so formal. I came here today to apologize." Apologize? It's about Sumo. I'm sorry. I was too impulsive. Chapter 242, The Handle of Love Brain. Huo's eyes were filled with guilt. He handed the bird's nest to Lu Xing and said, "I said a lot of inappropriate things at that time. I don't think you didn't go to school because of me. I'm sorry. I got you involved and I'm really embarrassed to say all those things. I hope you won't be angry with me. I bought some bird's nests specially. They're good for my sister-in-law's health. After all, she's pregnant, so it's better for her to eat them." Lu Xing didn't expect that Huo came to apologize. Thinking about it carefully, Huo has always been very simple. Huo is a love-brained man. He loses his mind for love, but he is not a bad person by nature. In addition, they have been friends for many years, so Lu Xing's heart is still soft. Just come here, no need to send anything. After hearing Lu Xing's refusal, Huo became very anxious. No, the bird's nest must be delivered. How can I come to your house empty-handed? An apology must mean an apology. Really, no need. We have plenty of birds' nests at home. You can take some back and give it to your mother. Lu Xing was considering Huo. After all, bird's nest is not cheap at all. When Huo saw that Lu Xing didn't take it, he swallowed nervously. Sweat appeared on his palms as he held the bird's nest gift box. This time he came to give the bird's nest to Liu Ruyan. If Lu Xing didn't accept it, then his trip would be in vain. My mother can't get used to birds' nests. Besides, my sister-in-law needs it more now, right? Brother Xing, do you think the ones I bought aren't brand name and are of inferior quality? Huo asked tentatively. Lu Xing's heart was shocked. He never expected Huo to say that. Thinking that Huo is a person with a very sensitive self-esteem, if I don't accept the gift, Huo will definitely think too much. So Lu Xing accepted the gift and said to Huo, "Okay, that's not what I meant. As long as it's something you give me, I'll accept it. Thank you for your kindness." Huo looked at Lu Xing and heaved a sigh of relief after he accepted it. That's good. Lu Xing was just about to say something to comfort Huo when his phone rang. "Excuse me, can you lend me your phone?" Lu Xing said to Huo. Huo nodded. He watched Lu Xing walk to the depths of the garden and answer the phone. I don't know what they are talking about. Huo thought of his purpose. He subconsciously went to the living room of the villa and looked left and right, but there was no sign of Liu Ruyan. Huo was very curious. He grabbed a maid and asked, "Where is your wife?" The maid said to Huo, "Madam has gone to do prenatal yoga. She'll be gone for a while and should be back soon." After hearing what the maid said, Huo understood what was going on. Seeing that there was no one in the living room, he went around to the kitchen. He was watching a chef cooking something. Huo went up to him and asked, "What are you doing?" The chef smiled at Huo and said, "This is Madam's tonic. She has to drink it every day because it is medicine prescribed by the hospital." Huo nodded, and he had a rough idea in his mind. He said to the chef, "I'm a little thirsty. Can you go get me some water? I want to drink something hot." The chef nodded and said, "Okay, but the drinking water is outside. I'll go get it for you now." So the chef left the kitchen. Huo was the only one in the kitchen. After Huo looked at the tonic boiled in the Chinese medicine pot, his expression became very serious. He silently took out a packet of transparent white powder from his pocket. He looked around and made sure that no one showed up. Then he took out his mobile phone to record and gently sprinkled the powder into the Chinese medicine jar. Soon, after a while of stirring, the medicine powder and the supplement were mixed together, and it was impossible to tell what was added. This is like Huo's deep eyes, which are unpredictable. After doing all this, hiding it from everyone, Huo pursed his thin lips. After the chef poured him some water, he put on a particularly friendly gesture and said to the chef with a smile, "Thank you." Huo drank some water and subconsciously walked towards the garden. "I just happened to bump into Lu Xing." Lu Xing asked curiously, "Where have you been?" Huo immediately raised the water cup in his hand in a panic and said to him, "Nothing. I just went to get some water. I'm a little thirsty." Lu Xinghe nodded without suspecting anything. Just after Lu Xinghe and Huo sat down face to face. Immediately, a coquettish voice was heard. "Hey, I'm so tired, husband Tilda." Lu Xing was stunned. When he turned around, he found Liu Ruyan, who was wearing yoga clothes with her hand on his shoulder. Her little face was still warm, with a sweet curve at the corner of her mouth, and you could see the flush from exercise. "Why did you come back by yourself? Didn't you agree that I would pick you up?" Lu Xing was very surprised. Liu Ruyan smiled and said, "I'll ask the driver to pick me up myself so I don't need to bother you making an extra trip." "Right. You've worked hard too, I'm embarrassed to ask you." When she and Lu Xing were having a sweet time, she suddenly caught a glimpse of Huo who was sitting opposite her. Liu Ruyan's smile disappeared immediately. She had heard about what happened between Huo and Lu Xing. "I already had some opinions about Huo, but I didn't expect Huo to come to me." "Oh, you're here. I thought you were busy. Are you free today?" There was obvious dissatisfaction in Liu Ruyan's tone, and one could hear the resentment. Lu Xinghe pinched her little hand, coaxing her not to be so hostile towards Huo. Liu Ruyan's face was full of anger. She just didn't like people who made Lu Xing unhappy. She sat down in front of Lu Xing without even looking at Huo. Lu Xing was also at a loss whether to laugh or cry. Liu Ruyan is such a person. Her face is full of things, and she can't hide anything at all. She has a clear distinction between love and hate, which is also what makes her lovable. But her personality did not disgust Huo. Huo felt even more guilty. He said to Liu Ruyan, "Sister-in-law, I'm sorry. I was too impulsive before. I was blinded by anger and did those irrational things that hurt you and Brother Xing. But I hope you believe that I didn't mean any harm." He smiled bitterly. "I just can't accept the loss, it's too painful." As he spoke, Huo's eyes turned red. Seeing that Huo was about to cry due to grievance, Liu Ruyan was not the kind of person who would not let go even if she was right. She was just hard on the outside but soft on the inside, so she sighed and said, "Forget it, I won't bother with you anymore." For Huo, the biggest retribution is that Sumo has left. Lu Xinghe saw that Liu Ruyan's eyes softened, and he smiled faintly. His little Yandere has grown up and changed a lot. At this time, the servants began to bring up the supplements and informed Liu Ruyan, "Madam, you can drink the soup." Liu Ruyan grumbled, "There's so much tonic to drink every day, I'm tired of it." Huo said, "Being pregnant is hard work, but supplements are good for your body, so you should drink some." Liu Ruyan frowned slightly and looked at Huo in confusion. "Why do I feel that you are very concerned about me drinking soup? You are different today. P.S. Everyone says that Jiang Mengmeng should be offline. I would say it will be soon." Chapter 243. Will you choose to forgive or break up? Huo's eyes were wandering around and he smiled awkwardly. "Really? You are too sensitive." "Really?" Liu Ruyan's eyes fell on the bowl of nourishing soup. Lu Xing looked at Liu Ruyan and thought she didn't want to drink, so he coaxed her. "If you don't want to drink, don't drink. It's okay to eat more meat." "Never mind, I'll drink," Liu Ruyan said coolly, then took the tonic soup and drank it. Huo's eyes gradually returned to calm. He had to do this, but the bowl of soup did not contain abortion pills but vitamin powder. After Lu Xing had chatted with Huo for a few minutes, he found that Huo was still in a very low mood and couldn't cheer up at all. He could also sympathize with Huo. After all, everything happened so suddenly. Huo's mood naturally couldn't get better, and this kind of sadness could only be gradually recovered with the passage of time. "Okay, I have something to do and I have to go." Huo smiled faintly at Lu Xing. Lu Xing drove Huo back. In the car, Lu Xing felt that Huo seemed to be hesitant to speak. His brows furrowed. Huo, just say what you want to say." Huo looked at Lu Xing and said, "I want to ask you a question. If a friend wronged you, would you choose to forgive or break up with him?" After hearing what Huo said, Lu Xing raised his eyebrows. "Are you sorry for me?" Huo immediately shook his head and became excited. "No, it's not me. It's just that I saw this question recently and couldn't help but think about it. I want to know the answer." Lu Xing narrowed his eyes. "Whether to forgive or break up depends mainly on what the other person did. If it's serious and challenges my bottom line, then I will definitely not forgive them. If it's not a matter of principle and there's still a possibility of redemption for me, then I might forgive them. Hugh lowered his head and remained silent. What's wrong? Lu Xing looked at Hugh. You've been having a lot of random thoughts lately. This is not a good state of mind. He directly took out a business card from his wallet and handed it to Hugh. This psychologist is very good and very authoritative. You can go see him. I'll cover the expenses. Don't worry about the cost. Lu Xing was afraid that his brother would get sick from being suppressed. If he became depressed because of this, he would feel very uncomfortable too. Hugh smiled bitterly. No need, a psychiatrist can't help me. Perhaps only time can heal my wounds. There's really no need. Besides, you've done enough for me. Lu Xing twitched his lips in mockery. You've given so much to me in the past. I remember when I was the poorest, you all treated me with all your heart. The times were so simple back then. Unfortunately, as people grow older, they have to face bigger challenges and take on bigger responsibilities. Slowly, we're not so happy anymore. Hugh nodded with emotion. It was very simple before, but now so many things have happened and many things have deteriorated. But compared to what you did to me, what I did is really nothing. He looked at Lu Xing meaningfully and said, In the blink of an eye, you have become a father. We could have faced the birth of our child together. What a pity. As he spoke, Hugh's eyes turned slightly red, and he smiled bitterly. Lu Xing's heart was also very dark. He comforted Hugh. Okay, don't think about it. You will find a better girl in the future and have a baby of your own, a blessing in disguise. Maybe there will be a better future waiting for you. Hugh nodded, and then he said something obscure to Lu Xing. You are a father now, be careful around you and take good care of your wife, especially when it comes to food, clothing, and other necessities. You must be careful. Lu Xing didn't understand what Hugh said at the time, so he thought it was just a greeting and replied, Of course. After he sent Hugh to school, Hugh walked upstairs to the dormitory. He stood by the guardrail and watched Lu Xing's sports car drive away. He called Jiang Mengmeng and replied coldly, I have done what you asked me to do, and I have sent you the photos, but you must do what you promised me. Jiang Mengmeng's cheerful voice rang out. Of course, we will benefit each other. Hugh closed his eyes in disgust. I hope you can do it, otherwise I will never let you go. Jiang Mengmeng raised her eyebrows. Do you have the qualifications to bargain with me now? Hugh replied arrogantly. The worst that can happen is that both of us will perish. Jiang Mengmeng laughed mockingly. That's hilarious. It's all right to fight to the death, but you have to consider your girlfriend and children who are still alive in the afterlife. Will they forgive you so easily? After hearing Jiang Mengmeng's threat, Hugh was furious. Stop threatening me. All right, we're in the same boat now. There's no need to make such a fuss. If you ever regret it, I'll tell Lu Xing what you did. There's no turning back, Hugh. We're on the same page and you won't regret what you did today. You're just upholding justice. Hugh felt sick when he heard the sharp chuckle next to his ear. He gritted his teeth and said, I'll hang up if I'm fine. Jiang Mengmeng smiled and said, Okay, I'll find you again if I need you next time. She was in a very happy mood after finishing her conversation with Hugh. How stupid. He fell for it after I provoked him a few times and threatened him. Don't use Hugh too well as your chess piece. Let Lu Xing experience the feeling of being betrayed by a good brother. She wanted to see him cry with red eyes and feel heartbroken. That would be more satisfying than punishing Lu Xing directly. To kill someone, you must destroy the heart. Not only that, Liu Ruyan will also lose her child. You have to know that the powder has obvious side effects. It is very harmful to a girl's uterus. Once Liu Ruyan has a miscarriage, she will be infertile for the rest of her life. Since Lu Xing wants a child, he cannot place his hopes on Liu Ruyan. Lu Xing will have no children or grandchildren. Otherwise, abandon Liu Ruyan. Jiang Mengmeng couldn't ask for more. She wanted to witness with her own eyes the tragic end of Lu Xing's wife and children being torn apart. You also have to watch Liu Ruyan become an abandoned wife, crying and wailing. Those who stood in front of her, bossing her around and making her feel at her mercy must be punished. Jiang Mengmeng believes that something good will happen in the near future. When Jiang Mengmeng was secretly happy about her plan, she suddenly discovered that Jiang Meiwan was not in a wheelchair, but was holding a cane. She was fully armed, wearing a mask and sunglasses, and walked out of the room stealthily. What is this for? Jiang Mengmeng frowned. Are you afraid of being exposed to the light and being recognized? He usually sits in a wheelchair and has to push it himself when going out, but today he would rather use a cane to go out. It is obvious that he doesn't want to alert others and let them discover anything. There must be something fishy. Jiang Mingming secretly followed Jiang Meiwan out. Chapter 244 Your father is still alive. After arriving at the gate of the community, Jiang Meiwan looked left and right, walked for a long time, and then stealthily turned into a small alley. Jiang Mingming was observing secretly. She saw Jiang Meiwan stop in front of a telephone pole. After waiting for a while, a black shadow appeared. He was a thin, middle-aged man with messy hair. He seemed to have serious hygiene problems, and it seemed that he hadn't taken a shower or washed his hair for a long time. I don't know if he had hyperthyroidism, but his eyes were bulging out, which looked a bit scary. You could tell he was very fierce, and his eyes were full of hostility. He was wearing an old gray floral shirt and a rather old watch on his wrist, which he didn't know if it was still working. It was obvious that he was in financial difficulty. Is this your old lover? Not likely. This is obviously a homeless person. The two of them are not close. When Jiang Mingming was confused, she saw that Jiang Meiwan was very nervous. She kept looking to the side, obviously alert. The tone was even more disgusted with the other person. What are you doing? Aren't you afraid of being exposed? The middle-aged man was not at all panicked. Instead, he looked at Jiang Meiwan with a fierce look in his eyes. When can we fulfill our previous agreement? It's time for you to fulfill your promise. I can't hide away forever. After hearing this, Jiang Meiwan's face turned pale. She was obviously a little embarrassed, didn't like the other person very much, and deliberately kept her distance. This action was exposed to Jiang Mingming's eyes. Who is this man? Why does it seem like Jiang Meiwan is quite scared? I've never seen you in contact before. While Jiang Mingming was puzzled, Jiang Meiwan laughed dryly and said to the middle-aged man, Zhenhua, this kind of thing can't be rushed. We must find a suitable method, and then we can have a solution when the time comes, right? If you show up rashly, all our years of planning will be wasted. The middle-aged man was furious. You want me to be patient again? How long have I been patient? You promised me that you would let me go back, but now there's no response at all. Jiang Meiwan was about to cry. I don't want this to happen either, but the main reason is that if you show up, it's too easy for people to target you. I'm also trying to find a solution. In order to live a better life, we must be patient first and then make long-term plans. The middle-aged man's sharp eyes swept over Jiang Meiwan. You won't lie to me, will you? Jiang Meiwan smiled awkwardly. I definitely won't lie to you, we are a family. The middle-aged man nodded lightly and then walked out. Jiang Meiwan breathed a sigh of relief, obviously frightened. Jiang Mingming frowned. She had never imagined that this man had such a close relationship with Jiang Meiwan. A family, is that possible? No, losing his biological father is dead. Could he be Jiang Meiwan's ex-husband? A big question mark popped up in Jiang Mingming's mind. She watched Jiang Meiwan leave in a hurry again. Jiang Mingming was convinced that Jiang Meiwan must be hiding a secret that she didn't want anyone to know. When Jiang Meiwan was lying on the sofa in her home, drinking milk tea, eating potato chips, and watching TV with relish, I heard the sound of the door opening and caught a glimpse of Jiang Mingming walking in from outside the gate. Jiang Meiwan was immediately enraged. Do you still respect me as your master? I don't know where I am. I came back so late and didn't even cook dinner. You want to starve me to death, don't you? Her scolding did not make Jiang Mingming panic at all. Jiang Mingming's red lips curved slightly, without any attempt to make amends or apologize. Instead, she sat down across from Jiang Meiwan on the sofa with a clear conscience. She yawned lazily and said to Jiang Meiwan with a smile, I'm hungry too. It's just right that you can go and cook for me. Jiang Meiwan couldn't believe her ears. What is Jiang Mingming talking about? Let her cook. Are you the master or am I the master? Are you crazy? Was I too good to you before and now you want to climb over my head? Get it clear, I am your master and you are my slave. Jiang Meiwan was very angry. She didn't know why she thought Jiang Mingming was good in every way before, but now she felt uncomfortable when she looked at Jiang Mingming. Jiang Mingming's arrogant attitude now made Jiang Meiwan's anger burn even more intensely. Ha 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 ha. Jiang Meiwan found that Jiang Mingming had a strange smile. This made her heart panic to the extreme. Then she saw Jiang Mingming's sharp eyes filled with deep hatred, and she warned Jiang Meiwan fiercely. Jiang Meiwan, you still dare to act so arrogantly in front of me. Aren't you afraid that your little secret will be exposed? This simple sentence made Jiang Meiwan feel completely guilty. She looked left and right, not quite understanding what Jiang Mingming meant. What the hell are you talking about? I have a little secret, don't try to scare me. If you want to trick me, I'm not a pushover. Hurry up and cook for me. Jiang Mengmeng raised her little face, shook her phone, and said, "My phone is full of your little secrets. You recently adopted a little puppy. You really are still sharp as a knife. He can be your son, right? He is 21 years younger than you." Jiang Meiwan's face became very ugly. She talked to him secretly without telling Jiang Mengmeng, and they also met secretly. But unexpectedly, Jiang Mengmeng found out. "What's wrong with me being in love? I have the right to enjoy love," Jiang Meiwan said stubbornly, glaring at Jiang Mengmeng fiercely. Jiang Mengmeng immediately burst into laughter, raised her head, and her eyes were extremely vicious. "Really? In that case, how about I tell your husband? I'm really looking forward to seeing his reaction." After hearing what Jiang Mengmeng said, Jiang Meiwan's face turned pale. Her head suddenly buzzed, and she felt the threat from Jiang Mengmeng's eyes. She both shuddered and goosebumps appeared all over her body. "What do you mean? Your husband is not dead. You have been meeting secretly all the time." Jiang Mengmeng raised her red lips slightly and said viciously, "You should say that he deliberately faked his death in order to defraud insurance, so that you can get a large insurance payout and pay off your debts." Jiang Meiwan panicked and immediately looked away. "Do you think you're writing a novel? What you said is so ridiculous. Besides, my family was okay at the time. Was there any need to commit insurance fraud? The police are not pushovers either." Jiang Mengmeng laughed out loud. "Whether it's true or not, we'll know after we call the police and conduct a new investigation." She placed her hand on her chin and looked deeply at Jiang Meiwan. "Your husband, Liu Zhenhua, is a gambler. Our family used to be quite wealthy, but because of gambling, we ran into a lot of foreign debt. To collect the debts, you smuggled yourself overseas and hid your identities." She paused, but the good times didn't last. "You were once again being chased for debt overseas and you had little savings. So you used another corpse pretending it was your husband. I think you did it to avoid DNA testing. You even damaged the body, probably by burning it. Plus, it was a cross-border case, so it was difficult to fully identify him, so you were able to defraud the insurance money." Jiang Mengmeng came back so late because she went to investigate this case. In the end, she compared the photos of the homeless man and confirmed the truth of it all. Actually, there are some, but they are just Jiang Mengmeng's speculations. She pondered the entire plot based on her experience of loving suspense dramas. She was more testing Jiang Meiwan. Chapter 245, As long as you listen to me, I won't report you. She was more testing Jiang Meiwan. It was obvious that Jiang Meiwan couldn't hide the truth, and her expression was distorted and painful. She immediately knelt down in front of Jiang Mengmeng and begged bitterly, "Please, let me go. Don't leak this matter to anyone. I can give you whatever you want." Looking at Jiang Meiwan's humble plea, Jiang Mengmeng tilted her head. A creepy laugh came out of her mouth, as if she was looking at a clown. "So I guessed it right, ha ha ha. Jiang Meiwan, you and your son will never have a good life in my hands." Jiang Meiwan's heart sank suddenly. She looked at Jiang Mengmeng in horror. "Are you guessing?" Jiang Mengmeng said, "Of course not entirely. I still have evidence. I just wanted to trick you, but I didn't expect you to say what I thought. It's really interesting. It turns out that TV is based on reality, and there can be such ridiculous things in reality." Jiang Meiwan now began to regret why she didn't hold on a little longer, and just gave in. She said fiercely, "You have no evidence. What can you do to me?" Jiang Mengmeng smiled and said, "But the words you just confessed were recorded on my phone. Isn't that evidence?" Seeing this, Jiang Meiwan wanted to snatch the phone, but Jiang Mengmeng was very arrogant. She pushed Jiang Meiwan away. Jiang Meiwan was old after all, and her legs were not in good condition, so she fell backwards. She had to hold on to the corner of the table to barely get up. She fell and her back ached, and her face looked miserable. Jiang Mengmeng looked down at Jiang Meiwan. "Even if you smash my phone, it won't help. I have cloud backups and automatically upload them. Jiang Meiwan, as long as you listen to me, I won't report you to the police. Otherwise, you and your husband will go to jail, and you won't be able to live such a carefree life now." After hearing Jiang Mengmeng's words, Jiang Meiwan's face became extremely ugly. Yes, she now has a son in a high position. She has money to spend, can live in a big house, and has a young and handsome boyfriend. It can be said that the scenery is endless. But if she went in, everything would be gone. She had finally come to terms with her hardship and didn't want to spend the rest of her life in jail. "What do you want from me?" Jiang Meiwan was very angry. Jiang Mengmeng smiled sinisterly. "Don't worry, what I want you to do is very simple. Not only will it not harm your interests, but it will also help you with something big." "Help me? Are you trying to PUA me? Will I believe you?" Jiang Meiwan was very disdainful and thought Jiang Mengmeng was joking. However, Jiang Mengmeng held her head high. and her bold and charming little face was full of scheming. Don't you just want Liu Ruyan to have a miscarriage? That way she won't have the baby and can control you. If this child disappears completely, does that eliminate your hidden danger? Although she threatened Huo Huo to help her, she was still afraid that Huo Huo would bite her back. What if Liu Ruyan really didn't drink it? Then I must leave a way out. No matter what, the child Liu Ruyan cannot be kept. Must die. Liu Ruyan must also die. The best way is to kill two people with one body. Liu Ruyan died on the operating table and never woke up again. That way, things will be much easier. At noon, the summer sun shines through the gaps in the leaves onto the ground, and mottled light and shadows sway in the heat wave. The sun slanted down, and a car stopped in front of the villa. Jiang Meiwan got out of the car with a cane and a heavy heart. She looked at the huge villa and took a deep breath. It was obvious that she had a heavy burden in her heart, but the problem was that she had no other choice. In order to kill their common enemy, she had to pass this level. After Jiang Meiwan appeared in the living room, Liu Ruyan was reading a magazine. She was wearing a floral maternity dress. It could be seen that her belly was slightly bulging, and her snow-white thighs were exposed on the sofa. When Liu Ruyan saw Jiang Meiwan coming, her eyes were intriguing. She didn't take it seriously, but continued to look down at the magazine, saying faintly, "It's rare that you have time to come here today." Jiang Meiwan said with a straight face, "This is also my home. What can I do? It's you who should get out of this house." There was a hint of coldness in Liu Ruyan's eyes. She raised her head, looked at Jiang Meiwan unhappily, and said, "Believe it or not, I'll make you get out of this house right now." Jiang Meiwan smiled and said, "I believe it, but just because I can get out today doesn't mean you can't get out tomorrow. God is watching us. Let's see who God can get away with." In Liu Ruyan's view, her words were nothing but an attempt to sow discord. Liu Ruyan didn't take Jiang Meiwan's words seriously at all. There was a hint of contempt in her eyes, and she said coldly, "If you want to say something sarcastic, you can get out now." Jiang Meiwan said unconvincedly, "If it weren't for the grandson in your belly, do you think I would come to visit you? Don't take yourself too seriously. You are only honored because of your child. Once you give birth, you will be worthless." In front of Liu Ruyan, she subconsciously took out a can of goat milk powder, then took a cup and started to brew it spoonfully. "You're as skinny as a monkey. How can your child be healthy? Drink this quickly and let my grandson be plump and white, otherwise you'll be in big trouble." After Jiang Meiwan finished making the tea, she took the cup and walked towards Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan was instantly disgusted. Jiang Meiwan was like a witch, with a vicious look in her eyes and a strong behavior. She pressed her face and forced her to drink milk powder. "Get lost, drink it yourself if you want." Liu Ruyan was angry and struggled subconsciously. The cup was all over Jiang Meiwan. Jiang Meiwan screamed subconsciously from the heat and felt like her body was about to get red blisters. "You little girl, you really don't know how to control your strength." Jiang Meiwan was furious and subconsciously grabbed Liu Ruyan's hair. Liu Ruyan's hair was torn and she was in great pain. She was not someone to be trifled with. When she subconsciously wanted to hit Jiang Meiwan hard in the stomach, a cloud of powder suddenly fell in her face. After Liu Ruyan smelled something strange, she felt her eyelids twitching. "I have no strength left in my body. This powder is wrong." Liu Ruyan lost consciousness, and her body went limp. She fell down on the sofa all of a sudden. Her fluffy hair stuck to her pale little face, which was completely bloodless. Jiang Meiwan panted angrily when she found Liu Ruyan lying there motionless. "I suddenly felt relieved. I was so scared, I almost thought I couldn't handle it. Fortunately, I was able to be mysterious and make Liu Ruyan think that there was something wrong with the milk powder, so that she would let down her guard." Then he secretly grabbed a handful of powder in his palm. The powder was full of sleeping pills that could make Liu Ruyan dizzy quickly. Chapter 246. Please send someone to pick us up quickly. We have to proceed to the next step. After Jiang Meiwan wiped her palms with a tissue, her eyes were filled with pride. She even slapped Liu Ruyan's face, angrily saying, "I told you to act arrogantly, but why are you so arrogant? Now you have the guts to act arrogantly." Jiang Meiwan felt relieved when she saw that Liu Ruyan did not fight back. She picked up the phone and called Jiang Mengmeng. "It's done. Please send someone to pick me up. We have to move on to the next step." Jiang Mengmeng's lips curved into an arc. "Okay, I'll arrange it as soon as possible." She looked at the sky outside, which suddenly turned overcast. After only the remnants of clouds remained, a curve appeared at the corner of her mouth. "The world has changed, and everything should be returned to its original owner." Galaxy Group. Lu Xing was inspecting the work when suddenly a call came on his cell phone. After he picked up the phone, he heard Jiang Meiwan crying. "Oh no, son, something happened." Lu Xinghe frowned. Jiang Meiwan definitely had no good intentions in calling me at this time. However, he wanted to see what Jiang Meiwan was up to. "What's the matter?" Lu Xinghe asked him. Jiang Meiwan cried, "It's Liu Ruyan's fault. I can't control her anymore. She wants to have an abortion and get rid of your child." This sentence made Lu Xinghe suddenly stunned. His mature and steady face instantly turned blue-gray, and his eyes widened in fear. "Liu Ruyan wants to abort their child. Is this true or false?" "Which hospital?" Lu Xinghe asked anxiously. "First hospital, come here quickly." After hearing Jiang Meiwan's words, Lu Xinghe rushed to the scene without stopping. When he was informed, Leo Raven was undergoing an abortion. His face turned pale, and he felt as if his internal organs were being hammered hard by a huge hammer. "Suddenly, I couldn't breathe. Is their child going to die?" Jiang Meiwan was heartbroken. "This child is too stubborn. She won't endure even the slightest hardship and says that pregnancy is too difficult. If you make her angry, she will throw a tantrum and actually want an abortion." She pounded her chest. "What a misfortune for our family. How could you find such a wife? Any other woman would be better than Liu Ruyan." Lu Xinghe immediately yelled, "Shut up." After seeing Lu Xinghe, who was as ferocious as a lion, Jiang Meiwan was very scared. How could she dare to say anything else? She felt that if she said anything else, Lu Xinghe would beat her severely. Lu Xinghe stared with bated breath. The beautiful memories of the past were all rushing into Lu Xinghe's mind. "No, absolutely not. Their child cannot leave this world." Lu Xinghe's eyes turned bloodshot. He ignored the nurse's struggle, pushed open the door of the operating room, and forced his way in. Seeing Lu Xinghe's figure rushing in quickly, Jiang Meiwan, who was observing the situation at the door, became very anxious. She immediately called Jiang Mengmeng. "What should I do? Lu Xinghe is in the operating room. What if he blocks Liu Ruyan from having surgery?" Jiang Mengmeng didn't expect the accident to happen. Lu Xinghe was too strong and came too quickly. He arrived before the operation even started. "It's okay. If he stops us, we still have plan B anyway. The die is cast. No matter what, Liu Ruyan is done for." After hearing Jiang Mengmeng's words, Jiang Meiwan breathed a sigh of relief. Well, she doesn't have to worry about anything at all. After what happened today, Liu Ruyan can't wash herself clean even if she jumps into the Yellow River. The moment when Lu Xinghe pushed open the heavy doors and rushed into the operating room despite the nurse's attempts to stop him, he saw that under the bright light, Liu Ruyan was lying there like a sleeping beauty with her hands on her chest. She had fair skin, beautiful looks, and bright red lips, but there was no intuition at all. "But it looks like the operation hasn't started yet. Fortunately, there is still time." Lu Xinghe's heavy heart finally felt a lot lighter. The doctor looked at Lu Xinghe in surprise. He had not expected such a situation to happen. He said hurriedly, "Hello, sir, the operation is about to begin. Please go out and don't disturb me." "Roll." Lu Xinghe angrily shook off the doctor's hand. The doctor was very surprised. He didn't expect Lu Xinghe to not give him any face at all. He mainly did things for money and received Jiang Meiwan's order to perform the operation. Now that Lu Xinghe appeared, it was obvious that he would not allow the operation. What should he do next? But Lu Xinghe looked like a wild beast and was not someone to be trifled with. He could only walk out dejectedly. Lu Xinghe walked in front of Liu Ruyan, his eyes filled with a hint of heartache. She had never been as quiet as she was now, so quiet that it made people feel pity. His brows were locked with worry, and he was in a very depressed mood. Just when Lu Xinghe was about to reach out and touch Liu Ruyan's delicate skin, he unexpectedly discovered that Liu Ruyan, who was originally unconscious, was moving. Her curled eyelashes trembled slightly, her skin was as smooth as a baby's, plump and attractive. Her eyes opened one after another. After seeing Lu Xinghe, she was still a little weak, but she shouted in surprise, "Xing!" This name made Lu Xinghe react. This is not Yanyan, but Liu Ruyan. A deep meaning quickly emerged in Lu Xinghe's mind. He leaned close to Liu Ruyan's ear and whispered softly, "Will you play a scene with me later?" Liu Ruyan was slightly surprised, then narrowed her eyes, looked into Lu Xinghe's deep eyes, and nodded. When Jiang Meiwan walked into the operating room, her heart almost stopped. "Oh my God," Liu Ruyan woke up and is sitting up now. What if Liu Ruyan tells on me later? What on earth is Jiang Mengmeng thinking of? How should we respond? Jiang Meiwan's mind worked quickly, and she immediately took the initiative. "Daughter-in-law, you are so cruel. The child is already 5 or 6 months old, and you actually want to beat him. I heard that mentally ill people have no conscience, and it's true. Are you worthy of being a mother? Jiang Meiwan gnashed her teeth and said, "We don't have a daughter-in-law like you in our family. You can be so cruel to your own child. How can you expect you to raise the child well? It's absolutely impossible." Lu Xinghe's eyes were bloodshot, and he echoed Jiang Meiwan. "Mom, you are right." He took a deep breath and angrily scolded Liu Ruyan. "You really went too far today. Why didn't you even give me this chance? Didn't I tell you that I would be a good father? But you didn't trust me. I'm really disappointed." Liu Ruyan's face was pale, and dark clouds covered her fair face. She felt very uncomfortable, and tears flowed from her eyes. She said excitedly, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I believe you can be a good father, but I don't know why I fainted. When I woke up, I had to have an abortion here." Lu Xinghe's eyes were cold, and he was extremely angry. "Do you think I will believe you?" Liu Ruyan cried humbly, "Really, I didn't mean to deceive you at all." Chapter 247, The fun has just begun. Wait for the challenge. Jiang Meiwan definitely didn't want her trick to be exposed, so she immediately accused Liu Ruyan. "You are still lying now. Are you going to frame me and frame you?" Liu Ruyan's eyes were filled with hatred as she angrily scolded Jiang Meiwan. "You were the one who was plotting against me. You knocked me out, and when I woke up, I was already here. You could have checked the surveillance footage." After hearing Liu Ruyan's words, Jiang Meiwan's face instantly turned very ugly. She must be feeling guilty. Her eyes were darting around. "How can you be so disgusting, and now you're turning the tables on me? This matter itself has nothing to do with me. You're the one framing me." Jiang Meiwan suddenly grabbed Lu Xinghe's shoulders and said to him, "Son, listen to me, don't believe her words. We can ask the doctor. The doctor can testify that she signed it herself." She spat at Liu Ruyan fiercely. "You originally wanted to secretly abort the baby, but I found out. Now that it's out, you're putting the blame on me. Aren't you disgusting?" Liu Ruyan's eyes suddenly turned cold. "Jiang Meiwan, do you dare to go with me to watch the surveillance?" I have nothing to be afraid of. But do you dare to find a doctor to prove it?" Jiang Meiwan continued stubbornly. "Since you don't want this child, then I will lend you a hand and ask you to abort the baby right away. I will help you call the doctor in and continue the operation." Liu Ruyan's eyes were filled with disgust, and when she was about to say something, she was interrupted by Lu Xinghe. "That's enough, stop arguing. It will only annoy me more." A cold, murderous intent flashed across Lu Xinghe's dark eyes. He looked at Liu Ruyan with disgust and said, "If you want to abort the child, then do it. I have nothing to say. I am truly disappointed in you this time. Anyway, we only had a wedding and didn't get a marriage certificate, so we should go our separate ways now." Lu Xinghe's words were like a heavy hammer, hitting him hard. This made Liu Ruyan's face turn pale. She had never expected Lu Xinghe to say such cruel words. Her red lips kept moving, and her heart was aching sharply. In an instant, it felt like sand had entered my eyes, and they were blurred with tears. "No, let's not separate. Please, let's get the marriage certificate after a while, okay?" Liu Ruyan subconsciously grabbed Lu Xinghe's arm, begging Lu Xinghe to come back to her. However, Lu Xinghe remained indifferent. Seeing Liu Ruyan grabbing his sleeve, he subconsciously pushed her hand away. "I cannot forgive you for what you did today. Let me calm down." Liu Ruyan was completely heartbroken. She opened her empty eyes and tears flowed down her cheeks. She bit her red lips, her heart aching. "You have to believe me. I really didn't do anything to let you down. I was framed. I was plotted against. I truly love you." However, Liu Ruyan defended herself again and again, but Lu Xinghe still had that cold, handsome face, not showing her any tenderness or softness. He was as cold as a rock, and subconsciously walked away under Liu Ruyan's sad gaze. Looking at his cold back, Liu Ruyan wailed in pain. "Lu Xinghe, come back." However, her crying did not make him look back at her. Jiang Meiwan, who witnessed all this, felt relieved. He had suffered a great loss and endured a lot of injustice at the hands of Liu Ruyan, and now he finally saw the pain and discomfort Liu Ruyan was in. "Tusk, tusk, tusk, you're so pitiful. My son doesn't want you anymore. It's all your own fault." Jiang Meiwan looked at Liu Ruyan with disdain. "If you had been smarter and treated me better, things wouldn't have ended up like this." Liu Ruyan was almost like a wild beast, with anger hidden in her eyes, and she almost wanted to tear Jiang Meiwan to pieces. "Get lost. If you hadn't plotted against me, things wouldn't have turned out like this. He will figure it out sooner or later and know the truth. Your true face will definitely be exposed, and then all the immoral things you have done will be made public." Jiang Meiwan burst into laughter at Liu Ruyan. "You're so funny. I didn't do anything to you at all. You're just too stupid to abort your own child. How could I let you be my daughter-in-law if you're so cruel?" Liu Ruyan raised her eyes, gritted her teeth, and glared at her angrily. I will find evidence. Jiang Meiwan's eyes were filled with threats. She stared at Liu Ruyan intently and said, if you had any sense, just go wherever it's cooler and don't get in my way. You're pregnant now. If you want your child to grow up safely, you'd better not do anything. Otherwise, I have countless ways to make this child die. And don't even think about reconciling with my son. As long as I'm around, I won't allow you to disturb his life again. Her eyes were filled with obsession, and her face was even distorted and terrifying. I want grandchildren, and there are countless ways. I don't even need you to give birth to one. I can make my son have one. Your bad genes are nothing. Jiang Meiwan now wants a well-behaved daughter-in-law, preferably one who can serve her and do everything according to her wishes. Although she is threatened by Jiang Mengmeng now, she will find a way to bring Jiang Mengmeng down. By then, no matter what kind of daughter-in-law she finds, it will be great for her to live a comfortable life alone. That's when good times will come. Beneath Liu Ruyan's drooping eyelashes, her eyes, like black crystals, shone crimson. She gritted her teeth and said, if you think you can defeat me, then give it a try. But the consequences will be unbearable. One day, you'll regret it. Jiang Meiwan burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, you are such an interesting person, and what you say is so funny. I'm really scared, please kill me quickly, I can't wait to see what tricks you can play. But I also have to tell you, I have eaten more salt than you have eaten rice. If you dare to disrupt my plan, I will definitely take action against you and the baby in your belly. It's useless for you to kill me, I have someone behind me, you can't fight against me. Jiang Meiwan was too lazy to waste time talking to Liu Ruyan. She now wanted to add fuel to the fire on Lu Xing's side. It would be best to keep Lu Xing away from Liu Ruyan completely, and not cause any more trouble. She snorted coldly at Liu Ruyan, showing a triumphant expression, and left the scene triumphantly. After seeing Jiang Meiwan leave, Liu Ruyan, who still had the expression of a resentful woman in the boudoir, subconsciously wiped away her tears. The pretty little face was filled with profound meaning, and her soft lips suddenly pulled out a smile. The fun has just begun, wait and see. Chapter 248, I'm sincerely to you. Inside the luxurious villa, Lu Xinghe sat on the sofa with a sullen expression. His coffee table was covered with bottles of wine, some of which were completely empty. However, not all of these wine bottles are for drinking by myself. Many of them are just props. This can completely fool people into thinking that you are heartbroken and drunk. Lu Xing was resting when he heard a noisy sound. Hey son, why do you drink so much? This shrill voice obviously came from Jiang Mengwan. Lu Xing closed his eyes slightly and saw Jiang Mengmeng pushing Jiang Meiwan and appearing at the scene. He pretended not to see it, quickly picked up the bottle and poured it into his mouth again. Jiang Meiwan was now anxious and immediately grabbed Lu Xinghe's wine bottle to stop him from drinking anymore. Look at you, why are you so drunk? Mom will be sad too. What if you get stomach bleeding from drinking so much? Lu Xinghe was very persistent and yelled at Jiang Meiwan. Mom, it's okay, just let me drink. However, Jiang Mengmeng held him in check, showing no sign of obeying him. Just listen to what your aunt says. Why are you putting yourself in this state now? Will she understand your feelings? Jiang Mengmeng deliberately pretended to be distressed in front of Lu Xinghe. She doesn't understand your feelings in the first place. Why waste your time on her, right? You might as well cheer up. You two are from different worlds. She wants to abort your child, so how can she have any love for you? If you let her influence you again, she will definitely be secretly happy. She squeezed out tears and cried in front of Lu Xinghe. I feel really bad for you seeing you like this. If I were her, I would definitely cherish you. Even if she doesn't love you, why would she treat you like this? She's too hateful. As she spoke, she held Lu Xinghe's hand, her eyes full of affection. If I could have a child with you, I would definitely raise him well. I used to force myself to endure that relationship because I saw you two were married. Now I realize that giving you to her was the biggest mistake. Lu Xinghe frowned and subconsciously pulled his hand out of Jiang Mengmeng's hand. No, you are not her. You don't understand. I only like her. There was a trace of bitterness on Lu Xinghe's lips, and his words were filled with trembling tears. He collapsed on the sofa, looking completely depressed. His eyes instantly turned red and wet, which made Jiang Mengmeng feel disgusted. She hated Lu Xinghe's infatuation with Liu Ruyan. Is Liu Ruyan a psychopath? And is she worthy of Lu Xinghe's deep love for her? Is Lu Xinghe crazy? I am such a good person, but he doesn't love me. Instead, he loves a moron. Maybe Lu Xinghe's brain has become abnormal because he has lived with mentally retarded people for a long time. Jiang Mengmeng tried hard to suppress the anger in her heart. She wants revenge now and wants Lu Xinghe to realize that it was a mistake to hurt her in the past. The more pain he feels now, the happier he is. Of course, with this, I can also take advantage of the opportunity. Let Liu Ruyan experience how painful it is to have something that belongs to you taken away by someone else. This is also the price Liu Ruyan has to pay. Even if Liu Ruyan wants to keep the child in the future, haha, she will be destined to be a single mother. Of course, Liu Ruyan would definitely not be able to keep the child. Abortion drugs were put into Liu Ruyan's nutritional supplements. Even if the child was stubborn enough to survive, it would still be a double death. Of course, if Liu Ruyan wanted to have an abortion, she would definitely let Jiang Meiwan collude with the doctor, and then make Liu Ruyan bleed profusely during the operation, and Liu Ruyan would still not survive with the child. No matter which path she takes, it will be a dead end. Thinking of this, Jiang Mengmeng felt much better. She seemed to be able to see the haze of Liu Ruyan's future officially coming. I understand everything. I respect your thoughts, so I won't force you to accept me now. I've been able to wait before, so why would I wait a little longer? I'm very patient and won't fight for any status. If you're sad, I'll be with you. You can talk to me about anything you're unhappy about. Don't worry about me telling others. I'll always be with you. Jiang Mengmeng acted very intellectual and considerate, looking at Lu Xinghe affectionately. Lu Xinghe's eyes softened a lot, and he no longer looked at Jiang Mengmeng in that irritable and disgusted manner. He sighed, if I had always firmly chosen you, it would have been so great. Then all these things wouldn't have happened. Just this one sentence made Jiang Mengmeng's heart beat wildly. She was almost laughing out loud. I've finally waited for this day. Now Lu Xing's heart was relieved. As long as Lu Xing shows signs of wavering, her good days will begin. As long as she stays by Lu Xing's side, she will be able to win Lu Xing's heart. The one who is close to the water gets the moon first, and she will definitely unblock his icy heart. It doesn't matter. I'll always be here anyway. It's not too late to start now. Jiang Mengmeng's eyes were filled with tenderness as she looked at Lu Xinghe gently. She comforted Lu Xinghe. Be good. You've drunk quite a bit of wine now. I'll get you some hot towels to wipe your face, okay? Lu Xinghe nodded, looking grateful. Okay. So Jiang Mengmeng went to get the hot towel happily. Jiang Meiwan felt very uncomfortable watching this scene. After all, she really disliked Jiang Mengmeng now. But Jiang Mengmeng had the upper hand over her, so she couldn't say much. When Jiang Mengmeng came back, she looked at Jiang Meiwan, who had a grim expression and didn't say a word, with a hint of warning in her eyes. Jiang Meiwan was very unhappy, but she had no choice but to cooperate with Jiang Mengmeng and recite the lines they had agreed on before. Son, you see, so much has happened recently. I really can't bear to see you like this, so I plan to stay with you for a while. Mengmeng can take care of me so she can live with us. What do you think? She happens to be a thoughtful person and does everything in an orderly manner. You definitely need someone who understands your feelings. If you are unhappy, you can talk to her. There is no generation gap between the two of you, so it will be easier to communicate. Jiang Mengmeng was still a little nervous after hearing what Jiang Meiwan said. She was still afraid that Lu Xinghe would refuse this request. If she could not live with Lu Xinghe, it would definitely cause a lot of inconvenience. Mom, I'll listen to you. My mind has been very confused lately, and I want to calm down. Lu Xinghe sighed heavily, obviously looking very upset. Jiang Mengmeng was very happy after hearing Lu Xinghe's words. As expected, Lu Xinghe had let down his guard against himself, and the iron tree finally blossomed. Everything was easy after that, and everything went in the direction I wanted. Chapter 249, Prejudice Leads to Differences. So Jiang Mengmeng and Jiang Meiwan stayed at Lu Xinghe's house. Jiang Mengmeng took good care of Lu Xing's life. Although they didn't break the window paper, Lu Xing could give her a status. But she could clearly feel that Lu Xing's attitude towards her had improved a lot. Jiang Meiwan smelled the tempting aroma of meat coming in from the window. She was completely bewildered by the fragrance. Jiang Meiwan's stomach was rumbling. These days she has been eating nothing but plain food at home, and Lu Xing often goes out and is not at home much. She didn't get to eat anything delicious. Now she is in trouble. She immediately sniffed the fragrance and went to the kitchen. Watching the chef making soup, she secretly opened the lid of the pot and took a look. The aroma was overwhelming. It was a pot of golden chestnut chicken soup. The chicken being stewed is local chicken, and the meat is delicious. The cooking time is just right, and the soup is full of delicious oil, so it must be delicious. Jiang Meiwan was so greedy that she wanted to scoop some for herself, but was stopped by the chef. I'm sorry, old lady, you can't drink this. Jiang Meiwan was very unhappy. She looked at the chef and said unhappily, Is there anything I can't drink? Isn't it what you cook that I should drink? The chef said awkwardly, You really can't drink it. My husband asked me to make this drink specifically for Miss Jiang. He said she's been weak lately and it would be better for her to nourish her body. Jiang Meiwan's face suddenly became very ugly, and her mentality suddenly became unbalanced. She's weak, but isn't mine weak too? But that's what the master said. I have no choice. Besides that, I have to make some bird's nest and send it to Miss Jiang. I have no choice. After hearing what the chef said, Jiang Meiwan's face suddenly became extremely gloomy. She gritted her teeth and said to the chef, "Oh, in that case, then you should make the same portion to nourish me." But the chef said to Jiang Meiwan, "No, the master said that these free-range chickens and birds' nests are very precious. We need to increase revenue and reduce expenditure recently. We need to spend money where it counts. I'm afraid it will be difficult recently." Jiang Meiwan was furious. "You're kidding. My son is so rich, but he still needs to increase income and cut expenses. Does that mean our family should save money? Was it Jiang Mengmeng's idea? Otherwise, why would my son say these things to you?" The chef was anxious and said to Jiang Meiwan, "It's really not possible. I have no other choice. I don't care, I'm going to drink this chicken soup." Jiang Meiwan was immediately enraged. As Lu Xing's mother, she was not even qualified to enjoy chicken soup. It was ridiculous. Lu Xing is too biased. I don't know what Jiang Mengmeng whispered to Lu Xing to make such an absurd proposal. Jiang Meiwan is also a person who cares a lot about her reputation. If she lets Jiang Mengmeng eat this bowl of chicken soup alone today, won't Jiang Mengmeng be better than her in the future? So Jiang Meiwan ignored the chef's instructions and forced herself to scoop a bowl of chicken soup. Just sit at the table and enjoy it. As a result, a shadow fell on Jiang Meiwan. "What are you doing?" The angry questioning made Jiang Meiwan's heart tremble. When she raised her head, she saw Jiang Mengmeng with a gloomy look in her eyes. The other person's eyes were staring at her, and it was obvious that he had some dissatisfaction with her. Facing Jiang Mengmeng's hostility, Jiang Meiwan rolled her eyes and said confidently, "I'm hungry, drink chicken soup." "Put it down," Jiang Mengmeng ordered. "Why, this is my son's home, this is mine. What qualifications do you have to yell at me? Aren't you just a little maid of mine at best? Do you really think you are the master? Remember, you are an outsider. You are not an outsider yet. Without my permission, you can't marry my son." Jiang Meiwan directly shouted at Jiang Mengmeng. Jiang Mengmeng was obviously not someone to be trifled with, and subconsciously she tried to grab the chicken soup. Jiang Meiwan immediately grabbed the bowl of chicken soup and refused to give it to Jiang Mengmeng. "What are you doing? I'm here today, so don't even think about letting you drink a sip. Do you really think I'm a bully?" The two people were at a stalemate. There was a flash of evil in Jiang Mengmeng's eyes. She got angry and poured all the chicken soup on Jiang Meiwan. "Okay, then drink it all." Jiang Meiwan was dumbfounded. She felt the boiling hot chicken soup on her skin. The burning sensation made her jump around. She quickly wiped the hot soup with a tissue, but her skin was obviously burned red. "What are you doing? Are you crazy?" Jiang Meiwan's anger was immediately aroused. This was the first time she was bullied like this. Although she had suffered a little outside, she had never been respected so much by the younger generation. As soon as she finished speaking, Jiang Meiwan was slapped hard in the face. Jiang Meiwan was beaten so hard that she saw stars, and her mind was in a mess. "You hit me?" Jiang Meiwan covered her face in surprise. "What's wrong with hitting you? Do I have to be in a good mood to hit you? Don't think that just because you are Lu Xing's mother, you can act like a boss in front of me. Sooner or later, I will be the master of this family. If you respect me, I will let you drink some soup. Otherwise, I will let you drink some urine." Jiang Mengmeng smiled shamelessly. "Don't forget that I still have your secret in my hands. If your wicked husband knew that you were keeping a gigolo outside, do you think he would go crazy?" Jiang Meiwan's face darkened immediately. She grabbed her clothes and clenched her teeth. Jiang Mengmeng did have the upper hand over her, so she couldn't lose her temper now. But Jiang Meiwan could endure it for a while, but she couldn't endure it for a while. So when Lu Xing came home from get off work in the evening, Jiang Mengmeng stopped acting like a treacherous and domineering person at home. Instead, she became a virtuous girl who cooked for Lu Xing herself, saying that her cooking was more thoughtful. Her acting is so good that if you don't know her, you might think Jiang Mengmeng is a good wife and mother. Jiang Mengmeng specifically asked the servants about Lu Xing's favorite dishes, cooked them herself, and finished them before Lu Xing came back. "You're back, you must have worked hard today. Come, let me take off your coat so you can feel more comfortable." Lu Xing had just come out of the door when he saw Jiang Mengmeng running up to him enthusiastically. Her enthusiasm made Lu Xing feel uncomfortable. But when he thought about having to act out the whole scene, Lu Xinghe still cooperated with Jiang Mengmeng. Jiang Mengmeng immediately helped Lu Xing take off his coat and hung it up, then asked the servants to bring all the dishes to the table. Oh, there are so many delicious dishes, and I'm starving. At this moment, Jiang Meiwan had already gone downstairs. She had not been notified to eat, but she deliberately wanted to make Jiang Mengmeng unhappy. Chapter 250. While the snipe and the clam fight, the fisherman benefits. Even though Jiang Mengmeng had warned her with her eyes, Jiang Meiwan had no intention of leaving. Jiang Meiwan sat down at her seat with dignity, and after seeing the dishes, she began to sigh. Mengmeng, did you make this yourself? Yeah, what's the problem? Jiang Mengmeng forced a smile. She didn't want to lose her temper in front of Lu Xing. Doing so would only make Lu Xing feel less favorable towards her. Jiang Meiwan shook her head and sighed. Are you deliberately stepping into a minefield? The dishes are good, but the problem is that these are the dishes my son hates the most. Don't you know he doesn't like bitter melon and can't handle spicy food? Why do you have so many boiled fish and spicy bullfrogs? Especially bullfrogs, my son can't even touch them. He hates parasites. The smile on Jiang Mengmeng's face suddenly disappeared. When she saw Jiang Meiwan's smug look, she knew she had fallen into the other party's trap. It was Jiang Meiwan who was plotting against me. Jiang Mengmeng's anger suddenly flared up, and she glared at Jiang Meiwan fiercely. When she was feeling upset about her mistake and didn't know how to explain it to Lu Xing, she heard Lu Xing's comfort. It's okay. She doesn't know my taste very well now, but after this she'll know what I like to eat. At worst, we can just skip eating today and go out to a restaurant. Jiang Mengmeng was so excited that her eyes were wet. Lu Xinghe changed her so much that it was exactly the treatment she had always dreamed of. Okay, I'll listen to you. Then go upstairs and change your clothes. I'm going to take you shopping and buy you some nice clothes. I saw that Chanel has released new styles recently. I'll go change my clothes right away, Tilda. Jiang Mengmeng couldn't hide the smile on her face at all, and her eyes were full of happiness. Jiang Meiwan saw this scene and asked, What about me? Lu Xing has said to Jiang Meiwan, Mom, your legs and feet are not convenient for you, so just stay at home. Just one sentence made Jiang Meiwan feel like she had fallen into an ice cellar, and all her hopes were dashed. She couldn't understand what Lu Xing has said and laughed dryly. It's okay, I'm also very bored staying at home, so I'll go out to eat. Lu Xing has said to Jiang Meiwan, Mom, don't waste it. Mengmeng has cooked a whole table of dishes. Remember to eat them. Jiang Meiwan's eyes widened. I'm eating here and you guys are going out to play. You even bought her delicious food and nice clothes. What about me? Lu Xing has said in a cold tone, Mom, you have enough, you don't need too much. Jiang Meiwan was furious. You treat me with perfunctory attitude, but take good care of her. I'm just an outsider, right? She's your favorite. Do you think I'm your mother? Lu Xing replied unhappily. Mom, can't you be more sensible? When you have nothing to do, learn more from Mengmeng. Mengmeng is sensible and can cook well. Jiang Meiwan felt uncomfortable watching her son praising Jiang Mengmeng. She gritted her teeth and glared at Lu Xing angrily. Okay, she has all the advantages, just let me die in this family. Anyway, I'm just an old woman and no one cares about me. Mom, if you want to say such spoiling things, then I won't say anything more to you. Lu Xing obviously didn't even have the intention to coax her, which made Jiang Meiwan even more frustrated. Jiang Meiwan gritted her teeth, her mood plummeting. She was so angry that she almost wanted to eat Jiang Mengmeng, who had just come downstairs dressed up beautifully, alive. She totally couldn't understand how Jiang Mengmeng could gain Lu Xing's attention, especially when Jiang Mengmeng twisted her waist and looked very happy and carefree. Jiang Meiwan spat at her fiercely. Bah, this vixen. Lu Xing took Jiang Mengmeng out to dinner and bought a lot of gifts. When Jiang Mengmeng's hands and neck were all covered with expensive jewels, while her own hands were empty, Jiang Meiwan's eyes almost popped out. She was extremely unconvinced. If Jiang Mengmeng continues on this path of success, it will easily jeopardize her own position. If Jiang Mengmeng really gets to the top, she will definitely suppress herself and act tyrannically. By then, I will no longer have any status. No, she had to find a way. As long as Jiang Mengmeng can get out of here, she can get the benefits. As night fell, darkness gradually swallowed up the sky, and the bright moon was slowly obscured by dark clouds, leaving only a hazy shadow visible. Lu Xing was about to fall asleep. Then there was a rapid knock on the door. Son, Jiang Meiwan called anxiously. Lu Xing frowned. What's the matter that Jiang Meiwan came to see me in the middle of the night? So Lu Xing opened the door and immediately saw Jiang Meiwan standing at the door with a crutch. Her face flushed, and she was stammering. Mom, what's wrong? Go and see Jiang Mengmeng. Jiang Meiwan was unable to speak, and suddenly pointed at the door not far away, very angry. When Lu Xinghe saw Jiang Meiwan's expression, the corners of his lips immediately curled up. Very good, the bait is spread, and the big fish is finally about to take the bait. Lu Xing immediately followed Jiang Meiwan and came to Jiang Mengmeng's door. Jiang Meiwan was very tough and kicked the door open directly. As a result, the room was in a mess, with clothes taken off by men and women, underwear, belts, stockings, all tangled together, scattered on the floor. Not only that, the man on the bed suddenly grabbed the sheets and stood up. "What are you doing?" It was obvious that Jiang Mengmeng was sleeping next to the man. "Well, there's an adulterer," Jiang Meiwan scolded angrily. Lu Xing wanted to laugh out loud, but in this situation he certainly couldn't show his happiness, so he could only cooperate with Jiang Meiwan. He immediately became furious. "Jiang Mengmeng, I didn't expect you to be such a person." Jiang Mengmeng, awakened by the noise, opened her eyes subconsciously. When she found that the people standing in front of her were the cold-faced Lu Xing and the gloating Jiang Meiwan, and a shirtless stranger was lying on her bed, she screamed. Jiang Mengmeng immediately grabbed her quilt and wrapped it around her body, fearing that she would be exposed. She was extremely angry. "Who are you?" After drinking a cup of coffee in the evening, she suddenly felt dizzy, and when she woke up, she saw such a miserable scene. Jiang Meiwan scolded Jiang Mengmeng harshly. "This is your adulterer and you don't even recognize him. We caught you in bed together, what else do you want to say? Jiang Mengmeng, you're really disgusting. You hooked up with my son pretending to be affectionate, but then you played such a trick behind his back. You're really disgusting to us. Why don't you just go to hell?" Chapter 251, Who is the little puppy you are supporting? After hearing what Jiang Meiwan said, Jiang Mengmeng finally understood that she had fallen into the other party's trap. She pointed at Jiang Meiwan's nose and cursed, "You're plotting against me. I don't even know this guy. How could I possibly sleep with him? I just fainted and I have no recollection of what happened next." Jiang Meiwan immediately became anxious. "What nonsense are you talking about? You had an affair yourself and now you bite me back. What good will it do me if I frame you?" She gave the man a look. It is obvious that this is a hint that the other party should cooperate with oneself. Men also do things for money, so this time they must be cooperating with Jiang Meiwan and acting together. He said to Jiang Mengmeng, "What do you mean you don't know me at all? That's not what you said just now in bed. It was obviously you who flirted with me first, and now you're saying this." Jiang Mengmeng's face turned very ugly. She shouted angrily, "You lie. I didn't expect you to be this kind of person." Lu Xing could clearly see that Jiang Meiwan and the so-called adulterer had a complicated relationship, and most likely the man was hired. But now that they are acting together, he, as the protagonist, must help sing along. "No, that's not the case. They are in cahoots with each other. I am innocent." Jiang Mengmeng looked at Lu Xinghe with disgust and immediately became anxious. Her eyes were red and she reached out her hand to Lu Xinghe, wanting to touch his body. Lu Xing suddenly became very irritable. He suddenly waved Jiang Mengmeng's hand away and said angrily, "Don't touch me, I think it's dirty." Jiang Mengmeng's tears flowed down like a curtain of rain. "I was really framed, you have to believe me. Please don't believe them, I'm serious about you. I'm not just playing around, I really like you." Jiang Mengmeng sobbed until her voice became hoarse, but her affectionate look made Lu Xing feel sick. Now she's saying she's sincere. Or do you think he is such a fool that he would really believe everything she says? If Lu Xing didn't want to benefit from the conflict between the two parties, he wouldn't want to play such a role at all. "You keep saying you like me, but you end up sleeping with other men. Luckily, I'm not with you, otherwise I'd be cuckolded now." Lu Xinghe's expression was icy, and he spat at Jiang Mengmeng, "Get out of my house right now. I don't want to see you." Jiang Mengmeng refused, and immediately knelt down in front of Lu Xinghe. Her pale cheeks were slightly sunken as she pleaded with Lu Xinghe. "You really misunderstood me. I can find evidence. It was Jiang Meiwan who put drugs in the drink. Otherwise, I wouldn't be like this at all." Lu Xinghe stared at Jiang Mengmeng coldly and thought that what she said was too ridiculous. Even if she was kneeling in front of him, he would remain indifferent. "Well, now you're going to continue to frame me. I'm really being shot even when I'm lying down. You vicious woman, you couldn't stand the loneliness, so you messed around outside, and now you're putting the blame on me." Jiang Meiwan definitely didn't want Jiang Mengmeng to expose all the scandals involving her things, so she insisted that Jiang Mengmeng was unfaithful. She even went up to Jiang Mengmeng and tried to drag her out. "Get out of here now, and don't leave your stuff in the house to pollute the air. It makes me sick just looking at it." Jiang Mengmeng was already naked. wearing only underwear, and now being insulted by Jiang Meiwan. She became furious and didn't care what she was wearing. She slapped Jiang Meiwan hard on the face. "You vicious woman, you even schemed against your own husband. How dare you say that to me?" Jiang Meiwan was slapped hard in the face. A crisp and bright whoosh sound pierced her ears and her face suddenly swelled up. You know, rural women have explosive power. She subconsciously grabbed Jiang Mengmeng's hair and pulled it tightly. "How good do you think you are? You're not vicious, but you threaten me to do things for you. You yourself made me knock Liu Ruyan unconscious and arranged an abortion for her, trying to sow discord between us. You're hundreds of times more vicious than me." Jiang Mengmeng's hair was long and thick, and now it hurt when Jiang Meiwan pulled it so hard that it made her groan in pain, grimacing. It was not until she heard Jiang Meiwan's words that Jiang Mengmeng became anxious. She didn't expect Jiang Meiwan to confess everything in front of Lu Xing. "You stinky woman, you're raising a little puppy outside and want to find a stepfather for Lu Xing. Don't you think that your husband is still alive? How can he let it go like this? He knows that you cheated on him. How can he let it go like this? What the hell is this to you? Don't think you can threaten me with this. You're just an outsider at best. You still want to marry into my family? You're dreaming. You're a slut and you still want to pretend to be a chaste heroine. I'm dying of laughter. You're an old cow eating young grass. Do you really think that man is serious about you? It makes me laugh to death. Don't you see how old you are? You can even be his mother. If you didn't rely on Lu Xing's wealth and your status as a mother due to your son, do you think that man would dare to say sweet words to you?" The two men wrestled with each other, spouting all kinds of Chinese classics and tearing each other apart. Lu Xing felt pain just looking at it. You know, women's nails are very long, and it must be painful if they scratch people. As a result, neither of them had the upper hand and both were injured. Not only was a large part of Jiang Mengmeng's hair pulled out, but her face was also scratched. As for Jiang Meiwan, her condition was also terrible. There were marks all over her neck, and her ears were pulled red by Jiang Mengmeng. Jiang Mengmeng was not a pushover. She kicked Jiang Meiwan's stomach hard again and again, causing Jiang Meiwan to scream in pain. However, Jiang Meiwan was also a ruthless character. The next moment, she bit Jiang Mengmeng's ear. Lu Xing even gasped, "Don't fight with women, especially a woman like this who is older but still able to fight. It can only be viewed from a distance and not played with. But now it's a dog-eat-dog situation, which seems a lot more satisfying. But he seemed to have also gotten something big. Lu Xing knew that the two of them had colluded to make Liu Ruyan have a miscarriage. So he deliberately acted to make the two of them compete for each other's favor, and then fight each other. The problem is that Lu Xing had no idea that Jiang Meiwan had found a little dad for him and was raising a little puppy. The most amazing thing is that his dad was not dead. What is going on? The figure that Lu Xing had seen before suddenly appeared in his mind. That face looked very much like the original owner's father. If I wasn't mistaken at the time, could that person be him? However, when Lu Xing saw the constant quarrel at the scene, he subconsciously put on a very fierce look. Chapter 252, you win, but I will keep coming back. What? So Yanyan is feeling wronged, and it's you two who are deliberately plotting against her, right? Lu Xing glanced at them coldly, but in his deep eyes there was a sharp vigilance and murderous intent as sharp as a knife. He pretended to be disappointed and angry at being betrayed. Only then did the two of them stop. Jiang Meiwan didn't expect that she would quarrel with Jiang Mengmeng, and ended up revealing the big secret. "Son, listen to my explanation. She is the mastermind behind this. I am innocent. She has been threatening me to do things for her. I think this is too shameless and too vicious, but I can't do anything about it. You know how despicable this woman's methods are." "I'm despicable? Don't you see how willing you were at the time? You wanted Liu Ruyan to give birth to the child, didn't you? Weren't you afraid that Liu Ruyan would look down on you even more after the child was born? You are so futile, you just want a puppet daughter-in-law who obeys you. As long as she listens to you, she is a good daughter-in-law." Jiang Mengmeng was very unhappy. Jiang Meiwan blamed all the mistakes on her and acted very innocent. "Get lost? What's wrong with me wanting an obedient daughter-in-law? Who doesn't want an obedient daughter-in-law? Liu Ruyan is 100 times or 1,000 times better than you. At least she's rich and you have nothing. You don't love my son at all, you love his money. Don't think I don't know what you're planning. I'm telling you, it's impossible. I never planned on having you as my son's daughter-in-law. You'd better give up on this idea as soon as possible. I'm afraid my eldest grandson will inherit your vicious genes, and then there's no hope. You're still scolding me. You damn bitch, do you think I want a mother-in-law like you? If it weren't for the fact that you're Lu Xing's biological mother, I would have killed you long ago. You think Liu Ruyan is so good, so why did you cooperate with me to drive Liu Ruyan away? You're a wicked mother-in-law. Any daughter-in-law would die at your hands. I don't know how you could give birth to a son like Lu Xing. He's a world apart from you. I have good genes. If you have the ability, you can give birth to such an awesome son. It's useless to be envious and jealous. If you want to enter my house, you have to get past me. Even if I'm a wicked mother-in-law, you can't enter my house. Jiang Meiwan cursed Jiang Mengmeng fiercely. The two of them were cursing each other and started to fight again. Looking at the noisy scene in front of him, Lu Xingha's eyes became extremely cold. He immediately shouted angrily, "Get out of here. Son, I'm really innocent. Please don't let me go. I still have something to talk to you about." After knowing that her image in Lu Xing's heart was greatly damaged, she panicked and wanted Lu Xinghe not to be so cold to her. Jiang Mengmeng sneered at the side, almost vomiting when she saw Jiang Meiwan trying to be nice. "You've bullied Liu Ruyan and plotted against your son before, so stop pretending to be nice." Jiang Meiwan yelled at Jiang Mengmeng, "Who the hell do you think you are?" Lu Xingha's eyes were extremely cold. Seeing that Jiang Mengmeng had no intention of leaving, he subconsciously grabbed Jiang Mengmeng's wrist and said, "Get out of here." Jiang Mengmeng was dumbfounded, feeling the man's beast-like strength. He was very rough, ignoring her struggles and cries, and insisted on throwing her out. "I'm really innocent. Please don't abandon me. You're too cruel." Jiang Mengmeng's tears fell down, and she kept pretending to be pitiful in front of Lu Xinghe. No matter how pitiful she looked in Lu Xinghe's eyes, she was dirty and disgusting. Lu Xing had no feelings for her at all, and he was almost vomiting after enduring her for so long. He wished Jiang Mengmeng would get out of here quickly and not embarrass herself in front of her. "Cruel, that word only applies to you. You've done all those bad things, and now you're trying to blackmail me morally. I won't fall for it. My phone recorded what you just said to Jiang Meiwan. I'll use it as evidence in court. I'll formally prosecute you. While I won't send you to prison for life, I'll definitely make you spend more than a decade in prison." Lu Xinghe's eyes were cold, and the cold words he uttered made Jiang Mengmeng's heart instantly turn cold. "Recording? Have you been preparing for this from the beginning?" "Yeah, you schemed against me, so why can't I scheme against you?" Lu Xinghe's eyes were filled with coldness. "Do you really think I would believe your little tricks? I'm not a child anymore. How could I be so easily fooled? Liu Ruyan doesn't need to play those tricks at all. You don't know her. If she really didn't want this child, she would have told me and wouldn't have asked for my consent. She would have done it anyway instead of secretly having the surgery without saying a word. I liked you before, but I was blind. I don't owe you anything, and you can't even pay back what you owe me. You wouldn't be so stupid as to abandon my wife and children. I really fell in love with you, right? Should I say you are stupid or naive? When I loved you at the beginning, you didn't cherish it. Now that I don't love you anymore, you still cling to me. It really makes me feel sick." Lu Xinghe's dark and deep icy eyes were like frozen spears, extremely sharp. Jiang Mengmeng's heart was chilled to the extreme. She lowered her eyes sadly, her lips moving, but she couldn't utter a word. This hurt more than any of the injuries on her body. Originally, she really thought she could save Lu Xinghe, but she found herself like a joke. Lu Xinghe didn't love her at all. He only loved Liu Ruyan. "I have become a clown, and no matter how much I love him, it is all unrequited love." She thought her plan would succeed, that Lu Xinghe would be unable to stop wanting her, and that she could take revenge on Liu Ruyan. But it was just as Lu Xinghe said, she was too naive. Lu Xinghe doesn't love her, so her trick will naturally not succeed. From the very beginning, it was a plan designed by Lu Xinghe. He was nice to her just to collect evidence. He wants her to die. "Lu Xinghe, do you really hate me to this extent that you wish I would disappear from this world?" Jiang Mengmeng smiled bitterly. "Certainly." Lu Xinghe no longer had any extra patience for Jiang Mengmeng. Ever since he knew that she and Jiang Meiwan wanted to get rid of his and Liu Ruyan's child, and even wanted to kill Liu Ruyan twice, he hated Jiang Mengmeng. If killing wasn't illegal, he really wanted to kill Jiang Mengmeng directly. How come there are such lingering people in the world? He knew clearly that she was the mistress, but still wanted to get into the house. "Why are you so confident? Just because I love you for a while, I can love you forever. How do you think you are better than my wife?" Lu Xinghe's eyes were very cold. "After spending this time with you, everything about you makes me feel disgusted." Jiang Mengmeng's heart was crushed when she saw Lu Xinghe's cold and ruthless look. "Lu Xinghe, I will make this prosperous world as you wish. But on the other hand, you have to pay a price for it." After Jiang Mengmeng said these ambiguous words, the look she gave him was filled with vicious hatred. Lu Xinghe didn't understand what Jiang Mengmeng meant, but with Jiang Mengmeng's personality, she would definitely act up again. However, he is not afraid. He has a system and security, so what is there to be afraid of? Besides, after he collected all the evidence against her, he would call the police. How could Jiang Mengmeng pose a threat if she was caught? Chapter 253, Hidden Corner, Dust, Hidden Truth. How could Jiang Mengmeng pose a threat if she was caught? Even if Jiang Mengmeng wants to fight to the death, she must have the capital to do so. But Lu Xingha's gaze was fixed on the house. Jiang Meiwan was still timidly holding onto the door frame, and she clearly gave Lu Xing a dry laugh. She was scared. Son, you won't catch me, will you? I am your biological mother. I carried you for 10 months and gave birth to you. Don't be so cruel. Lu Xing had a headache. This weird mother is the biggest obstacle. After all, she is the original owner's mother, and it is really difficult for him to deal with her. But Lu Xing couldn't just let her do something stupid again and affect him. Do you think playing the family card will make me soft-hearted? Lu Xing's eyes were cold. I can completely kill my relatives for the sake of justice. As long as you make me unhappy and do something wrong, you will have to pay for it. Jiang Meiwan suddenly became anxious. She grabbed Lu Xing's hand and cried, Son, I was really threatened by that vicious woman Jiang Meiwan, so I did so many stupid things. Why would I do anything to my eldest grandson? I was desperate and had no other choice, so I did this. I am the most pitiful woo-woo-woo. Lu Xing felt like vomiting after hearing this. How could he not know what Jiang Meiwan was thinking? Jiang Meiwan is just pretending to be ignorant and trying to hide the truth. If Lu Xingha continues to be foolishly used by her, he would be a real fool. Desperate, you're already an old fox, stop pretending. Tell me what happened to my dad. Isn't he dead? After hearing Lu Xing's questioning, Jiang Meiwan felt very guilty, and she didn't dare to look at Lu Xing at all. She looked at Lu Xing pitifully. This is a long story. I had no choice. I was so poor at the time that I had to do this. Lu Xing narrowed his eyes. Long story short, Jiang Meiwan swallowed her saliva and said, Back then, your father was gambling outside and owed a lot of debts. How could I possibly pay back so much money? Plus, the debt collectors kept coming to our house, so we couldn't work properly. We were hiding from people and lived a life where we couldn't eat a single meal. Lu Xingha raised his chin and said, So you sneaked overseas and worked to avoid debt? Jiang Meiwan nodded. Yes, but the problem is that we were also approached by that gang abroad who wanted us to go and get kidneys. How could we do that? Coincidentally, an unidentified male corpse appeared on the beach, completely gnawed by fish. That's why we came up with the idea of fraudulent insurance. We let your father hide and defrauded the insurance money abroad. After hearing what Jiang Meiwan said, Lu Xing felt terrible. Then why is he in China? He has no identity. Could it be that he also smuggled back in? Jiang Meiwan sighed deeply. That's true. He was afraid of being exposed abroad, so he sneaked back to China. The insurance money was used to pay off his debts. He lives an anonymous life in China and relies on me for help. Lu Xingha asked, Where is he now? Jiang Meiwan shook her head. I'm not sure. Maybe he's in a garden or on a flyover. It could be anything. I usually contact him by phone, but sometimes his phone is out of battery and I can't get through. After hearing Jiang Meiwan's words, Lu Xing lowered his eyes and asked, Does he still have debts? If you still have debt, that's annoying. He didn't expect that the original owner's family was so bad, with a gambling father and a cunning mother. Fortunately, he was the one who traveled through time. Otherwise, the original owner would have to suffer all these, which would have been very painful. I've quit for a long time, but you must not recognize him. Jiang Meiwan immediately grabbed Lu Xing's arm and said, Just treat him as a homeless person. If you acknowledge him, you will be in trouble. This kind of person will never be satisfied and will only exploit you. Isn't it better for the two of us to live a good life? She even thought of a strategy. Hurry up and make a will. Of course, I'm not hoping you'll die, but I think you must divide your property properly. It's safe for you and prevents others from coveting your property. And don't give your father any money. Who knows where he'd go to fool around if he had the money. Jiang Meiwan's words made Lu Xing's eyes become gloomy. Do you want my share of the property? I'm your mother after all. It wouldn't be right if you didn't give me a cent, right? Jiang Meiwan smiled at Lu Xing shamelessly. Lu Xinghe knew exactly what she was planning. It is obvious that this woman is selfish and turns her back on people for money. It really shows the greed of human nature in a mess. Are you sure you want to notarize your property? That requires a DNA test. Lu Xinghe's eyes were sharp, and he kept staring at Jiang Meiwan. Jiang Meiwan, who was originally very excited, suddenly froze in smile. What did you say? Why do you need a DNA test? Don't you believe you are your mother? It's just a formality. It's just for better protection. As my mother, why would you be afraid of doing an NDA? After all, I can have another father out of nowhere, and who knows if you are really my mother. Lu Xinghe's eyes were extremely cold. He raised his head and stared at Jiang Meiwan. Jiang Meiwan's face turned very ugly. She looked around with a guilty look and smiled awkwardly at Lu Xinghe. It is definitely a foregone conclusion that I am your mother, but I am afraid to go to the hospital. My legs will go weak when I go to the hospital. You want me to go for that test, which means you don't trust me. Are you afraid to go to the hospital? It's okay. Give me a hair and I can get the identification results without you having to go there. Lu Xing looked at Jiang Meiwan calmly. Jiang Meiwan's breathing suddenly became tense. A cold light flashed in Lu Xinghe's eyes, and his thin lips were tightly pursed, clearly showing no warmth to her. This also made Jiang Meiwan's eyes roll around, and cold sweat hung on her face, making it difficult for her to remain calm. Son, you don't trust me at all. Don't we have this little trust between mother and son? You've been hot and cold towards me before, always listening to what outsiders say. This makes me very sad. I feel like I've been betrayed by you. Jiang Meiwan pretended to be pitiful and looked at Lu Xinghe, as if Lu Xinghe had done something wrong. Lu Xinghe's eyes suddenly became extremely cold. Don't change the subject. Go get a DNA test now. Jiang Meiwan's face turned pale. She suddenly grabbed the edge of her skirt, obviously unwilling. Lu Xinghe had already stood up from his chair. He said to Jiang Meiwan seriously, "Let's go." Looking at Jiang Meiwan's guilty expression, he guessed that something must be wrong. Could it be that the original owner was not Jiang Meiwan's son? Chapter 254, The Truth is Behind. Jiang Meiwan was in tears. She had never expected that she would dig a hole for herself. "Oh, my stomach hurts." Seeing Lu Xinghe's determined look, she immediately held her stomach and pretended to be in unbearable pain. Lu Xinghe, who caught a glimpse of this scene, felt that Jiang Meiwan's method was too crude. Everyone knew what Jiang Meiwan was thinking. "Just now you have a stomachache. I'll take you to the hospital." "No, I want to go to the bathroom. I have to lie down. It will be done in a while." Jiang Meiwan tried hard to force a smile at Lu Xinghe. Lu Xinghe's eyes were extremely cold. He said to Jiang Meiwan, "Do you want to go by yourself, or do you want me to tie you up and take you there?" The oppressive aura made Jiang Meiwan tremble, and her body curled up to the extreme. Looking at Lu Xinghe's determined look, she knew that she couldn't escape this time. Inside the hospital, Jiang Meiwan sat on the chair trembling. She was very reluctant and wanted to get up. As a result, Lu Xing's hand was placed on her shoulder, and Lu Xing used force and coldly pushed her back to her seat. Jiang Meiwan was almost crying. She never expected such a thing to happen. Not to mention that there are bodyguards around. Each one is more burly than the other. Judging from the current pace, if I dare to run, I will definitely be dragged back. Jiang Meiwan bit her lip and had no choice but to accept her fate and let the nurse draw her blood. She watched Lu Xing draw blood with a fearless attitude, almost crying. Jiang Meiwan's heart was chilled to the bone when she suddenly heard a roar. "You stinky bitch!" Jiang Meiwan's body trembled, and her face turned extremely pale. She subconsciously wanted to escape, but was caught back by the figure who suddenly broke in. "You dare to run away? You've done something wrong to me, and you're pretending it never happened. You're making a fool of me, aren't you? I never thought you'd have the guts to keep a gigolo and cuckold me." The person who showed up was Liu Zhenhua, Jiang Meiwan's husband. His hair was rough, his skin was dark yellow, and his eyes were ferocious, as if he wanted to eat Jiang Meiwan. The manic abuse kept coming at Jiang Meiwan, and she was almost on the verge of tears. She didn't expect that Lu Xing would actually send someone to bring Liu Zhenhua here. Liu Zhenhua never thought that his wife didn't want to send him back, but instead kept a little puppy outside to cheat on him. No wonder he hadn't seen any good news. It turned out that Jiang Meiwan had something else going on outside. This naturally made Liu Zhenhua so angry that he fainted. He never expected that his wife would stab him. Jiang Meiwan's eyes were filled with fear, and her face turned pale with fright as she looked at Liu Zhenhua, who was very angry at the moment. No, this is all a misunderstanding. Let me explain. Liu Zhenhua has always been a domestic abuser, especially when he loses a bet. He likes to beat her up. After he fled overseas, he became a little more restrained. Later, he wanted to avoid the limelight, and the distance between the two of them widened. Only then did Jiang Meiwan feel liberated. She didn't expect that she would fall into Liu Zhenhua's hands again. The familiar taste is back. Liu Zhenhua was like a wild beast, waiting for an opportunity, reckless and brutal, and pushed her to the ground. She was so frightened that she nearly peed herself to death. Her legs were not in good condition to begin with, and now she was slipping and backing away desperately. Liu Zhenhua is in a critical condition now, and you can't get close to him. If you continue like this, you will lose your life. Son, save me. Jiang Meiwan yelled at Lu Xing, hoping that Lu Xing could save her from the dire situation. However, Lu Xing looked at Jiang Meiwan coldly. Jiang Meiwan was beaten. Wasn't she just what she deserved? She had been playing the innocent role all along, but in reality, she had done so many dirty and ugly things. Seeing that Lu Xing did not offer help, Liu Zhenhua bravely dragged Jiang Meiwan to the fire escape. Jiang Meiwan's miserable cries and cries for help were heard from inside. It was so sad. This was the first time that Lu Xing was able to turn a blind eye. Jiang Meiwan deserves it, and we must strike back hard. Who made Jiang Meiwan not only covet his own property, but also try to kill Liu Ruyan twice. If I wasn't sober enough, I might have been led astray and been tricked by her. Lu Xing could imagine how cruel the scene was just by hearing the miserable cries and the rough punches and kicks. He disdains to look at this scene. Anyway, it lasted for a long time before Liu Zhenhua came out panting. He nodded and bowed to Lu Xing with a somewhat flattering tone. Are you satisfied now? This bitch needs to be taught a lesson. She will only behave after being beaten. Son, don't be angry. Lu Xing's eyes were cold. The results of the paternity test are not out yet, so don't call me your son. After hearing Lu Xing's words, Liu Zhenhua's face suddenly became very ugly. It can be said that he was very surprised. Did you do a paternity test? Lu Xing glanced over with a sharp and cold look. What's wrong? Can't we do it? Liu Zhenhua sensed Lu Xing's displeasure and immediately put on an apologetic smile. No, 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 anything is fine. Lu Xing raised his head and looked at Liu Zhenhua unhappily. Am I your biological son? Liu Zhenhua flattered. Of course you are. What nonsense are you talking about? Lu Xing was furious and roared. I'll give you one more chance to find out whether I am your biological son or not. When Lu Xing questioned Liu Zhenhua angrily, Liu Zhenhua became intimidated and dared not say a word. Lu Xing felt that he was getting closer and closer to the truth. He stared at Liu Zhenhua intently. What on earth is going on? Don't wait until the identification results come out and I ask the police to investigate. It will be too late then. Liu Zhenhua looked at Lu Xing's furious expression. He became anxious and immediately grabbed Lu Xing's hand, crying and saying, Son, listen to my explanation. This matter is not what you think. Enough, you and your wife are of the same character. I want to hear the truth, not your excuses. Lu Xing was so angry that his veins popped out. He simply couldn't understand what wicked things this weird couple had done, and why the original owner's life experience was so confusing and full of ups and downs. Liu Zhenhua was about to cry. He was shocked by Lu Xing's aura. Lu Xing is now in a high position and has great power, and he has the powerful Liu family as his backer. He was definitely no match for Lu Xing. It was obvious that Lu Xing knew something now, otherwise he wouldn't be so angry. Actually, you are not our child, but we treat you as our own. Liu Zhenhua was still pretending to be serious. That fake face made Lu Xing feel very disgusted. I have never met you before. You recognized the wrong person. The person you took away was not me, but Lu Yunting. After hearing this, Liu Zhenhua's face turned extremely ugly. He didn't dare to meet Lu Xing's eyes, feeling very ashamed. Since you said so, then I'll tell you. Actually, I didn't know that you and Lu Yunting were the real and fake young masters before. My wife was working as a temporary cleaner in an employer's house. It happened that the employer's house suffered a fire. My wife took the child away during the chaos. She originally planned to blackmail him, but she didn't expect the owner to die. Since my wife and I didn't have children, she raised the child as her own. Chapter 255, The Child You Took Out is Lu Yunting. Lu Xing's face turned pale. The child you took out is Lu Yunting. Liu Zhenhua nodded. Yes. He said to Lu Xing, please forgive me for saving your brother. This is simply jumping around in Lu Xing's minefield again and again. You should have just not saved Lu Yunting in the first place. You didn't save the one who should have been saved, and you saved the one who shouldn't have been saved. Lu Xing scolded him angrily. If Lu Yunting had died at that time, he would not have done so many bad things. However, his biological parents died in the fire, which made him very sad. The original owner has never met his biological parents. This will become a regret and is really heartbreaking. What a trick of fate. The original owner was taken away by mistake with Lu Yunting since childhood. He should have been a pampered young master, living a life of luxury, but he never expected such an episode to happen. The original owner's parents may never know that their child was taken away by mistake, and they treated Lu Yunting as a child. However, After Lu Yunting was taken away by Liu Zhenhua and Jiang Meiwan, they wanted to avoid debts, and it was inconvenient for them to escape, so they thought Lu Yunting was a burden and left him in an orphanage again. This also made him mistakenly believe that Liu Zhenhua and Jiang Meiwan were his biological parents. Lu Xinghe thought it was really ridiculous. Such an outrageous plot actually happened to him. It really is a world of novels. He was reading such a melodramatic article, but fortunately, he finally found out the truth of the matter. Otherwise, he would have been kept in the dark and knew nothing. Liu Zhenhua was stunned. He had never expected that even after he said this, he would still arouse Lu Xinghe's disgust. Okay, it's our fault. But now your biological parents are gone. Why don't you let us take care of you? It's better than being an orphan. There was calculation in Liu Zhenhua's eyes, and this shrewd look made Lu Xing feel sick. His parents were in an accident and died, but they asked him to treat them as his biological parents. Is there anything so outrageous in this world? Lu Xing was really disgusted. This cunning couple was so calculating that they didn't want to suffer any loss at all. There are so many orphans in this world. Why don't you become a father to Wu Feng? After seeing Lu Xinghe spitting at him, he also realized that he was completely unreasonable. But he finally came back, so he had to defend his rights. Xinghe, don't be so disgusted by this. I'm speaking from the heart. Look, my wife has been with you for a while, so it's inevitable that we have some feelings for you. We are willing to treat you as our own son. Look how sincere I am now, willing to tell you the truth and not continue to hide it from you. Shouldn't you be lenient with me? Liu Zhenhua was even more afraid that Lu Xinghe didn't understand what he meant, so he deliberately rubbed his fingers. The implication is really too strong. It would be stupid if others didn't understand what he meant. Lu Xing was about to laugh out loud. Liu Zhenhua had a really great idea, and even came up with this idea. You confessed it yourself. Didn't you tell me the truth only after I warned you? If I hadn't been quick-witted, I would have been manipulated by you all the time. Lu Xinghe's eyes were filled with strong disgust. He was extremely angry, like a wild beast, and almost wanted to tear Liu Zhenhua to pieces. You did save someone, but you saved Lu Yunting, not me. Besides, I still have to continue investigating, so I can't be sure whether what you said is true. After all, haven't you lied enough? No, we didn't lie to you. What we said is really true. Liu Zhenhua became agitated. He tried to shirk responsibility, saying, Don't worry, this matter is known only to you and me. After all, it's a scandal. I will keep it a secret. Nothing will affect your normal life. You can start over if you want. Otherwise, it will be a scandal. Why bother? We might as well start over. We're fine. Nothing will happen. After hearing what Liu Zhenhua said, Lu Xinghe felt that the other party was too cunning. The other party still delusionally hopes to keep it secret, but in fact, the other party has not suffered any harm at all. It seems like I have become a big victim. Lu Xinghe's eyes were extremely cold. Scandal? Ha, it's really funny. If possible, he really didn't want to have anything to do with this kind of scum. Listen, Liu Zhenhua, you and I have nothing to do with each other. Even if I want to start over, it has nothing to do with you. Besides, what you and Jiang Meiwan did is illegal. Why not turn yourself in and try to get a reduced sentence? Lu Xinghe stared at Liu Zhenhua with disgust. Liu Zhenhua was dumbfounded. He didn't expect Lu Xinghe's answer to be this. He was about to cry, and he knelt down in front of Lu Xinghe without saying a word. Son, please don't send me to jail. I haven't had a good life these years. I finally get to see you. If you send me away, how can I live? Can you just treat it as charity? You can arrange for me to live in any mountain so that I can have some leisure time. Give me some money so that I won't starve to death. People should still be kind, right? Do a good deed every day and think about your unborn child. It can be said that parents are pitiful. You are accumulating merit by helping me. Shut up, I'm not your son. Don't have anything to do with me. The disgusting things you and your wife did made me sick. You're still trying to morally blackmail me. What's wrong with that? If I bring you to justice, I'm immoral. I won't buy it. Stop trying to brainwash me. Lu Xing stared at Liu Zhenhua fiercely, like the tip of a knife. If you had any conscience, you wouldn't have kidnapped a child and abandoned him. Although I don't like Lu Yunting, if that child wasn't Lu Yunting, there would be other victims. I can't punish you, so let the law punish you. The law may not punish all bad people, but some bad people will definitely be punished. No matter how many reasons there are, there is no way to wash away the sins of Liu Zhenhua and Jiang Meiwan. If it weren't for this human trafficker, perhaps after the original owner and Lu Yunting's life stories were revealed, it would be revealed that the original owner was also the young master of a wealthy family. In this case, the original owner would not have suffered so much just to live under someone else's roof. and then been deceived by a scumbag woman and jumped off the building. It can be said that half of the original owner's suffering came from the Liu family, and half of the suffering was caused by Liu Zhenhua and Jiang Meiwan. All human traffickers deserve to die. Liu Zhenhua was still crying and trying to be sympathetic. We were desperate. We were young and ignorant. We had no choice. Woohoo, please be a good person and do it to the end. Chapter 256. Surrender or I call the police. Lu Xinghe's eyes were still very cold and calm, and he tried hard to restrain the tears that were about to burst out. Turn yourself in, or I'll call the police. Liu Zhenhua opened his eyes with despair and tried to make excuses for himself in various ways, which made Lu Xinghe tired of listening to him. He knew very well that sinners never know where they have gone wrong. It is obvious that he has no intention of repenting or going to jail. Lu Xinghe naturally would not let Liu Zhenhua and Jiang Meiwan go unpunished. Just because they kidnapped Lu Yunting, took him away from his original family, and abandoned the child, their crime is even more serious. After all, it was because of their abandonment that the Liu family hated the original owner even more, and abused and scolded the original owner in various ways, which also exacerbated the tragedy. Lu Xing immediately picked up his phone and called the police. This is the first hospital. There are 2 human traffickers. Before he could finish his words, Liu Zhenhua realized that something was wrong and subconsciously wanted to run away. Just as Liu Zhenhua started to run, several bodyguards jumped out and subdued him without saying a word. Liu Zhenhua was stunned, but Lu Xinghe's eyes were cold as he looked at him. Do you think you can escape? There were already bodyguards lying in ambush around him, so even if Liu Zhenhua ran away, he would be caught quickly. Liu Zhenhua looked at the cold-blooded Lu Xing and burst into tears. Jiang Meiwan also wanted to escape, but she was no match for the bodyguards and was caught again. Jiang Meiwan's hair was disheveled, her face was bruised, and she had lost one of her shoes while struggling to escape. She looked very embarrassed. She cried in front of Lu Xing, I am innocent. My husband instigated me to do this. I am also a victim. I am not a human trafficker. Woo, please let me go. I am your mother. Lu Xing looked down at Jiang Meiwan crying and found it very funny. It is true that if they are not from the same family, they will not enter the same house, and 2 different types of people will not sleep under the same quilt. They are a real couple, so well matched, and the words they use to plead for themselves are the same. Jiang Meiwan wanted to clear her name and protest her innocence, but Liu Zhenhua roared at her. You stinky bitch, what nonsense are you talking about? You're so arrogant, and now you're putting all the blame on me, aren't you? I'm obviously innocent. Don't say I did everything. It was you who suggested it before, so you're the mastermind. Jiang Meiwan was now anxious. You only know how to beat and scold me every day. How could I dare to be the mastermind? At most, I am your accomplice forced to do it. Woo, how could you still listen to me? You are wronging me. Lu Xing was really annoyed. It would be best if this strange couple were resolved as soon as possible, so as to avoid any more trouble. Lu Xing sat on the chair with headphones on. No matter how they quarreled, they were just making excuses to exonerate themselves. He just felt disgusted and thought it would be better to keep his 6 senses pure so that his ears would not be polluted by their voices. Not long after, the police showed up. The police took away Jiang Meiwan, who was crying and shouting, and Liu Zhenhua, who looked miserable. Lu Xinghe felt that the air around him was much fresher. The police will set up a serious crime squad to investigate this matter thoroughly, and the truth will surely come to light. Lu Xinghe's eyes softened a lot, and he nodded to the police. Thank you for your help. The police officer smiled and said, This is what we should do to serve the people. Lu Xinghe felt relieved after unloading the heavy burden. He thought that Liu Ruyan had returned to the villa. She and the baby are still waiting for me. Thinking of this, a curve appeared at the corner of Lu Xinghe's lips. On a summer night, the moon was bright in the sky, silver light blanketing the ground, and a riot of stars dotted the sky like sparkling diamonds. The large villa was hidden among the mottled shadows of the trees, as if trapped in a giant woven black net. Everything was eerie and dangerous. In the bathroom, Liu Ruyan was soaking in the bathtub, her delicate body submerged in bubbles, but it could be seen that her belly had grown bigger, now bulging high and curved. She touched her belly tenderly and lovingly, with a gentle look on her face. Although she has not given birth to a child yet, she has the rare maternal glow that makes her immersed in happiness. Suddenly she heard footsteps. Liu Ruyan's eyes lit up instantly. Although she was a little shy, she covered her chest and replied, Xinghe, you're back. However, when she turned around, she saw a ferocious and vicious face. Liu Ruyan's heart skipped a beat, and she immediately became angry. How did you get in? The person who appeared was Jiang Mengmeng. Her eyes were filled with bloodthirsty light as she stared at Liu Ruyan with arrogance and anger. Don't forget, Lu Xing gave me the key. I can come and go here freely. Get out, Liu Ruyan ordered angrily. Jiang Mengmeng burst out laughing. Get out. I was supposed to be the master here soon, but you got in the way. If I have to get out, shouldn't I be the one to do it? After hearing Jiang Mengmeng's words, Liu Ruyan's face turned cold as ice. What are you dreaming about? Jiang Mengmeng bit her back teeth fiercely. Do you know why Lu Xing didn't divorce you? Isn't it because you are pregnant? If you didn't have this child, would he want you? You are a psychopath. Compared to me, you are far worse. I really don't know what's wrong with Lu Xing to marry you. She became crazy, and her eyes became bloodshot. She was going crazy when she thought about being abandoned by Lu Xing. Now she has nothing, and is even despised by Lu Xing. Ha, that's ridiculous. Obviously, she was a goddess who was adored by everyone before. Jiang Mengmeng's relentless approach made Liu Ruyan very alert. She could sense the danger from the other party, but she was not wearing anything and had no tools with her. Just as Liu Ruyan was about to grab her clothes and put them on, Jiang Mengmeng rushed over and subconsciously grabbed Liu Ruyan's wrist. You want to run? Where are you going? If you dare to do anything to me, even if you run to the ends of the earth, the galaxy will not let you go. Liu Ruyan's fair face remained calm in the face of danger. Even if she was panicking inside, she hid it cleverly. Her sharp eyes were fixed on Jiang Mengmeng, trying to threaten her. However, Jiang Mengmeng laughed crazily. Ha, you are too ridiculous. Is it possible that I didn't even want to run away? Liu Ruyan reacted and knew Jiang Mengmeng's plan. She angrily pushed Jiang Mengmeng away. As long as you leave now, I will pretend you have never been here. Otherwise, it will be too late. It's too late, it's too late. I have nothing left. You've ruined everything. Why should you be able to live a happy life while I'm in hell? It's so unfair. Jiang Mengmeng's eyes turned red with jealousy as she stared at Liu Ruyan. It would be better if we disappeared together. That way it would be a draw. If you and I both died, who would he miss? His first love or his new love? I'm really curious. Liu Ruyan pursed her red lips. She knew that Jiang Mengmeng was very emotional and she must not disobey her. It would be better for her to pretend to be obedient, otherwise both she and the child would be in danger. P.S. I have actually been writing for love, and for the sake of all my friends who are following me, I will keep writing. I have 3 new accounts, and writing short stories has almost overdrawn a lot of my time and energy, so it will probably be finished next month. Chapter 257, Do you think you can win? Who says you have nothing? As long as you want to start over, it's never too late. I have money and I can give it to you. If you want to marry a good man, I can help you find one. If you want to live a pampered life, I can satisfy you. It doesn't matter if you think you have a bad reputation here. I can send you abroad. Liu Ruyan remained calm, afraid that Jiang Mengmeng might not believe her. She said, I can sign with you. I promised you I won't go back on my word. You can trust me. You came here to tell me so much. Aren't you still holding on to hope? I thought Jiang Mengmeng would be moved, but she just stared at Liu Ruyan without saying a word for a long time. This made Liu Ruyan nervous. You are really smart. No wonder you, a vixen, were so successful in snatching Lu Xing away from me. Jiang Mengmeng forced a strange smile and looked at Liu Ruyan with hatred. Liu Ruyan frowned. She hated what Jiang Mengmeng said, but she couldn't contradict her now. You can consider it, or you can propose conditions. Maybe you can get yourself a chance. Jiang Mengmeng burst into laughter. Are you feeling sorry for me? Are you trying to show off that you have everything while I have nothing? Liu Ruyan looked at Jiang Mengmeng's crazy look and knew that she would not give up. Jiang Mengmeng is just crazy to the extreme. It's obvious that she is looking for trouble with herself and won't let her go easily. Then don't you want to think about your family? Liu Ruyan said coldly. If you become a murderer, your family will be disgraced and even despised. Besides, can you bear to see them being criticized by the world and having their normal lives affected? Family, they haven't cared about me for a long time. They're all doing their own thing anyway. Why should I care about them? They drew a line between us after I got into debt. I'd rather not have such snobbish parents. Jiang Mengmeng bit her back teeth fiercely, her eyes filled with disgust for Liu Ruyan. I'm so jealous of you. You have everything you want, but I don't have anything I want. What I originally had was taken away by you. Why can't you divorce Lu Xing? Why do you have to ruin my beautiful life? I really hate you. My tragedy is all caused by you. Liu Ruyan's eyes were extremely cold. You caused this yourself, but you're trying to put the blame on me. You're so pathetic. Yes, I'm pathetic, so I'm going to drag you down to hell with me. The two of us will be companions on the road to the underworld, and will be much happier this way. Jiang Mengmeng's face became very ferocious, and that fierce expression seemed as if she wanted to eat Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan's heart was pounding. It would be a lie to say that she wasn't nervous. After all, Jiang Mengmeng was now a desperate criminal, and ordinary temptations could no longer make her heart flutter. She was afraid that she would not be able to leave the house, and she had to protect herself no matter what. While Liu Ruyan was looking around for things that seemed to be able to be used as her weapons, Jiang Mengmeng had already taken out a sharp knife. Her eyes were red, and she even became excited when she saw Liu Ruyan trembling. "I'll try to be quick and make you die soon, so that you won't be such an eyesore to me. Hee. Don't worry, I won't make you wait too long, I'll be with you soon. If it really doesn't work, I'll kill Lu Xing too, and it's not impossible for the three of us to go together." The sharp knife was already emitting a cold edge and looked very sharp. If it really pierced into the body, it would definitely cause pain. Jiang Mengmeng's crazy look made Liu Ruyan feel sick. The next moment, Jiang Mengmeng pounced on her like a mad hunting dog, and her knife was about to pierce into Liu Ruyan's body. At the critical moment, Liu Ruyan immediately poured water into Jiang Mengmeng's eyes. "You know, bubbles can irritate your eyes, which is really uncomfortable." Then I heard Jiang Mengmeng scream in pain, and her eyes turned red. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan quickly pressed Jiang Mengmeng's head and tried to stuff Jiang Mengmeng into the bathtub. She tried her best, but she was not as strong as Jiang Mengmeng. Jiang Mengmeng was extremely strong. She resisted directly and cut Liu Ruyan's wrist with the sharp knife. A very obvious scar appeared on Liu Ruyan's wrist. The pain came out all of a sudden, but before Liu Ruyan could check her injuries, Jiang Mengmeng had already pounced on her. Liu Ruyan dodged suddenly and avoided Jiang Mengmeng's attack. Jiang Mengmeng obviously wanted to kill Liu Ruyan. She grabbed the hair of the person who was trying to escape and frantically pressed the knife against her neck. "I've wanted to do this for a long time. You know how miserable I was when I was heavily in debt and had nothing. I lost my beloved and didn't even have a place to stay. Why can you live in this big mansion here? It's so unfair. You're the person I hate the most. You're my mortal enemy. My tragedy started when you showed up." Jiang Mengmeng's eyes were red as she stared at Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan's eyes turned red, and she could feel the sharpness of the knife. She felt suffocated, and her palms were sweaty. If Jiang Mengmeng stabbed herself in the throat, she would probably lose too much blood. In this situation, she had no way to compete with Jiang Mengmeng. Liu Ruyan caught a glimpse of the cell phone not far away, and she used all her strength to grab the phone. Jiang Mengmeng, who noticed Liu Ruyan's little trick, was furious. "You are still playing tricks. You don't really think anyone will come to save you, do you? You will die in my hands today." Liu Ruyan bit Jiang Mengmeng's wrist. Jiang Mengmeng felt pain and thought Liu Ruyan's bite was particularly fierce. In order to make Liu Ruyan let go, she subconsciously used a sharp knife to cut Liu Ruyan's neck. Blood flowed out and Liu Ruyan felt that the air was very thin. She tried hard to grab the knife, but was stabbed hard by Jiang Mengmeng again. Liu Ruyan spit out blood. Now she is a pregnant woman, and is no match for Jiang Mengmeng at all. She heard Jiang Mengmeng's triumphant laughter, which was particularly strange and eerie. The other party's smug attitude made Liu Ruyan frown. Her eyes were tightly closed, and she bit her red lips unwillingly. Die at Jiang Mengmeng's hands. She was unwilling and unwilling to do so. We can't just let Jiang Mengmeng go like this. She is no match for Jiang Mengmeng, but there is someone who can defeat Jiang Mengmeng. You think you can win? Liu Ruyan was breathing rapidly, with contempt in her eyes. Jiang Mengmeng looked at Liu Ruyan, who was bleeding profusely, and the corners of her mouth curled up smugly. "Ha, why are you still trying to show off? Don't think that just talking big will help. At this rate, you're going to die." Chapter 258, The Devil is Within Reach. Jiang Mengmeng was being stared at strangely, and suddenly she heard a piano music. "Nocturne. Chopin's Nocturne. Where did it come from?" Jiang Mengmeng was stunned to find that Liu Ruyan's blood-stained hand was holding the phone and playing. But Liu Ruyan's eyes seemed to have changed, from being cold just now to being crazy and bloodthirsty at this moment. In front of Jiang Mengmeng, Liu Ruyan licked the blood on the palm of her hand as if she had licked something fun. "Hey, wanna play hide-and-seek?" "What are you talking about?" Jiang Mengmeng suddenly felt creepy. She felt that Liu Ruyan seemed like a different person, especially the look in his eyes that was fixed on him, just like a cat looking at a mouse. "Haven't you tried it before? Then let's try it," Liu Ruyan said softly, her lips tinged with danger and amusement. "Anyway, if I catch you, I'll kill you." After hearing this, Jiang Mengmeng thought that Liu Ruyan was just being stubborn. Are you kidding me? Do you think you can trick me with just a few words and some pretense? Liu Ruyan just giggled. The strange laughter filled the whole room. Just listening to it gives me goosebumps. It's the sound effect that only appears in horror movies. This also made Jiang Mengmeng's breathing heavier. She looked at the woman who had stood up from the bathtub. There was excitement in her eyes. She raised her hands slightly, as if a wild beast had revealed its claws, which was frightening. Is this still the woman who was easily manipulated by me just now? Who is she? Jiang Mengmeng even began to doubt her life. The moment the woman approached, she subconsciously picked up the knife and was about to stab Liu Ruyan. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan passed by easily. When Jiang Mengmeng was angrily trying to finish off the opponent, she found that the knife in her hand was easily snatched away by Liu Ruyan. Jiang Mengmeng widened her eyes in surprise and saw the woman behind her with an excited smile. I caught you, now it's my turn to punish you. Jiang Mengmeng's eyes suddenly widened. I felt a sharp pain in my body. Thick blood spurted out all of a sudden. Intense pain churned within her body, and Liu Ruyan was clearly mad. She seemed to be treating the killing game as a playful one, and stabbed him a few more times. Jiang Mengmeng cried out in pain. Her lips turned pale from being bitten by her, and it hurt so much. The moment she bent down, Liu Ruyan grabbed Jiang Mengmeng's hair roughly and forced her to meet her gaze. You think you can kill me? That's ridiculous. Jiang Mengmeng trembled and wailed, wanting to fight back, but Liu Ruyan had already ruthlessly pushed her against the wall. You not only lost Lu Xing to me, you also lost your life to me. He is mine, and he will always be mine. You don't deserve to see me and him happy, because you are about to leave this world. Liu Ruyan looked down at Jiang Mengmeng condescendingly. Under Jiang Mengmeng's frightened gaze, Liu Ruyan had already raised the knife, with an arrogant and happy smile on her face. Goodbye. Bright red blood splattered like paint. The little white rabbit is so white. Its 2 ears are lifted up. After cutting its arteries and veins, it remains motionless. It's so cute. Looking at the motionless Jiang Mengmeng, Liu Ruyan raised her little face covered in blood, with a cut at the corner of her mouth. However, her smile did not last long, and weakness overwhelmed her whole body. Liu Ruyan felt that all the strength in her body had disappeared, causing her endless pain. Her eyes became empty and lifeless, her long eyelashes trembled slightly, and her lips moved as if she was saying something, but she couldn't utter a word. She fell backwards and fell directly into the bathtub. Her beautiful body was covered by water like a water lily, and she slowly closed her eyes. As if he were a baby in swaddling clothes, his breath became very weak. At this moment, a transparent tear slowly flowed out from the corner of her eye. Her lips were pursed so tightly that they formed a straight line. Slowly, blood filled the entire bathtub, and she fell unconscious in the bathtub along with the blood. When Lu Xinghe arrived at the scene, he was shocked. This is even scarier than a horror movie, with blood flowing everywhere. He saw Jiang Mengmeng bleeding. He didn't know whether she was dead or alive, but she was definitely in a miserable state. She had many wounds and scars, which was very shocking to look at. But when he saw the scene in the bathtub, he suddenly felt that Jiang Mengmeng was not miserable. The entire bathtub was stained with bright red blood. The girl lay pale in the bathtub filled with blood. Her little face was very pale, her breath was weak. There was a long blood stain on her neck, and there was a very obvious wound on her wrist, and she was bleeding profusely. Lu Xinghe felt as if the whole world had collapsed. Wife, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me. The prophetic scene that I saw from the system actually came true. Lu Xing had never expected such a scene. If Liu Ruyan was really dead, then there would be 2 lives lost. What should he do then? Every nerve in Lu Xinghe's body was aching, and every cell was breaking. He ran up suddenly and hugged Liu Ruyan in his arms. His first feeling was that her body was so cold, especially since the water in the bathtub was icy. She must be so cold and in so much pain. Lu Xing carried Liu Ruyan out of the bathtub, and her body curled up in his arms. He tried desperately to keep her warm with his body and pressed his face against her pale little face, but he didn't feel her body temperature rise. It was still like she had fallen into an ice cellar, especially since her body was bleeding. Lu Xing's heart is bleeding too. Why is there so much blood? Woohoo, honey, I'm taking you to the hospital. Lu Xing wailed sadly, lowered his head, and rested his head on Liu Ruyan's forehead. He felt very uncomfortable. He didn't expect Liu Ruyan to become like this. Tears had already invaded Lu Xing's face, and Lu Xing's tears fell down. He doesn't like to cry, but now he really can't help it. It feels really bad. Originally, he had no relatives in this world. What would he do if he lost Liu Ruyan again? Liu Ruyan seemed to feel Lu Xinghe's tears. She opened her eyes tremblingly, but her eyes were just slits. Don't cry. The weak voice gave Lu Xinghe hope. He was so excited. I won't cry, don't die, wait, I'll take you to the hospital right away. She raised her hand and gently stroked Lu Xinghe's face. You are mine, only mine. Lu Xinghe nodded. I know I am yours, only yours, no one else can take me away. He let her fingers gently wipe away his tears, cherishing her tenderness towards him. However, Liu Ruyan slowly lowered her hands. It was obvious that she had no strength left. She leaned against Lu Xinghe's chest and said, What should I do? I'm so tired. If you're tired, just take a nap, but you mustn't wake up. I'll wake you up in a minute, be obedient. Lu Xinghe said anxiously. He lowered his head and kissed Liu Ruyan's forehead. P.S. Did you guess it right? The so-called switch will be revealed tomorrow. Chapter 259, Father Liu's Secret. Liu Ruyan nodded dully, then closed her eyes. Lu Xinghe was extremely anxious. He had to rescue Liu Ruyan no matter what and absolutely could not watch her leave him. The system now reminds. Ding, interaction value detected plus 42, rewarding the host with the hemostasis skill, which can quickly stop bleeding on any target. This was timely rain, which instantly gave Lu Xinghe hope. Lu Xinghe immediately used the hemostatic function on Liu Ruyan, and the effect was very significant. Soon Lu Xinghe saw that the bleeding from Liu Ruyan's wound had stopped. But just stopping the bleeding is definitely useless. Lu Xinghe must take Liu Ruyan to the hospital. After all, some of his skills are useless for such serious injuries. Lu Xinghe immediately took Liu Ruyan to the hospital. The nurse was stunned after seeing Liu Ruyan covered in blood. She quickly asked someone to prepare and notify the doctor. Lu Xinghe emphasized, She is pregnant, you must help me save her. After all, this is very important, but it means how doctors treat it. The nurse was stunned, nodded solemnly, and said to Lu Xinghe, We will do our best to rescue him, don't worry. However, Lu Xinghe did not show any sign of slacking off. He was in a very depressed mood and felt his heart was in great pain. Under this circumstance, his anxiety spread more and more like ivy. Lu Xinghe raised his head against the cold wall. His eyes became very empty and full of regret. Why don't you go back earlier? The so-called prophecy really happened. He still couldn't escape the control of fate and still let Liu Ruyan get hurt. The worst decision even appeared in Lu Xinghe's mind, and his fists hanging by his sides were clenched tightly. Just as he was feeling regretful, he heard hurried footsteps. Is Ruyan in there? Lu Xinghe raised his head and saw the anxious father Liu. He was the one who informed Liu's father. He could see that he was upset. After all, Liu's father had the right to know. You know, Liu Ruyan was his biological daughter. She's in surgery, and we don't know the extent of her condition yet, but she lost a lot of blood. I'm sorry I didn't take good care of Ruyan. Lu Xinghe's face was full of guilt, and his eyes were extremely red when facing Liu's father. Looking at the guilty Lu Xinghe, Father Liu did not get furious. Instead, there was despair in his eyes, and he leaned against the wall suddenly. He cried, holding his head, and said in pain, It's all my fault. If it weren't for me, it wouldn't have turned out like this. If anything happened to my daughter, it would really be a punishment for me. Lu Xinghe's heart trembled. He didn't quite understand what Father Liu meant. What are you talking about? This happened because of my negligence. It has nothing to do with you. No, this is my retribution. Father Liu shook his head at Lu Xinghe, with a bitter smile on his lips. What do you mean? My daughter is currently receiving emergency treatment. I don't know how she is doing, but I'm not going to hide the truth anymore. This matter has weighed on my mind for over a decade, and I repent every day. Father Liu covered his face, feeling extremely uncomfortable. I have hidden the most important thing from you before. Actually, the person who treated her badly wasn't her mother, but me. I treat them both the worst. After hearing what Liu's father said, Lu Xinghe's face suddenly became as dark as a thunderstorm. He looked at Father Liu in disbelief, and suddenly felt as if he was struck by lightning, as if the whole world was about to collapse. What did you say? He never doubted Father Liu, but he didn't expect that the other party was the fatal link. It's really my fault, Liu's father burst into tears. I was constantly frustrated in the early days of my business, and her mother is well off. She's the daughter of a local real estate tycoon, much better off than me. It's not a business marriage at all. Haha, I'm just a wealthy son-in-law. Although my family conditions are okay, compared to hers, I'm nothing. So many people staring at me puts me under a lot of pressure. Especially when the company I founded faced a major crisis. I had to socialize every day and signed a bet against the grab agreement. Everything was overwhelming. During that time, I was drinking heavily and becoming paranoid. If her mother dressed a little nicer or came home a little late, I would beat her up. Later, she asked for a divorce. I refused, so she filed for separation and asked my father-in-law to intervene. I went abroad to expand my business, but it wasn't my own choice. After all, if I didn't leave, I would go bankrupt. Lu Xing was completely shocked after hearing what Liu's father said. He found it terrifying to think about it. Could it be that the person who monitored your phone and sent someone to follow you was actually you? Under Lu Xing's speculation, Father Liu fell completely silent. Lu Xing's eyes turned bloodshot, and he immediately grabbed Liu's father's collar. Why did you do that? Lu Xing hated Liu's father very much. It turns out that Father Liu is the culprit. No wonder his reaction was so strange before. Father Liu has such a big difference in personality from the main character. Father Liu burst into tears. I regret this more than anyone else, but it's too late now. He choked up and said, I do love them and I don't want to be separated from them. But after 2 years of separation and her mother filing for divorce, she and I ended our engagement. When I heard the news 6 years ago, I rushed to Country M. Lu Xing felt a little uneasy in his heart. He speculated, could it be that you are the one who created this case? She killed someone, so it must be you. You killed Auntie. Realizing this, Lu Xing had wished he could tear Liu's father into pieces. Father Liu's eyes were filled with tears, and he shook his head at Lu Xing. It really wasn't me. You're still quibbling. Lu Xing was furious. You lied to me before, how long are you going to keep lying to me now? I really didn't lie to you. Father Liu became excited. You can go and check. This matter really has nothing to do with me, because when I went to settle the score with her mother was already dead. Lu Xing's heart trembled fiercely. What's going on? You know the truth, right? You know who the murderer is. Father Liu's eyes were complicated, and he nodded at Lu Xing. I know, but the question is, are you ready to find out who the murderer is? After hearing the tone of Liu's father's voice, Lu Xing's breathing suddenly became short. His anxiety grew wildly, as active as bacteria, making him extremely manic and depressed. What are you talking about? You don't want to put the blame on Liu Ruyan, do you? I'm not trying to shift the blame, it's just reality. I lied to you and said the murderer was at large just to protect my daughter, but that's not the case. Chapter 260, Father Liu's Secret 2. Father Liu's eyes were reddened to the extreme. She is a personality created by me, but it was only created indirectly. Lu Xing was confused. He was greatly shocked. His mind was in a mess and he couldn't think clearly at all. Can't you explain what's going on clearly? Because of me, her mother developed a very obvious bipolar disorder and lost control of her emotions. Although she did not beat my daughter, she was manipulating Ruyan and turned her into a crazy and terrifying antisocial personality disorder. Then what? As you can see, Ruyan has problems. She's playful, cold-blooded, and has no empathy. This is her mother's doing. Her mother mentally punishes Ruyan by locking her in a small dark room, starving her and trampling on her dignity. No, this personality is the Yandere personality. Why don't I understand? Lu Xing felt that there were doubts about Liu's father's description. What nonsense are you talking about? Her main personality is a Yandere personality. She's just too Yandere and too crazy, so she created a secondary personality to balance her out. It's a calmer secondary personality that can control her at critical moments and stop her from doing anything crazy. After hearing what Liu's father said, Lu Xing's heart trembled violently. He finally understood it completely. He always thought that the Yandere personality was the secondary personality, but in fact she was the main personality. In this way, it can explain why the Yandere can last so long. The other personality, on the other hand, doesn't stay angry for long. Lu Xing was trembling all over. It turned out that he had guessed everything wrong. And then, what about amnesia? Her mother died in the bathtub. Actually, her mother wanted to take Ruyan with her, so she launched a murder plot. However, she was outsmarted and was killed. Ruyan survived, but she lost all her memories under the treatment of a psychologist. However, her secondary personality still has some memories, so she is very repulsive to me and doesn't want me to get close to her. Liu's father's story also made Lu Xing react. Indeed, the secondary personality hates Liu's father. Every time there was a huge quarrel. However, the main personality is very intimate with Liu's father. It is obvious that he has lost his memory and does not remember what happened before, which leads to the current contrasting situation. Lu Xing really felt sorry for Liu Ruyan. He didn't expect that Liu Ruyan had endured so much. It turned out that her mother wanted to kill her. No wonder she lost her memory and forgot everything. If it were me, I would be heartbroken. The father is abnormal, and the mother is also abnormal. After all, she grew up in such a tragic environment, so it is reasonable that she would become mentally ill. If it were him, he would probably collapse and not be able to live. But Lu Xing didn't expect Liu Ruyan to follow in her mother's footsteps. Her mother died in the bathtub, and she was also murdered in the bathtub. Is this the law of cause and effect? No, Liu Ruyan will not die. She will definitely come back alive. Lu Xing's eyes were red, and he put all those absurd thoughts behind him. Father Liu said obscurely, "This is a sinful debt. Her mother died, and the law ruled that Ruyan acted in self-defense. Plus, she was still young at the time, so what crime could she be convicted of? After all, if it wasn't her mother who died, then she would have to die." Lu Xing nodded. In that critical situation, I couldn't think so much. It was probably because she killed her mother that Liu Ruyan collapsed and forgot everything. The secondary personality was calm and composed, and remembered so many memories, which obviously meant that he was bearing her pain. Thinking of this, Lu Xing's eyes were already bloodshot, and he bit his back teeth in pain. If he had appeared in Liu Ruyan's life earlier, would she have not encountered so many misfortunes? Just because she is not the protagonist of the novel, is she destined to experience so much? Thinking of this, Lu Xing felt heartbroken. Is this the fate of villains? He didn't believe it, and if God wanted to torture him, he would destroy God. He has the final say in his own destiny, and he can rewrite it for her as well. Lu Xing's eyes were burning with passion, and he pursed his thin lips tightly. Father Liu, who was standing next to him, was already crying with his hands covering his face in guilt. "I really don't know what to do now. My wife is dead, and what if my daughter dies too?" Lu Xing immediately picked up his fist and punched Liu's father hard. "Stop being hypocritical, you domestic violence man. You forced your wife to death. You ruined your daughter, and now you are pretending to be pitiful. Do you think I will pity you?" Father Liu was stunned. After being hit by a strong punch, Lu Xing punched and kicked him again. "What kind of husband are you? What kind of father are you? You did such a terrible thing to your wife and daughter. They could have lived a happy and fulfilling life, but you ruined it all. You're the real sociopath. How can you live happily in this world? You should be the one to die." Lu Xing's anger was completely ignited. Originally, he despised the Liu family father and son, but now when he saw Liu's father, he finally witnessed what a real scumbag was. The Liu family father and son are nothing compared to Liu's father. If the original owner had been adopted by Liu's father, he would have gone crazy and might not have lived to adulthood. Father Liu groaned in pain. He used his hands to block Lu Xing's punches and kicks without fighting back. Instead, a passing nurse quickly stepped forward to stop him. "Sir, you can't fight here," Lu Xing said angrily. "I didn't fight. Didn't you see that I hit him? I was getting rid of an evil for the people. I would even think it was dirty to hit him." Although he said so, Lu Xing was still not satisfied and kicked Liu's father hard. After being kicked, Father Liu burst into tears and looked very embarrassed. He was now covered in dirt and grime. He wailed, "I was wrong, I was really wrong. Woo, you can vent your anger as much as you want. Anyway, no matter what, there is no way to make you calm down." Lu Xing raised his head and looked at Father Liu coldly. "Is beating you enough? I will use my own method to give you the most powerful punishment. Bankruptcy is child's play. The most desperate consequences are yet to come." Father Liu was crying loudly and muttering his regrets when the door of the operating room opened. Lu Xing rushed over, saw the doctor, and asked anxiously, "What's wrong?" The doctor said calmly, "The patient was rescued and is now safe." Lu Xing became anxious again. "What about our children?" The doctor said, "The baby is safe. Fortunately, she was brought in time and the bleeding has stopped. Otherwise, she would have had a difficult delivery and the situation would have been very serious. However, she still needs to stay in the hospital for observation for a period of time. She is pregnant, and it is hard to say whether there will be any unexpected situation later leading to miscarriage." Lu Xing was still very worried when he heard what the doctor said. Yes, as a pregnant woman, she was sent for emergency treatment. After going through so much and suffering such serious injuries, the child is still alive. He is lucky. He must not let his guard down and must take good care of Liu Ruyan during this period. He must not let her condition worsen. Lu Xing saw Liu Ruyan, whose face was pale, being pushed out. P.S. I said in the last chapter that the switch was already a spoiler, but it seems no one guessed it. Chapter 261, Daughter's Awakening. Lu Xing saw Liu Ruyan, whose face was pale, being pushed out. She was obviously in a coma, and Lu Xing's little hand was icy cold. Lu Xing's heart ached and his eyes moistened. He pushed the bed and accompanied her into the VIP ward. Father Liu also rushed over anxiously, wanting to see Liu Ruyan. daughter. As a result, he was pushed out by Lu Xing. What does it have to do with you? You're not worthy of being her father. Father Liu, who was scolded by Lu Xing, obviously knew that he was in the wrong. His face looked extremely ugly, and he was almost about to cry. But he didn't dare to refute Lu Xing. After all, what Lu Xing said was true. Lu Xing had a cold face and did not show any softness towards Liu's father. He subconsciously stayed with Liu Ruyan in the ward. Looking at Liu Ruyan's pale and haggard face, Lu Xing's eyes were red to the extreme. He felt very sorry for Liu Ruyan. If he had found a way to stop Jiang Mengmeng from entering, would this have happened? Lu Xing grabbed Liu Ruyan's small hand, placed it on his cheek, and rubbed it gently. Liu Ruyan was still in a coma, and Lu Xing accompanied her quietly. He felt that every day was a year and every minute was torture. When Lu Xing was in great pain, he suddenly found that Liu Ruyan slowly opened her eyes. She was still a little weak, and her fair little face looked a little haggard, but she looked at Lu Xing with deep affection. "Are you awake?" Lu Xing became excited, tears welling up in his eyes. Liu Ruyan looked at Lu Xing, her eyes suddenly filled with tenderness, and her voice was full of arrogance. You are a grown man, don't cry. If you cry, I will beat you." Lu Xing couldn't help it, and suddenly hugged Liu Ruyan. He gently kissed Liu Ruyan's fair little face, tenderly and lovingly. "It's okay, I'm glad you're okay." Liu Ruyan was hugged so tightly by him that she could hardly breathe. Facing Lu Xinghe, she burst out laughing. "Are you trying to strangle me to death?" Lu Xinghe subconsciously relaxed, not daring to let Liu Ruyan be strangled to death again. Liu Ruyan's eyes were very gentle, and she gently said to Lu Xing, "Don't worry, I'm fine, I'm much better now." Lu Xinghe choked up and said, "I was really scared to death today. I was really worried that something would happen to you." Liu Ruyan reached out and gently pinched Lu Xinghe's cheek. She smiled faintly. "Are you stupid? How could I be in trouble? Look, I'm fine now." Lu Xinghe nodded, a smile on his lips, and said to Liu Ruyan, "Yes, fortunately you are fine, otherwise I would be too worried." Liu Ruyan leaned in and kissed Lu Xing's thin lips. Her eyes were filled with tenderness. "I won't leave you, and you can't leave me. You are mine and only mine." Before Liu Ruyan could finish her words, Lu Xinghe kissed her hard. The joy of regaining what was lost filled Lu Xinghe's entire heart. He kissed her passionately, deepening the kiss over and over again. Liu Ruyan was stunned when he kissed her and immediately laughed out loud. A sweet smile appeared on her little face. She leaned on Lu Xing's shoulder lovingly and wrapped her arms around Lu Xing's back, not wanting to let go for even a second. Looking at the beautiful Liu Ruyan at this moment, Lu Xing's eyes softened a lot. Ding, interaction value detected plus 87, rewarding the host with a blood-activating potion. After any injury, recovery will be increased by 56%. This will definitely have a miraculous effect and can help the other party recover. After hearing the system's reminder, Lu Xing was overjoyed. "Isn't this what I need most?" So Lu Xing stroked Liu Ruyan's head and comforted her gently. "Wait here, I'll get you something to eat. You are very weak now, so you need to nourish yourself." Just as Lu Xing was about to leave, Liu Ruyan said excitedly, "No." Her movement obviously pulled the wound, and she grimaced in pain. Lu Xing immediately became nervous and asked Liu Ruyan, "Are you okay?" Liu Ruyan shook her head at Lu Xing, smiled faintly, and said, "It's okay." She held Lu Xing tightly with her hands, unwilling to let go for even a second. "I won't let you leave, so you have to stay by my side." Liu Ruyan's pair of watery eyes were filled with reluctance to leave. When Lu Xinghe saw this, his heart began to pound. "You said you were willing to leave, but that was definitely a lie. Lu Xinghe likes her and definitely wants the best for her. Be good, you can't make a fuss now. For your own good, you have to eat something properly, okay? But I finally saw you." Liu Ruyan had a hint of grievance in her voice, and her little voice was so babyish that she sounded pitiful. Lu Xing's heart ached. He must be soft-hearted after all, she was his wife. "You have more than enough time to see me. If you want, I'll let you see me all day today. We'll just be apart for a short while. I'll be back soon, okay?" Lu Xing gently stroked Liu Ruyan's cheek, caring for her. Looking at Lu Xing's gentle appearance, Liu Ruyan could only give up and stop throwing a tantrum. She nodded and said, "Okay, I'll listen to you." Lu Xinghe looked at Liu Ruyan's sensible appearance, and immediately a curve appeared at the corner of his lips. So he went to buy some food and added the blood-activating medicine given by the system. It quickly dissolved into the water, and you couldn't tell what was inside. This way, Liu Ruyan won't easily discover anything, and she can also drink it well. When Lu Xing hurried back to the ward, he saw Liu Ruyan's father asking about her well-being. Come, daughter, eat more fruits and supplement your vitamins. If you feel any pain, tell Dad. Dad will call a doctor for you and prescribe you some painkillers. Father Liu spoke to Liu Ruyan considerately, looking like a completely loving father. But in Lu Xing's opinion, this scene was extremely hypocritical. Lu Xing immediately ran up and shouted angrily, "Who asked you to come? Didn't I tell you to stay away from her? Are you worthy of being her father?" Father Liu looked at the irritable Lu Xing and also became timid. "Although I am in the wrong, she is my daughter after all. I can't just ignore her. I will definitely come to see her when she wakes up. I can't really sever ties with her." He shed tears of repentance. "I really know I was wrong. Please give me a chance to make amends, daughter. It was Dad who was wrong in the beginning." Lu Xing shouted angrily, "You took advantage of her amnesia and knew nothing. It's wrong to deceive her feelings." He didn't want Liu Ruyan to get hurt again, especially since Liu's father's self-deceiving behavior was so hurtful. Chapter 262, I am the secondary personality. Facing Liu's confession, Liu Ruyan looked at him seriously and said, "Is it possible that I know everything?" Lu Xing was surprised and looked at Liu Ruyan suddenly. "You have recovered your memory." Liu Ruyan's eyes burned. "I remembered it a long time ago." Lu Xing and Liu's father were both shocked by Liu Ruyan's words. Liu Ruyan pursed her eyes tightly and said, "I knew it the other day when Jiang Mengmeng and I were confronting each other in the piano classroom." After Lu Xing heard Liu Ruyan's reminder, the mystery suddenly appeared in his memory. Yes, Liu Ruyan also played the piano at that time, but Liu Ruyan said that she herself couldn't play the piano. "Do you know what the switch is for switching between me and my other personality?" Liu Ruyan looked at Lu Xing seriously. Lu Xing was very curious. "What is it?" Liu Ruyan said, "It's music." She paused, her eyes showing a hint of meaning. "It's Chopin's Nocturne." After hearing Liu Ruyan's words, Lu Xing was extremely shocked. Could it be that playing that song is the switch that turns on your personality swapping? He thought a lot, but he didn't expect it to be a song. No wonder he felt the song sounded familiar before. He had never heard it before, but he thought it was more famous. But I didn't expect to hear it from Liu Ruyan. This made Lu Xing realize his blind spot, which was that every time your alarm clock plays this song. Lu Xing became excited. Liu Ruyan nodded and said, "Yes, because when I hear this song, I switch personalities. That personality sets an alarm every time I want to switch personalities, and when I hear this song, I turn back into her." As if to verify this, Liu Ruyan has opened the music software. The melody of Nocturne has begun. Liu Ruyan was like a puppet, being firmly controlled. His eyes suddenly became empty, without any spirit at all. Then he closed his eyes. Lu Xing and Liu's father held their breath and stared. Then they found that Liu Ruyan quickly opened her eyes again. She looked at the two people hazily, and gradually changed from her previous arrogance to her current cold appearance. "What's wrong? I am not dead." Lu Xing and Liu's father looked at each other, and they both trembled. Lu Xing blamed himself for being too careless and not thinking of the song at all. After all, Liu Ruyan would set the alarm every day. After she pressed it, he didn't react. It turned out that she was exchanging personalities according to the song. However, there are doubts. That is, when the alarm clock didn't ring and Liu Ruyan didn't hear the music, her personalities also switched. "You're not dead. Yanyan told us that she knows what the switch is for swapping personalities." Lu Xing paused. "It's Xi." Liu Ruyan lowered her eyes and smiled faintly, as if relieved. "I didn't expect her to tell you." Lu Xing has speculated confidently. "Actually, you know it too." Liu Ruyan nodded and said, "Yes, I knew it a long time ago, but I didn't tell anyone, including you." Lu Xing paused. "But you are a manufactured secondary personality." Liu Ruyan shuddered, stunned. "You still know?" Lu Xing nodded. "But I just found out about it. Why did you lie to me and say you are the master personality?" Liu Ruyan smiled sarcastically. "What good will it do me if I tell you the truth?" Lu Xing didn't understand. "Why, if you tell us, we can find a chance for treatment." Liu Ruyan's eyes were filled with disappointment. "So, you've decided to help her eliminate me and make me completely disappear from this world? Just like she did." Lu Xing's heart suddenly trembled. "What do you mean?" Liu Ruyan's eyes moistened. "She also wants to kill me and doesn't want me to occupy her body." Lu Xing frowned, and tears could be seen flowing from Liu Ruyan's eyes. "She wanted me to disappear from this world, so she would play the music back and forth every time, hoping to split my personality and completely eliminate me from her world. In fact, she had already tortured me quite a bit in the piano room that time. Her playing back and forth had weakened my consciousness. I exchanged personalities with her back and forth, but her plan obviously didn't succeed. Liu Ruyan smiled sarcastically. Because Jiang Mengmeng showed up, everything got disrupted. Lu Xing had already guessed something from Yanyan, and now from the mouth of this secondary personality, it was almost verified that his idea was correct. But he didn't feel relieved at all. Instead, he was confused. Isn't it better to be cured? You are her and she is you. Wouldn't it be better if you recover? This made Liu Ruyan laugh out loud, a bitter taste etched on her lips. Cure? It can't be cured at all. Since we are one, why do you all want me to disappear and leave her behind? Why can't you let her disappear and let me stay? Her words also put Lu Xing in a dilemma. Yes, two people are one. No matter which personality they have, they are the same. I was created to help her endure the pain. Ha ha. To control her, she created me, but now she doesn't need me anymore and thinks I'm a burden. She wants me to leave, but that's impossible. Liu Ruyan's eyes turned bloodshot, and she looked at Lu Xinghe affectionately. It was easy to say before, but it's absolutely impossible now. Her persistence infected Lu Xinghe. How could Lu Xing be willing to let her go? To him, she had become an indispensable part of him. But as long as the personality does not disappear, Liu Ruyan will never be able to recover her health. He also couldn't selfishly keep the secondary personality, as that would be very unfair to the main personality. But he couldn't bear to let his secondary personality leave like this. Actually, the reason why I swapped personalities with her wasn't just because of this song. Liu Ruyan bit her crimson lips. Being cold or extremely frightened can turn me into her. Lu Xinghe was stunned and saw Liu Ruyan's tears flowing down. She couldn't help but cover her body and curled up into a ball. The reason why I have a fear of physical contact is because I took on that pain and discomfort for her, and she knew nothing. Seeing her insecure look, Lu Xing felt heartbroken. He immediately hugged Liu Ruyan, kissed her little face, and comforted her. It's okay, I'm here. Liu Ruyan's arms tightly wrapped around Lu Xing's shoulders. She pleaded, please don't let me leave. Don't choose her like they did and abandon me. I'm also Liu Ruyan, I'm also your wife. Lu Xing bit his thin lip. His mood was mixed. Her words were the truth, but when faced with reality, they were extremely tormenting. Okay, let's calm down. Lu Xing noticed that Liu Ruyan was getting emotional, and he subconsciously stroked Liu Ruyan's head. We can cure your so-called fear of physical contact, too. Be good. Chapter 263, Liu Ruyan's Memories. He really felt sorry for what happened to this character. From her description, I can really imagine the darkness she has experienced. It would be really cruel to let her disappear from Liu Ruyan's body. At this moment, the system reminds. Ding, interaction value detected plus 65, rewarding the host with emotional plasticizer, which can ease people's mood. Lu Xing naturally used this skill to calm down the grief-stricken Liu Ruyan. She lay in Lu Xing's arms like a wounded little animal, sobbing softly. Lu Xing could feel that she was very tired and sleepy, so he coaxed her and let her fall asleep. Who knew that her little hand would grab Lu Xing's wrist tightly? You stay. She looked at Father Liu with hostility again. He left. Father Liu was very reluctant, but since Liu Ruyan had expressed her opinion like this, he couldn't possibly disobey her. Okay, Dad is gone. Take good care of yourself and don't get too emotional. Remember, you are a pregnant woman and the baby in your belly is very important. Father Liu kept admonishing Liu Ruyan, but Liu Ruyan never gave him a good look. His little face revealed an indifference as cold as an ice knife. Aren't you leaving yet? Do you want me to kick you out? Okay, don't be angry, I'll leave right now. Father Liu was still worried and whispered to Lu Xing, you must take good care of her. Lu Xing said unhappily, I am her husband, I will definitely take good care of her, but you are talking about something important, don't bother her. Seeing that Lu Xing was very hostile to him, Liu's father regretted it so much now, but some things had already happened and it must have reached a point where it could not be undone. There was nothing he could do. After all, a forced melon would not be sweet. Father Liu could only smile bitterly, nodded and went out. Lu Xing felt sorry for Liu Ruyan and immediately hugged her in his arms. He kissed her black hair and comforted her. It's okay, I'm here, everything will be fine. Liu Ruyan was almost on the verge of tears, but she tried hard to hold it back. Her eyes held a stubbornness, even a longing. She looked up at Lu Xing seriously, as if she had made a big decision. Do you want to know what happened? It's okay, I won't force you to say it. I understand everything. I can understand you. After all, we are husband and wife. Lu Xing comforted Liu Ruyan tenderly. Liu Ruyan shook her head, a lingering sadness in her radiant eyes. Like a rabbit irritated by something, her eyes instantly turned red. I don't mind telling you everything that happened in the past, and I'll only tell you one person. Since we're together now, I don't want to hide anything from you." Liu Ruyan's eyes were full of sincerity, shining like diamonds. Lu Xing was slightly surprised for a long time, and her heart seemed like an ice cube that was slowly melting. He nodded and told Liu Ruyan in a firm tone, "I will absolutely be responsible for you, and I will not reveal your secret to anyone. If you are willing to tell me, it will definitely be my honor and I will be very happy." A faint, bitter smile appeared on Liu Ruyan's red lips. She hugged Lu Xing tightly with her arms, rested her head on his neck, and took a deep breath slowly. Actually, her voice was almost trembling. Lu Xing could feel the coldness of her body, and her dusty heart seemed to be slowly unraveling. Lu Xing became a qualified listener. He listened carefully to her describing the unknown past with one bitter word after another, and it seemed that the door of memory was slowly opening. What appeared before Lu Xing's eyes was a story that made him terrified. 6 years ago, the dark sky was gloomy, and heavy rain began to fall, accompanied by the cold winter air. A woman in a black raincoat and carrying a black plastic bag walked silently into a mansion. "Ruyan," the woman called out hoarsely, but Daisy was empty without a single echo, filled with mystery and danger. Her eyes darkened instantly. Then his steps became very quick, and he quickly went upstairs to look for it. Girl in the closet of a remote room. When her frightened eyes met the woman's eyes became very angry. "Why are you hiding from me? Didn't you say you have homework today?" The woman's eyes were particularly vicious as she stared at the girl. I'm afraid of thunder." The girl made up an excuse just to fool people, but women are not so easy to fool. She simply threw the black plastic bag to the girl. "Open it and see if you like it." The girl was trembling. She followed the woman's instructions and opened the black plastic bag. She thought there was a bloody mess inside, but who knew it was a lively little white rabbit. The girl breathed a sigh of relief. Looking at the living little white rabbit, she felt less depressed. After all, this rabbit brings a bit more life to the house compared to the gloomy mansion. As the girl was stroking the rabbit gently, she heard the woman's command. "Solve it." A cold scalpel was thrown on the girl. The girl was so frightened that she was shaking all over. She saw the hideous look on the woman's face, and especially when the thunder suddenly struck, the trembling in her heart became more and more obvious. She even looked at the woman in a humble tone. "Mom, it's so cute, can we not kill it?" The woman smiled slightly. "Of course." This also made the girl breathe a sigh of relief, but the next second she felt as if her throat was being strangled and she couldn't breathe. "But we are destined to lose each other. If you don't even understand this, how can you be worthy of being my daughter?" The woman's eyes were particularly fierce, staring at the girl intently, with an exaggerated smile on her face. "Killing it means we learn to protect ourselves. That way no one can hurt us. Do you understand?" The woman was shaking all over when she spoke with such emotion. The fear in the girl's eyes became more and more obvious. She wanted to escape, but she was like a prey, being held firmly within the hunter's sight with nowhere to run. The woman pressed on step by step, and under the girl's trembling eyes, she suddenly grabbed the girl's hair violently. The girl felt as if her hair was about to be torn apart, and her scalp was really painful and hot. "Mom, it hurts." Chapter 264, Liu Ruyan's Memories, 2. The woman's violent behavior subsided a little because of her crying, and she was no longer as crazy as before. With red eyes, she looked at the frightened girl and stroked her face earnestly. "I'm sorry, Mom was wrong. I accidentally hurt you and Mom couldn't control herself. I don't know what I'm doing now." The girl sobbed. She knew the man loved her, but she was still afraid and didn't dare to move forward. "It's okay, soon these days will be over." The woman seemed to have thought of something, and a warm smile spread across her face. However, the corners of her mouth widened further and further, like a slit-mouthed ghost. The girl shrank back in fear. "Come on, let's go take a shower. Look how dirty you must be here." The girl nodded and obeyed the woman. A melodious piano melody was heard in the bathroom, which was the sound coming from the vinyl record player. Women liked to listen to classical music, especially Chopin's nocturnes. She hummed a tune over and over again. The gentle and sad voice and the eerie mansion form a strong fusion, which sounds particularly eerie. In the bathtub lay a naked girl, covered in wounds, shivering in the icy water, her eyes red and her lips purple from the cold. You have to know that the temperature outside is only -10 degrees Celsius, which is very cold, not to mention taking a cold shower now, which is simply the same as seeking death. "I hate you the most. You are weak, useless, and destined to be abandoned." The woman stared at the girl, cursing at her. "If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be like this at all. I can start over. I don't have to be trapped here. No, it's not. The girl was in so much pain that she covered her ears. He simply could not accept the mean woman in front of him, especially the woman who looked at her with such disgust, making her experience pain that felt like she was from hell. Not to mention that this music becomes extremely terrifying in this atmosphere. The girl was already exhausted. Hearing the woman's abuse and accusations, her heart couldn't bear it any longer. My thoughts are in a mess, and I can't remember anything anymore. In the depressing environment, her pupils suddenly widened, as if her soul had left her body, and she slowly fainted. When she woke up, she had become a completely different personality. Mom, a hint of interest appeared on the girl's lips when her eyes met the woman's. Women's eyes are shining, as if they are seeing their most perfect work of art. You finally got it back. They don't understand what art is at all. They don't approve of me and deny everything I do, saying that it's just performance art and worthless. But you are my daughter, you understand me. The woman stroked the girl's face gently, her eyes burning with passion. The girl's lips curled up slightly. Mom's works are perfect, but they just don't have the vision to appreciate them. The woman nodded in satisfaction, as if possessed by a demon. Something struck her, and she said to the girl, "Now that they don't understand us, why don't we go somewhere that can understand us? Why do we have to linger here? We're being looked down upon."